Oh god damn it! I have to sign into. All right. Oh man. Oh, give me a second. Oh shit. That wasn't supposed to happen. 1 second. Oh, this really threw off my intro that I had all planned out. All because TikTok wants me to sign in. Shit. Hey, what's going on? This is number one based broadcaster Brett Official here for our first election coverage stream. Zemet, thank you for liking the live over on TikTok. We are live, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, here for election coverage. It is going to be a wild election today. But before we do anything, I have to make sure that we're actually live on all the platforms. And remember, if you're here early and you have not followed or subscribed, do so now. Get in while the getting's good. Uh-oh, video unavailable on YouTube. Did I get taken down? Did the woke left take me down? Oh shit, my video actually is unavailable. What the hell? What'd I do? What'd I do? Guys, thank you for the likes over on TikTok Live. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My stream, what the heck is going on YouTube? Dude! Okay, so my stream actually did get taken down on YouTube already. I don't know why. I haven't shown anything. Is it just because I said election in the title? No, we're up! We're up! They can't take us down for long. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Here's the actual intro. My name is Brett Official. Today I will be your political correspondent on the day. We're going to be covering the U.S. 2024 presidential election. I won't lie. I have been asleep since 1 p.m. after I went and voted. After I got out of work. So we are going to, in real time, figure out what the political landscape is looking like at the moment. So let's go ahead and take a look over on Twitter. See what ABC is saying. Fracking has been on the national stage. All right, I didn't want to read that anyway. This election season and the swing state of Pennsylvania with its 19 electoral votes in play is at the center of the issue with one of the largest natural gas deposits in the U.S. Trump 2024? Hey, look at that is a pick. That is a pick. And that is your decision. What else we got on here? Also, I don't know if you guys can see this. I've never worn this jacket before. I still have all the tags on it. I still have all the tags. No, I'm gonna go straight. Let's you know what? Let's go to CNN first. We can't look at the live CNN because they want me to sign in. Thank you, James. Thank you. They want me to sign in to watch the live. Okay, currently there's nothing going on. Trump technically has a lead in total votes counted so far. Almost double the count. Dang. Let's refresh, make sure. Yeah, Trump currently up. Republicans up in the Senate 38-28 at the moment. And Republicans also up 3-0 in the House. But early numbers don't really matter that much. It typically tends to be a longer jog than a faster sprint in these situations. Let's see where. Okay, so the House is coming from. Okay, that makes sense. And Senate, they haven't updated anything. Next polls close in 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and check out ABC. They have a live coverage going on at the moment.
46 safe seats. 42. Democrats playing a lot.
You got Obama or McCain? I got leg day.
Hold Florida, hold Texas with Senator Ted Cruz, and hold Nebraska. They're at 49. You need 50 if you.
Oh, they're not up for today? Oh, okay, sweet.
The Senate. West Virginia, the Democrats.
That's good to know.
To give that to the Republicans with the retirement of Senator Joe Manchin, that alone could be enough if Donald Trump wins the presidency. But even if he does not, there's still a bunch of opportunities. The Democrats would have to hold all of.
Is that the right answer, Mikey?
Right here, that includes places including Montana with John Tester on the ballot.
You know, it's not controversial to say I got Obama.
Heavily favored to win at the top of the ticket.
Obama was cool.
No question. A lot of eyes on that Montana and Ohio Senate race. Rick Klein, such a pleasure to have you here with us tonight. Thank you so much.
I'm going to keep refreshing the election page on Twitter.
Today, as you know, so we want to now turn to ABC News.
There's smarter people than I that are going to say things. I'm just going to add my thoughts to this. Ooh, actually, this is kind of interesting to look at. Okay, so according to the New York Times, this is when we're likely going to find out on specific states. Nevada could take days to count, as well as Arizona. Georgia counts fast, so we might know that tonight. North Carolina counts fast, could be tonight. Pennsylvania is going to be later than election night. Interesting. That's kind of weird. Wisconsin is likely to finish on Wednesday, and Michigan is faster than 2020. Interesting. What else has been going on? What have I missed? What have I missed today? Is there anything? The FBI said no such threat exists, but also warned about other fake videos claiming one political party has rigged prison inmate voting. Interesting. Okay. So I have a few tabs open. We can't watch CNN. We can watch ABC, and we can also watch Fox. But Fox is going to make us watch ads. So I'm partial to saying no thank you to Fox News. I do want to get like the climate of what Fox News is feeling.
The power of nature. A Bureaucast.
That's really what I want to do on Fox News. I want to figure out what they're like. If they're panicking, then that more than likely means that it's not looking good for Trump.
But they still think that there's voters out there to grab, and they're going for it.
Wow, it was fascinating to see her herself actually door knocking voters in Pennsylvania as well last night. And so, Eva, how much does the Harris campaign think perhaps all these celebrity endorsements and performances?
Dude, I love my local Fox station. I'll say that. I'll say that.
We've seen those star-studded, huge.
I won't say which one though, because I don't want to give it away.
Incredible performances, Lady Gaga, Bruce Springsteen. You saw Oprah
They got Gaga?
out there.
Oh shit, it's over.
I was at the Philly rally last night, and
It's over. Dude, Trump's got like a. I mean, it's only 100,000. So you know. But he's got a lot of votes already. JSP, I did vote. I voted today. I did my duty. What about you? You voting? Let's refresh Twitter, see what's going on. I feel like Twitter is like oddly quiet right now. Dolce Borelli, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate you over on TikTok. Thank you very much. My goat, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that follow button over on TikTok. And feel free to share the live. Would it be greatly appreciated if not for my election coverage for my great outfit. Wait, JSP, you're not American? Oh, shit. All right. Hey, fair enough, man. Hey, look it. It's a good thing you're not voting then. We got in trouble. You know, I have a feeling here's my hot take on the night. I feel like after this election happens, there is not going to actually be that much division. I feel like as soon as the election's over, depending on how it goes, the country's gonna go back to pretty much normal. Oh, okay, so NBC is thinking that the Senate is actually going to be taken by the Democrats. Okay. Cool. Dude, there's like not a lot going on right now. In Atlanta, talking to voters in the battleground state of Georgia. You know what's crazy? I feel like Georgia is kind of a wash. Kind of a wash for Democrats. I feel like Democrats are going to win it. That's the wrong phrasing. I feel like the Democrats are going to take Georgia pretty easily.
Now there are some important caveats there because independents
Guys, do you think Donald Trump is going to watch my stream?
Republicans and Democrats, so which way they flip.
Do you think there's I want you guys to be completely honest. I want you to be completely honest. Is there a world where Donald Trump is like, or someone at his party is scrolling TikTok and they're like, hey, let's open up this guy's stream right now on the Jumbotron. He says, this guy is gay, but he's kind of funny. He reminds me of Tony Hinchcliffe. That's my best Trump I got right now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Donald Trump has not had a whole lot of sleep. He was up late. He did a very late event in Michigan.
He's kind of just like me, for real.
Back to Florida. He's been on
Trump 2024? Dang, we got a lot of Trump 2024s going on in here. On TikTok. TikTok is apparently the Trump site. You're wearing red, it could happen? Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't. Well, look, I also am wearing blue. I'm wearing both. I'm riding that line. And for my girl Jill Stein, I got a green bow tie. Get Trump on stream. Dude, that would actually, I'm not joking, that would be so cool, except he would not want me on stream. I would ask him the hard-hitting questions that only the Yard podcast would ask. Donald Trump, cut or uncut? That's what all Americans are really asking right now. And I would ask Kamala the same thing. Like he did in 2020. We have pressed the Trump campaign. I would do it. They might have in place. We know that former advisor Steve Bannon encouraged Trump to. This guy kind of copied me with the green tie. I won't lie. Campaign advisors tell us, look, they are watching everything. They told us maybe he would come out and speak after the East Coast results. I'm afraid to click off of 2024 elections. My Twitter is so messed up, man. But one advisor told me, look, it's like every response to a tweet is like some crazy stuff that will get me banned on every single platform.
270 is anything but clear and anything but easy in these hours. Whit Johnson, thank you so much for being here with us.
Trump is busy with it. Is Trump having a protein shake? Is he just like me for real?
National exit polling data. And so Avery, what are you now seeing at this hour?
Guys, thank you for the likes over on TikTok Live. I appreciate you over there. Thank you so much.
An idea about folks' perceptions of the economy. Of course, one of the most important issues as folks decide who they're casting their ballot for. When asked about
guys over on TikTok, I won't ask you who you're voting for. I will just ask if you have voted or not. Have you guys voted? Yes or no? RFK made the shake? Dude, I feel like he would make a crazy good shake. Look, I disagree with him on vaccines, but dude, he does have a rockin' bod.
Some of the polling that ABC News has done, we know that there are more Americans who trust him to handle the issue of the economy, and so that could perhaps be.
Am I wrong there?
If we look at the next slide here,
I'm pretty sure didn't he like kill a deer with his bare hands?
What has inflation done to your?
All right, let's check out Fox News, guys. Let's see what Fox News is gonna say.
After the current Republican governor there decided not to seek a fifth term. Former Republican Senator Kelly Ayotte faces off against the former mayor of Manchester, the city's largest city, Democrat Joyce Craig. Abortion has been at the forefront of this race between two women.
Dang.
Ayotte's record as a
Dang, 3% in, and Trump's got a 64%.
Vowed to adhere to state law, which limits abortion.
Oh, that was not
24
total.
weeks. The most expensive governor's race in state history has afforded plenty of.
Wait, JSP, where are you from?
Ayotte's targeting Craig's mayoral
Where are you from, man?
highlighting homelessness and crime in Manchester. Craig pushing back, saying opioid overdoses and violent crime are down, slamming Ayott's approach in a recent debate.
I think it's really sad that someone for governor is actually attacking community, attacking Manchester. As governor, we should be lifting up.
Hey, shout out Manchester.
Our state.
Shout out the boys.
Perhaps the most scathing of insults at Craig, arguing that her approach
Big up United.
would model that of neighboring Deep Blue, Massachusetts.
Mark my words, if Joyce Craig gets to the corner office, we can kiss our
Mark my words.
Goodbye.
And when it comes
We'll
to
kiss it goodbye.
counting the votes,
We'll kiss the whole damn thing goodbye. All right, we got any updates? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the numbers from CNN. Voting wise, it still looks about the same. It's just the numbers going up. We do love New Hampshire. You living in London? Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Dang, another UK guy. I apologize for my accents already.
And there he was.
Okay, that's an ad.
How far I would go.
This is also an ad. How concerned about opioids? 39% very. 5% not at all. Climate change is kind of crazy. 15% not worried at all is... See, that one's insane. Oh, alternative energy's up, though. Okay, all right. More strict, 58%. Dang, that's on Fox News? Dang, man. That's crazy. Families lived everywhere. A lot of Europe, USA, and Russia too. I'm quite balanced in geopolitics. Oh, very cool. Okay, okay. That's pretty sweet. Hey, early on, 50-50 split in New Hampshire. Which, if I remember correctly, Trump won in 2016. Interesting. We just need ads. We need ads to go away. Now's the time to check for Twitter. See what's going on here. Officials are restarting the count of about 31,000 early voting and mail-in ballots in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, out of an abundance of caution due to an issue with ballot tabulators. Oh, okay. So they're being cautious over there. I like that. They're dotting their T's and crossing their I's. Republican Vermont Governor Phil Scott has cast his vote for Harris. Dang. A Republican crossing the lines just like me. Wearing the red, wearing the blue, wearing the green. For my main bitch, Jill Stein. Sorry, that felt weird coming out. Milwaukee results expected to be delayed. Okay, yeah, we already read that. All 435 U.S. House seats are up for election on Tuesday, but some of these races have interesting backstories you may not know. Interesting. Too bad I'm not listening. Okay, you know what? I almost want to go to the homepage, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid to do it. So I'm going to do this first. And we're going to see if there are any like banger election tweets that we're not seeing. I'm not seeing anything. I have a whole lot of Call of Duty stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, thank God. Thank God I swapped my screen because I just opened up to some crazy shit. Immediately underneath is Tarek holding a dog. My For You page is so messed up on Twitter. Do with an AR. Okay, all right. Yeah, there's like nothing. Twitter's kind of boring right now. Okay. Anything? Anything at all? I mean, this one's crazy. This isn't election related, but it's funny. It's Haley Welsh riding a Bitcoin rocket. What I can imagine is to the moon. That's insane. All right. Okay. Hey, we're doing stuff. All right. Oh, people posting about the party that Kamala Harris had last night. I didn't get voted, so I'm rescinding my vote from Kamala Harris. And I'm now gonna recast my vote for Joe Brandon. I want him back in office. I'm actually putting him back in, but what I'm gonna do is I'm taking a bat to him, so he's even more cognitively impaired. Just because I'm mad that I didn't get invited to that party. No other reason. Oh my god, slime from the yard apparently got demonetized. Okay. Why am I getting, dude, what am I getting tweets from 22 hours ago? What is happening? All right, I'm going back to the election page. I'm going back to the save page, guys. I can't do it. I can't go to the random pages.
A little bit about how you're analyzing these down ballot races and the issues that are driving them. Are they the same as the issues that we're seeing across this country?
Anything new?
Most important, economy, abortion,
13 minutes.
Absolutely.
Oh, we lost. Okay, there we go.
Immigration, the border, and
All right, Kamala, I think he's pulling it back.
Continues here for the next hour and 15 minutes or so, and the turnout has been pretty heavy. We're hearing that it's like 10 to 20% higher than the last presidential election. You know, for years now, people have been saying that the red state of Texas is turning purple, and
you know, weirdly, I've also heard that. Okay, so my actual political take on what's going on in this election is, in my opinion, I feel like we're seeing a shift, and we're gonna see a lot of races be weirdly close. States that are actually are typically very solidly blue. So a state like, say, I don't know why I'm picking this state. It's just a random state, Massachusetts. Massachusetts, I feel like, is gonna be much closer than you would expect it to be, simply because it is such a shoo-in for the Democrats. So a lot of people are gonna go, my vote doesn't matter as much. I don't need to go and vote. But I think that that's actually gonna bridge the gap a little bit for Trump. He's not gonna win this state, but people are gonna go, oh, holy shit. Oh, dude, an 8 rhino raid? Guys, what the fuck? Hey. My goat coming in and raiding. My goat. I hope you guys enjoy the fit. Peep the fit. Fit check, fit check. I'm doing my duty to America. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, if you're looking for unbiased political talk, you've come to the right place. The only question that we have for Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is cut or uncut. Hey, James, welcome to Twitch. Welcome to Twitch, my friend. Okay, back to that thought. So, blue states are actually going to be weirdly close in this election. Red states, however, are actually going to see a much larger turnout in voters for blue. Hey, come on, Carson, come on. Come on now. I asked. How about that? I asked.
That'd be something if
That's my boy.
Blue in there in Texas. John Quinones, thank you so much for being here with us today. And we have a lot more special
Guys,
coverage ahead
guys,
tonight of election
guys.
night in America, as you know. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris both looking to win.
Show me a picture of Carson's balls, please.
Looking live in Derry, New
Sorry.
Hampshire. Polls are set
You
to
seem
close
tight?
sorta soon in a few places, and we're gonna
What
get
do you
some
mean by
results
that?
rolling in, so make sure you stay.
Mr. Beast left nut? Hey, I don't know if you've heard about this. Mr. Beast has had a wild ride. A wild ride these past few months. All right, let's look at Fox News. What are they saying? Are they freaking out? Are they like
North
feeling good?
Carolina, Arizona. We're actually ahead. That's like going into a football game in the fourth quarter and you're leading. Can you?
What do you
keep
mean
the
I
lead?
seem tight, by the way?
Right now.
You know, it's exciting. America is voting.
Oh
in
God.
great numbers.
Here we go.
You've been a candidate so many times.
Nate Diaz should run for president. I'm of the mindset that there's a certain level of CTE that should disqualify you from running for president.
Everybody's calling you to ask what's going on. You have no idea, and you want to know what's happening.
That'd be like if I said, you know who should run for president?
All your effort can be
Antonio Brown. Like,
a state like California, you still got to wait a month.
That's right. We hope not.
okay, hey, all right.
Great to see you.
Now let's take a
That is a statement.
State is also home to a high-stakes Senate race out there.
Also, what's up, Vaughn?
Alicia
What's up?
Is live in Scottsdale. Alicia.
Hi, Brett. We are in the peak hours of voting here in Maricopa County.
That was a message. 8 minutes. 8 minutes and then the next poll close. I think that's the first one. No? The first polls will close. That was a yeah, you are correct on that one. You are correct. Okay, I'll say this too. I think it's so dumb that all these sites require ads. I feel like they should be forced to be free.
Information from Georgia to share. David, what issues are
Oh shit.
driving Georgia voters?
Yeah, this is our first state exit poll that we're looking at of the evening, Jake, in anticipation that the polls are about to close in Georgia. And the number one issue there doesn't match where it is nationally. It's the economy far and away. 40% of Georgia voters in this election say that the economy.
Biden for president 2040. You are so right.
To the Trump campaign
Let's put him in cryo sleep like he's Dr. House. Not Dr. House. That's the dude with the cane. Like Mr. House from Fallout New Vegas. And then we're gonna take him out of cryo in 2040 when he looks like that old lady from SpongeBob who wanted the chocolate. Or hated the chocolate, I guess. That's what we're gonna do for 2040.
Say Harris, and then Biden's job approval
I mean, we could.
41% approve of the way President Biden.
We could do some. Like Han Solo. Yeah, but like a mentally deficient Han Solo. That's what we want. Yapperton? Hey. Yapperton, population 1. That's me. Guys, let's go on the Everything app. What do we got? Wait, does that actually close? Are you kidding me? CNN? This is why I only watch Fox News. Polls in 6 states, including Georgia, close at the top of the hour. Tune in to ABC for analysis at 7 p.m. So, I don't know if we're going to find out about Georgia right away. But they should start counting like really quick.
For the Harris campaign, just because there are other ways.
But I'm sorry, I didn't know the raid would go this far. Hey, no, hey, look at my goat. You're good, man. You're good.
This is my favorite is my sprinkler goes like this.
Oh no.
Comes back like.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Jared, for redeeming the TTS for 500 channel points. You've seen it on your TV? Yeah, I wish. I don't have cable at the moment. I probably have something that I could get CNN on, but I'm too lazy to actually figure it out. As a Georgian, they count quick. Yeah, they should. You know Duke Dennis? Dude, Duke Dennis. I barely even know her. My bad. My bad. Hey, let's take a look at ABC.
And we know that the polls are showing they're neck and neck. There hasn't been this real
I won't lie.
surprise.
I feel like all of the major news stations are literally just going, guys, this is really big. This is really big. This is a really big election, and we have nothing else to say. Oh. Nick, thank you for the 1 bit. Wow. Thanks, man. ABC easy as 1, 2, 3. Thank you for redeeming Fart for 500 channel points. Nick, thank you for the 2 bits.
Kamala Harris didn't know she was running for president until July. This race, by many
Oh man, a Pogkek W.
foreign interference, calling in bomb threats
Oh,
to try to close polls in
Nick,
Georgia.
thank you for the 4 bits, dude.
In many ways, but
Let's
nothing
go.
at the level this time.
Nick gave me. Oh shit. Oh wait, what the heck? 8 bits. Nick, thank you for the 8 bits.
Why is that?
And I'm also excited because there is going to be a record turnout.
Oh shit, we have Mr. Beast right now too.
People get it.
Oh shit.
Vote matters because, if you
Nick, thank you for the 18 or the 16 bits. Oh my god, I can't read.
are a lot of positive things.
You just doubling? Are you just gonna keep doubling the bits, Nick? Is this like a double or a double it or give it to the next person? Or no, take it or double it and give it to the next person. Except you're just doubling it and giving it to me. Because if so, I'll take it.
That we've had this wild year with, one president bowing out.
So we now, guys, we have both of Mr. Beast's nuts.
Foreign interference in our domestic.
Does that mean eventually? Does that mean eventually we get the rest?
Isn't that interesting to wish for a quiet night? Mary Jordan, thank you so much for being here with us. And it is our pleasure here to be with all of you on this historic night in this country.
Guys, it's a historic night. It's truly magical. I won't lie. The election coverage so far from the major sites has been kind of mid.
Coming up after the break, be sure to watch.
Kind of mid.
He's going to be watching the returns on TV in the residence with longtime aides. He'll be
Can I be Mr. Beast's Shaft?
We did see them
Who'd you vote for?
screens into the first floor.
I voted to put Ronald Reagan's corpse back in the presidency.
If he did not decide late summer that he thought it was time for new voices.
Pan this guy? Is this like left Twix and right Twix? Is that what we're doing? Nick, thank you for the 32 bits. My goat.
What a sequence of events this has been.
Bro, what kind of vibe you going for? What kind of vibe do I give off? Do I give off like a cool, dark, mysterious vibe? Is that what I give off? No? All right. Okay. Got it. I missed the 2016 election. That was like a drama series. I don't miss that one. That one was so annoying to deal with. I'm gonna be real. That was when I was in college, man.
Tier 1, 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 Tier 1,
My God.
Tier 1, Tier 1, Tier 1, Tier 1, Tier 1, Tier 1.
Georgia election official Gabriel Sterling.
Nick, thank you for the 64 bits.
First results account
My goat.
accounts for 75% of the overall votes.
And the Secretary of State there says that he's
You can give off a Tyler who chugs a monster and can't punch through drywall. You know what? I could punch through. I could punch through. He ain't gonna let you hit, bro. Yes, he will. You guys gotta work it out. See, you guys gotta come together and create one account. The Mr. Beast Shaft. And then you can just schizo post from one account. It is quite a stream. Hey, look it. This is the #1 unbiased news station in America right now.
179.
CNN is about to close the polls. First ones. Is it going to do anything for us? Is it going to give us any information? Probably not. Probably not. Cap talking politics. Oh Lord. What is this going to be?
Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be talking
Vaughn, I'm not watching Wendigoon. No matter how much you try and get me to watch Wendigoon on stream, I'm not doing it. Oh shit, we got actual. Okay. Hey.
Wineers Sessio report cat dumb crazy conspiracies.
Look at I love a good conspiracy. I do.
Cheer one, 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 cheer one,
one cheer, 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 one cheer,
one cheer, one cheer, one cheer, one cheer, one cheer, one.
Nick, thank you for the 860 bits. Nice ad break. Is there an ad break going on? Oh shit, there is. Hey, my bad. My bad. That was legitimately a pre-roll. I didn't choose to do that one. That one was not me. Surprisingly, I did not choose that one. One out of 8. Wait, nah, you're joking. Votes will come in really fast now. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Let's look. Ooh, okay. So Vermont. Whoa, wait. Early voting is suggesting Florida going blue. Interesting. Only 1% of the voted. But still, that is crazy. That is crazy that they're saying that it's already there. That's cool. That's kind of cool. All right, here's where like the coverage is actually going to start going insane, I think. If it will let me click. Oh, I got to click here.
County. Sarah Murray noted Victor Blackwell is in the suburbs here. Some polling places will stay open.
Hey, Nick, hey. Thank you for the 860 bits, man. Thank you.
See how it stretches. A lot of
That's my goat right there.
Right? We're at 0 right now. What are you looking for?
The greatest Tarkov player known to man.
Match the president's percentage. Get 73% of the vote. But by the end of
aside from Stankrat,
could last into tomorrow is the math. The math margin. Right? Because if you
I believe Georgia and Florida will go blue again.
59 counties.
That'd be crazy.
59 counties in Georgia. A lot of them are
I have no clue though. I have no clue.
They're small, they're rural, but Trump runs it up.
I wouldn't expect Florida to go blue.
In rural America coming out in battleground Georgia, it is absolutely essential.
Can you can we take a second though? Imagine if one of the states actually went green.
That is the case, and that's what we expect to be the case.
If Jill Stein actually won a whole ass state,
the Harris base come out in Fulton County, Atlanta.
That'd be kind of crazy.
What happens here? Clayton County, just below, predominantly African American, strong Democratic suburb. You need to run up the number, but it's not just the percentage. What's the raw math?
No, I could see Georgia over Florida.
Democrats need high turnout to offset the Trump rural numbers. So that's one test. And then for me, once you get further out here, let's go out where Victor Blackwell is, out here in Gwinnett County. Right, look at that. Joe Biden got 58% of the vote, Jake, right? You don't have to go back too far in history. It was just in 2012. Mitt Romney won this county. 4 years before that, John McCain won this county. This is the change in the American
John McCain.
Right? Georgia was a red
I'd
state.
vote for him.
But look at Romney's number. The Republican share in 2012 in the suburban area.
Jill Stein wins a state. I'll tattoo my scrotum.
Donald Trump fare in the suburbs, right? It goes down to 45% under Trump in 2016. He still won Georgia then at 45%, but then you come to 20.
You better watch out.
And Trump's share drops to 40%.
Better watch out.
Win in a competitive state.
Watching the election quenches my gambling thirst because it's 50-50. That is kind of real. You are kind of right about that.
If he can't, then this is.
I'm refreshing. I want to see if they actually updated the map. Or I could actually just go to the map and refresh. It's a safe bet to make. True. Hey, 50-50. Either one wins or they lose. You are right about that. All right. Florida is now back red. With 13% of the vote, Trump has over 200,000 votes on Kamala Harris. All the other candidates are inconsequential. Indiana, about 100K over Kamala Harris. I mean, these two states are states that you would not expect Donald Trump to win. I mean, there's 0% of the vote in, but Kamala Harris won Vermont. We love that. That's dope. What about you got anything else going on? Nothing. So far, a whole lot of nothing, to be honest.
Georgia and North Carolina, demographically, they're just evenly split. They're tug of war. So we're going to see. And it does.
Why gamble on the fate of the nation?
Oh, God.
Turnout. So, can you take me to Florida?
True.
Sure. We gotta come
I don't
back
think
to
he keeps the
2024.
north. Vermont the goat.
Okay.
I've never been. Have I been to Vermont? I don't think I've ever been to Vermont.
No, not a million.
I was supposed to go, but I ended up only going to New Hampshire.
Yeah,
This
over a million votes. So
last month. No, the month
this
before.
is obviously a state that we do expect ultimately is inclined to go red. Although the polls are still open there, we should know. Is there anything we can divine from where the vote has come in? Because it's more than 1 million votes have come in, and Donald Trump with a 224,000 plus lead right now.
The number one thing I would divine is we have another example, this time in a very large and very complicated state, that people have learned the lessons, built on the lessons of 2020, and that they're counting early votes and getting early votes out fast. And so that's a good thing for democracy, right?
So are these all early
red
votes?
state or blue state? I assume
As
they are.
Jacksonville?
You can correct me if I'm not. Some of it could be a modest number.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville's looking blue right now. Can I click on this and go in? Yeah, I can. Okay. Kamala has a 3,000 vote lead at the moment. What about Orlando? Orlando hasn't done any voting. Tampa, no. What about Miami? Nothing in Miami yet. Tallahassee, nothing. Basically, all the north is going to go red, I think. All the northern part. I mean, the fact that this is blue so far is kind of wild. All right, let's go back. Can I go back? Can I go back? Can I zoom out? How do I zoom out? There we go. I want to look at New Hampshire, see if anything's going. Three votes? Okay. Interesting. I think the fact that this goes so slow, it's good, obviously, right? But they should just let the candidates fist fight. Get it out of the way. Fisticuffs to the death. That would actually, that would be a weirdly close fight. If I'm being real, I could totally see Donald Trump losing that fight.
Right, so you could argue we need to get the final.
I would see him beating Joe Biden, but I think he would lose to Kamala Harris in a fist fight.
right? This is his home state now, but we'll see. But it's early to look at that. But that's one of the things you look at. The other thing you'll look
Am I
at,
wrong there?
You don't really have it yet, is here. The I-4 corridor, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Orlando, over to the beach, and you see it. And then, the Democrats, again.
Kamala wins easy. Yeah, dude, I feel like she wins the fist fight. Joe Biden would have lost because he would have forgot he was fighting, and Donald Trump gets the early punches in that he needs.
Lose a little tiny bit of the Jewish vote because of the Israel, unhappiness over Israel-Gaza and how she has talked about that in the White House. You'll see a little bit of that down here. It's more important when you get to suburban Philadelphia.
Ooh, Florida's looking much more red now. Right? I think it filled out red. Oh, where'd we go? No, it didn't. Okay, it just looked much more red. So far, the amount of votes for Jill Stein and Chase Oliver really don't matter. Trump's got 100K votes on her in Florida right now. But that is kind of just to be expected. Again. Georgia's going to be the crazy one, actually. This is going to be like the wild state. That's actually like going to be very interesting when it happens. It's just it just needs to happen.
So you might get some clues out of Florida. My expectation is that Florida will stay that color, but
Minecraft Hunger Games.
One of the other things that's interesting about trying to divine a national view of based on Florida, which is that as I recall, Governor DeSantis,
What are you talking about?
who's a very conservative Republican governor,
Joe would wander off the platform and get struck out prior to it starting.
Do you have the governor's? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be.
No, it's all right if you want to look. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's the Rubio race. We got to come to governor. Yes, he won. He won Broward.
He won. It's Chris won Broward.
Chris won Broward. Sorry, DeSantis won Miami-Dade.
DeSantis won Miami-Dade.
Yes.
And it was suggested that he also maybe.
I mean, most of the votes in general are just not going to be in for a long time. Let's check out ABC.
Unaffiliated voters. This is the portrait in North Carolina, where we're going to have polls closing soon. 4.5 million people voting early, almost as many as last year.
Dang.
That is a third Democrats, a third Republicans, and a third, the largest share actually, are those unaffiliated voters.
It's interesting you bring up North Carolina. I'll take this over to Rachel then, because one of the things that you and I have been talking about these last 24 hours.
So have they counted the votes or what?
Donald Trump spent a lot of time in North Carolina.
For early voting.
Spending a whole lot of time in North Carolina. And David, I was talking to one Republican who told me where these candidates are spending their final days will tell you a lot about what they are particularly concerned about. So North Carolina, a state that Donald Trump won in 2016 and 2020, it's the only battleground state tonight where the former president is on defense. He held 4 campaign stops here in the last 3 days.
In Arizona, but Arizona's going to take like 2 days to count.
Also over here in Charlotte, David, as the night goes on, as we start to get results, we're also going to be paying attention to this area right here in the western part of the state.
Dude, work is going to suck tomorrow, man.
Hurricane Helene. There's
going to be too many old people that want to talk politics in the morning, and I'm going to be like, dog, it's 5 in the morning. Please do not talk politics with me right now.
24 hours. But essentially, these two campaigns are tied going into Election Day in North Carolina. And as Rick pointed
you would think we would want to like come up with like a national,
either independent or unaffiliated voters,
just like national standard, right? But no. Instead, we're kind of just saying, hey, let's all do our own thing and hope that it all works out.
Is the fact that Hurricane Helene really ravaged parts of this state. Trump voters in rural counties, they need them to turn out. Now, there have been modifications that have been made, provisional votes that will be cast in some of those counties as well.
Let's talk about where Kamala Harris spent her final 24 hours. He did sort of a blitz of 3 battleground states. She was in one state
I don't know.
alone.
Would it not be easier if they just did that?
The biggest prize of the night, 19 electoral votes. We're going to keep
Get rid of electoral college. Let's settle it by game of chess. You got me in the first half. I won't lie.
To win this state. So, David, let me show you where she was campaigning.
Dude, I would never stream politics. I would never talk about it. Let's be real. That ain't me.
On those comments made at Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally, a speaker comparing Puerto Rico to an island of garbage, really trying to turn out the vote here. She went door knocking in Scranton.
Had to sneeze for a second. Still do.
She also campaigned all the way over here in Pittsburgh, which is really notable, David, because Joe Biden in 2020.
Dude, that actually is the most accurate statement I hate politics, but love laughing at stupid people. It is like so real. Because I myself am a stupid person. And what do they say? Flock, birds of a flock fly together.
We're going to be talking about Pennsylvania here all night long.
I don't think that's the saying. I don't think that's the saying, but I'm going to use it.
You talk to sources in the Trump campaign, also the Harris campaign. How are they feeling going into this night with all these national polls showing it's a coin flip? It's basically
okay. I feel like we're far enough into this campaign to say that Donald Trump's dance move that he does at every rally might be the dumbest thing. I'm gonna do it for you guys. Guys, this is the dance move I do when I'm too drunk to actually move any more than this. Ready? This is the Trump dance move. This is literally me, and I'm 12 shots, 20 beers deep, and I'm about to vomit, but I'm on the dance floor. That's all that is. That's the dance move I do, and someone walks up to me and says, "Hey man, are you doing all right?"
Years ago, certainly, that it's impossible to know what each campaign needs to actually get over that finish line today as far as day of turnout versus what we went into this with. I want to bring this to Mary Bruce as well. I know you talked to the Harris campaign as well, John. We'll get your thoughts here in a moment. Mary, you've covered her day in and day out, the White House. How are they feeling tonight?
Cautiously optimistic. It's been described as nauseously optimistic, which may be my new favorite political descriptor, but they are quick to note tonight that turnout today was high across every key battleground state. They see those long lines that we're all seeing.
Wait, who is that, Vaughn?
Sign for them, that it shows that they've been able to reach a broad coalition, and they believe that coalition is coming out for her. They also see in their own data that late-breaking voters, they think, those voters that didn't make up their mind yet, and yes, they do exist, but that they are coming towards Kamala Harris. In part, they think, because they are motivated by Donald Trump's dark closing message. They were turned off by his rhetoric, especially
Jim
that
stream.
Big Madison
Right. Actually, so for the morning, we are going to skip the gym stream. Instead, we're going to do gym stream Thursday, Friday.
Just in the last weekend, 3 million doors knocked. At one point,
Oh, okay. I thought that was like someone that we knew, and I was going to be like,
Pennsylvania, and we know Kamala
damn.
Harris just a short while ago was out there
Rough
working
one.
the phones herself, trying to reach every last voter.
One follow-up for you, Mary, because you talk about these late deciders, and I
Oh, shit. Again, it doesn't mean anything. There's only 3% in. But that is kind of wild. Trump has a 300K lead in Florida, which is not crazy. Indiana, they're saying, is a shoo-in for Donald Trump, as well as Kentucky. Virginia is super early. We're talking less than 2,000 votes between them. My son would have been 4 years old today. You were gonna have a son? You were gonna have a child, Vaughn? In what world?
Welcome back, and we're standing by for the end of voting in yet another crucial battleground state. Let's check the fight for the electoral vote so far. Donald Trump has 19 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 3 electoral votes, 270 electoral votes needed to win. And now we have a key.
It is kind of crazy. I pulled out though.
In the state of Georgia.
Yeah, I did that with your mother.
Kamala Harris has 48.5% of the vote.
Got him.
Trump with a 4,556 vote lead. That's with only an estimated 3% of the vote in. The polls just closed at 7. In the state of Florida.
Okay, so it already updated. Trump is back in the lead in Georgia.
2% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 45.9% of the vote. Donald Trump with a healthy 438,912 vote lead. That's with half of the vote in, 50% of the estimated vote. In the Commonwealth of Virginia, Donald
50%? It's kind of looking like he's got Florida.
40.5% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 2,871 vote lead. Still a lot of votes to come in from the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're coming up on another critical round of poll closings in the presidential race at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 37 of the 270 electoral votes needed to win the White House.
Dang, okay.
When voting ends in North Carolina,
So we're getting a lot of red very early.
Virginia, North Carolina is one of the 7.
That is a lot. That's a lot of red very early.
Have made it more competitive for Democrats than
Trump losing Florida would be huge. Yeah, 50% of the vote in and him winning by that big of a margin. I mean, it's doable. That's the thing. It is doable, but it sets him up pretty well. It does.
He's in a heated battle right now with Donald Trump in North Carolina after he won that state in both of his previous presidential campaigns, narrowly last time.
So he's got over 700,000 votes on Harris at the moment. That is crazy.
Yeah, Jake, I mean, as you noted,
Vaughn, if I click on this link and it's a Wendigoon video.
But by the slimmest margin of the states that he did.
The year is 2021. You've been a long-time Battlefield fan, and after 3 years of waiting, you finally get to.
Okay, that is very different from what we're gonna watch. Trump losing Florida is bad, but Georgia, he's fucked. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you know what? I'll go through the states that if he loses, it's kind of over for him. He has to win these states. Number 1 is Georgia. He has to win Georgia. Number 2 is Arizona. Arizona's a big one. Nevada is a pretty big one. Is that Nevada? Whichever one Nevada is. And other than that, probably Pennsylvania. Those 4. It would be crazy if we did see him lose other states that are like normally red, but I just don't see it with the amount of red we're seeing already in this election.
They see North Carolina still very much in play, Jake.
All right, Abby, thanks so much. Let's go to Caitlin.
And it could just be an early red wave. It very well could be. But, you know, I'm not going to get too crazy in either direction. That is Nevada. Hey, James, thank you. Knowing more about my country than me. Well, in fact, I found crazy to realize is that Nevada only owns 47% of its land. Really? Is that for nukes? Did they take it all for nukes?
Mark Robinson, who is the Republican gubernatorial candidate, has faced scandal after CNN reported on his past comments. That is something they will be watching closely tonight as Josh Stein, the Democrat, is expected to do well. We'll see what the ultimate race looks like there. And Jake, I should note, as they are keeping a close eye on these early hopefully they believe in
Trump-Harris is still close in Georgia. It looked like she gained some votes back in Florida, though. Which is wild. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I mean, look at, she is kind of gaining votes right now. Still too close to really call in Georgia. There's negligible votes. Yeah, South Carolina and Virginia are a similar thing. 5,000 votes, 2,000 votes between them. New Hampshire is just getting 1% in. Alrighty.
Donald Trump is also still making calls to get voters out in Pennsylvania tonight. I was told that he was just on the phone calling into radio stations.
Where is that, Vaughn? Where is that? If I look that up, am I gonna be nervous?
Top surrogates are also posting online urging people to get out and vote. Stephen Miller himself urging men to get out and vote, Jake.
All right, Caitlin Collins in West Palm Beach with the Trump headquarters. David Chalian has some exit polls coming in from North Carolina now. David, what issues seem to be driving voters in the Tar Heel state?
Yeah, Jake, let me just explain to you that first we're going to look at
It's a coffee shop?
how people feel about the way things are going in the U.S., in North Carolina, what North Carolina voters are saying.
Deadass, though, the next Battlefield needs to be good or else it's over.
The plurality, 43% of North Carolina voters.
Oh, for Dyson, yeah, I agree.
With the way things are going in the U.S., 27% angry. I just want to say those bottom two.
Yeah, you sent me a coffee shop.
That are dissatisfied or angry. Obviously, if you're the Trump campaign, you think there's a lot of opportunity there for you.
True, very true, very true.
They want to get at least a chunk of those dissatisfied and angry voters.
You know, hey, look, we are on TikTok tonight, and TikTok is going all right.
So that'll be something to watch later in the evening. We also are looking here at the most important issue. economy actually ranks top, not like it is.
We got 6 minutes left until the next polls close.
36% say the economy.
While they're talking about issues, let's go ahead and refresh the map and see what we're looking like here. About just under 600,000 votes. So again, Kamala Harris is like slowly clawing back some votes. If it keeps going this way, it will not be enough, but there could be a huge swing right at the end. Similar in Georgia, Kamala's looking all right still for a red state. She's looking pretty good. About 6,000 votes, South Carolina. So Trump is kind of gaining some numbers. Similarly in Virginia, he's going up. That's really all we got.
In North Carolina, democracy is right up there, Jake, at 32%.
I'll bet $5 you get a shadow ban. Oh, dude, we probably already have one. I won't lie. You know why Montana look like that? Look at Montana's gotta look like that. All right, it's got it. It's got a very important job where it's placed. Georgia got a bomb threat, so they had to push it back, bro. Oh my God, man.
And then Joe Biden's approval rating, it's 1 point higher here in North Carolina than it is in Georgia or nationally. 42% approve, 56% disapprove. Again, the Harris campaign would like to.
Brian, welcome to the political stream. What are you wearing? Look it.
Giving the Trump campaign hope in a place like
Don't hate.
Carolina. Jake?
All right.
Interesting. All right, David Chalian, thanks so much. And let's talk about this. And
Don't hate.
I mean, again, some headwinds.
We got the tank top.
First of all,
we got the very good business jacket, and we got our bow tie. We're professional.
With the state of things.
We're keeping it nothing but professional today.
Where Trump traditionally polls better. And then bad.
If it actually was Russia,
for Joe Biden, her boss.
Yeah,
I say we send another $1 billion in arms tonight.
71% of people who are dissatisfied and angry. But I think, unlike what
I'm always drippy, just like my lunchly cheese. I'm drippy and moldy.
Maybe not calculating what
Allegedly.
Is that there are a lot of women and men who are dissatisfied with the fact that women don't have the ability to control their reproductive rights.
Flyboy! Thank you for the joining the love, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
The right track, wrong track, we've known for some period of time, and the fact is the race, despite
Welcome.
the fact that people are very
Welcome to the stream.
for whatever reason, with the way that
Looks like you just got back from a grinder date. That's your dad, Nate? Oh, Nate's dad.
Be able to overcome that. Incidentally, may I just,
Mr. Khan, thank
in
you.
the last segment, I said, I don't know why the
I appreciate it.
are so heavily for Trump in Georgia.
Your mom is drippy from last night. Okay, dude. Okay. All right. This is a news station, I'll have you know. This is a legitimate news station.
Incumbents and democracies around the country are facing right now.
I will. I'm so sorry for reading that. I'm so sorry for reading that now. I read that without thinking. Hey, I will absolutely. And I will say Mark says hi. Mark says hi. I'm so sorry. Anyways, hey, let's get back to some very real news. Put on Fox, you snowflake. Hey, look it. I've got all of my bases covered.
Not buying some of these exit polls. Herald of economic issues. This election overall, every race, it's estimated to have $15.9 billion with a B dollars.
Brian, you meant it. Don't pull it back now. Don't say you didn't mean it now.
Passes the record of $15.1 billion in 2020. If you were to take a checkbook.
Also, this dude, I just kind of.
Everywhere. It's almost $50 a person, and we are tied tonight. In the
You should quad box it like Red Zone. Maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe I could do that.
The $50 check, as opposed to having them gone through what we've gone through here.
Let's try it.
The vice president's campaign has spent more than former President Trump. And do you think right now, looking at the numbers,
What if I do this? What if I do this? Can I pop this out?
Early, we'll find out. One of the reasons we spend so much in campaigns today is that the campaign process is a business. They start 4 years.
Okay, we
out. They
can't
begin
pop it out,
raising
but
money,
maybe I
hiring
can.
pollsters and all those kinds of things. Hopefully, we get some reform to that going forward. But I have to tell you, just looking at the early
Okay, that's
numbers,
fine there. We'll do that.
you got to be a little concerned if you're Democrats.
Maybe go a little bit smaller.
On this. Now, the numbers, it's way early, so we're going to get a lot more things here. But to see those numbers,
ABC.
Miami-Dade, with the breakdown between the two candidates, that's a little concerning. The concern that you raise, Carl, about suburban voters in Indiana, Democrats have to be a little concerned about this as we head in here. I'm curious to know also about that Florida abortion.
Oh, look at this.
Thing that was on
No!
and how that's faring and if that's had really the impact. The Kemp
Oh no, we're messing it up.
relationship with Trump, it seems like it might have been repaired a bit as you look at some of these numbers early on. We'll have to see what
Okay, that's good.
suburban voters. I'd quarrel with someone who said a little bit about the black voters in Georgia. It was not
Sounds
just
good,
black
Nate.
voters in Georgia. It was
I'll be waiting.
urban and rural voters in Georgia that put Biden over, and he even gave the
It is.
Democratic senators there. So as we get more and more numbers here over the next few minutes, it'll be very telling because if
You know, Vaughn,
stay with Trump, Trump needs that in his
they
eyesight.
probably said, "Hey, look at this guy.
In reality. She was hoping
We got to be careful about this one." They couldn't be sure if you weren't a
So those are the numbers I'm looking
a Canadian asset.
But the
You've got about 30 seconds before we start.
Okay. That's the wrong one.
They are, and of course, we're just moments away
Dana, what do you
from
think?
polls
ABC.
Florida
minutes,
is so
really, in North
interesting
Carolina,
because
crucial
Governor Ron
minutes.
DeSantis is
Brianna,
such
where you are in Charlotte,
such an
people
effective
still
governor
have to vote,
and a
we're
great
starting to see some of
campaigner.
these
Okay, wait. This actually this looks all right.
In Latino voters
What have
and
voters been
generational
telling you?
changes, but I would also say
Canadian assets are worth money. I am not. That okay.
the country
You got me there. You got me there.
Mecklenburg County, which is going to be closely watched.
You should
It
listen to
voted
them.
66.
Should I turn the sound on all of them?
Biden in 2020, and this is going to be
Wait,
very
how do I-
important to see the result here to see how Harris performs compared to how Joe Biden did.
How much time do we have? Oh shoot! Polls closed. Damn, we got more red. We got a lot more red. Wait, holy. Okay, so Harris still at 3 for electoral votes. Donald Trump at 23 already. Republicans got 20 House seats. Democrats have 4. It's looking interesting. I'll say that.
Battleground state of North Carolina, as well as in Ohio and West Virginia. A total of 37 electoral votes are up for grabs.
Can you pull up Subway Surfers in the top left? True. I tried that before and I couldn't figure out how to do it.
West Virginia, and it's 4 electoral votes going to Donald Trump. Too early to make a projection in Battleground North Carolina with its 16 electoral votes, or in Ohio with its 17 electoral votes. Let's take a look at the electoral map at this hour now that we've called a state for Donald Trump. Donald Trump has 23 electoral votes, in the lead of Kamala Harris, who has 3 electoral votes.
Okay.
270 electoral votes are needed to win the race. Both are far from that. Let's bring you a key race alert now in the battleground state of Georgia. Donald Trump in the lead with 58.1% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 41.4% of the vote. Donald Trump,
How much of it is counted?
586 votes ahead. That's with only an estimated 8% of the vote in.
Oh, 8%? I was like, that seems low.
Donald Trump in the lead there with 49.6% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 48.8% of the vote.
Oh, that's close. That's actually really close. What the heck? How are kids going to be able to take the SAT without Subway Surfers playing in the background?
To show you now,
True.
Donald Trump
True.
in the lead there with 53.5% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 45.5% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 586,779 vote lead. That's with most of the vote in, a majority of the vote, 64%.
I think there's still a chance she could come back in Florida. I don't think it's going to happen.
Electoral votes. In New Hampshire,
I'm going to be real.
Kamala Harris in the lead there with 58.7%.
Dang. Okay.
Of the vote. Kamala
Yeah,
Harris
West
has
Virginia goes
5,513
Trump.
vote lead. That's with only an estimated 4% of
What's Ohio? Oh, we don't have any numbers for Ohio.
What are you looking at?
Just wandering through the counties, Jake, where votes come in, especially in the battleground states. This is Georgia right now. As you noted, 69,000, almost a 70,000 vote lead for Donald
What's your
Trump.
score on the
But,
SAT?
Very important, but
Is that why you don't have a
8%
Bugatti?
reporting, 8%
So
reporting. A long
it
way
was
to go in
scored
counting
differently
Georgia.
when I
In
took
fact,
it.
Just take a look, 240,000 Donald Trump.
I don't remember what it was out of, but I got something like I got somewhere from 1600 to 1800. I don't remember where.
But you're just looking.
I don't remember what exactly.
Is this going to be? Every race is different, right? You always compare Trump to Trump.
All I know is that my guidance counselor said I got a good score.
Will black turnout rival Obama?
I didn't get like a perfect score, but it was all right.
Then you actually get results, and it'll be the Harris coalition versus this year's Trump.
True, we need Sammy in here.
Watch it play out. So one thing you look at, you see Cobb County is.
We absolutely need Sammy in here.
At midnight and 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., that would be a big deal. Let's not overinvest. 277 to 186. So you've got fewer than 500 votes. As you can see, we have a long way to go in Cobb County. So sometimes you get an early precinct or early batch of votes, and it.
I'm gonna look at Florida.
That stays that way.
Which one is it?
A big deal. But if you go back to 2020,
oh god.
The key to
There we
Democratic
go.
victory
Perfect.
in Georgia, right here, Atlanta and the suburbs. So you come off that and come back to 2020.
Let's take a look at Florida, because I want to see.
Yet, right? So let's just take a
Honestly, more blue than I thought there would be.
County, you're more to the south there. 60%.
Orlando, Jacksonville ended up going red by 2,000 votes.
But let's just match it up. Harris gets 60%. Let's see how President Biden did
Interesting.
when he had a narrow victory. Right? President Biden lost that county at 46%. So
Whoa, Broward, she's got a big lead. Dang, that's actually kind of wild.
So let's come back to 2024 again.
This is winnable, actually, for Kamala Harris still.
Come over here. And you come down
it's
here.
not like
County.
it wouldn't be easy to win, but it is definitely doable.
Into exurban areas, here you're out here, 76%.
That's actually kind of wild.
They say they're at 74%. Sometimes that changes a little bit, but that's what their estimated
True.
reporting is. She's at 76%. If you round up, you come back. Joe Biden was at 70%. So if you look at those counties,
I remember watching this dude a few years ago.
Matching up. Are we meeting our targets, or are we exceeding the Biden coalition? Still some votes to be counted there, but that's an encouraging number for the vice president when you compare it to 2020. So let's come back out and take another look. And you come up here. Victor Blackwell is here, keeping an eye on Gwinnett for us. It is a larger, more populous suburb to the northeast of Atlanta.
Okay,
Again,
all right.
15,
She's
20
got
years
a
ago,
little bit of a
Republican
lead there.
Romney carried this in 2012.
So what is this looking like?
57
9% of the
It's
vote,
almost more important to look at his
and he's got
vote. Donald Trump
100K.
improve his standing in the suburbs. He doesn't have to win. He just has to improve his standing in the suburbs. You make that a
Interesting.
46, that makes you more competitive. So 43 right now in Gwinnett County 2024. But look at again.
Very interesting.
12 votes. Harris is in the lead. By the time we're done, you're going to be in the 200,000s, right? So we have a very, very, very long way to go.
Dude, he could probably write a 100,000
4 years
page
ago,
book
Trump running for
on
47%
all of
now.
the different
Again,
counties
gotta look at the
throughout
early
all of
count
America,
percentage there.
or at least on the
That's
battleground
number of votes.
states.
So that's what you're doing early on. You're just looking, placing some markers to
This
try to do
dude's
the
crazy.
comparison as you go back and forth. And Jake, I just want to pull out quickly to the map and look at it here.
You
Everything else
wants
is
to
going
do
in
what?
As expected. The question is to look at some lessons. In North Carolina, we do have some first votes in, and it is blue at the moment. 1,800 vote, 1,820 vote lead.
Hey,
there you
James,
go.
thank you for the
Just wanted
follow,
to get,
man.
more votes came in, 8,730.
Thank you for the follow over on
for the Vice
Twitch.
President, but again, 17,782 votes.
Hey, I'm gonna
It might
move
change
some
even
stuff
as I
around.
speak. This is to just show you how early we are in the count.
What do you guys think about this?
2.7 or more to win North Carolina in a high turnout election. So we're very early in the count, but North Carolina
And then I'm gonna do
and
this.
Georgia, critical battlegrounds. If Donald Trump wins North Carolina and Georgia, the vice president cannot win this race if she loses Pennsylvania. If he takes those two off the board, North Carolina and Georgia, she must win Pennsylvania. So as these counts come in these battleground states, we're starting to get into the point where we
whatever,
start
we'll
doing
do
some
this.
electoral college chess. North Carolina and Georgia are critical. If Harris loses them, her path becomes incredibly narrow. If she can win one of them, she has more options.
All right, now to Boris.
I'm trying to get this like
Sanchez,
lined up
first
perfectly.
prediction of the night in the fight for control of the U.S. Senate. Boris.
Take a major projection to bring you. In their quest to take control
Good
of
enough.
the U.S. Senate, Republicans have their first expected pickup, and it comes from West Virginia.
Dude, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, man.
Justice, the Republican
Actually.
in this race is projected to defeat the mayor of Wheeling, West Virginia, Glenn Elliott. Justice, a former Democrat, now expected to take control of the seat held by retiring Democrat turned independent Senator Joe Manchin as he now retires. Kind of gives you an idea of where West Virginia.
Miami-Dade in the second. So maybe we're seeing a little bit of that play out in Miami-Dade right now. We'll see.
Britt, do you want?
But you're right. The change in it, like Mecklenburg, black turnout in Mecklenburg is below any other place I've seen in the South. Major county, the five major counties.
Dude, this guy, is this actually Thomas Jefferson?
Henrico, Richmond, Chesterfield.
What the heck?
It's amazing, and I don't understand exactly.
He's back! It's Thomas Jefferson!
Well, I just wanted
Sorry.
spoken earlier.
We
about
start
North
with
Carolina.
Ohio. Still very early there, but Colombian-born businessman Bernie Moreno is leading Democratic incumbent Senator Sherrod Brown, seeking his fourth term, only by about 16,000 votes. Still very
Dang.
early, though, 3% of the vote. In
Oh,
the state
3%?
of
Never mind.
Ohio. If you're a Democrat and you're looking at the map, you're looking for opportunities.
That's Carl Rovel?
to pick up a Republican
Oh,
seat.
okay,
One of
cool.
the best opportunities in the Sunshine
He's a cool guy?
State.
All right, I'm good with it then.
25 counties.
I'm good with it then.
By Hurricane Helene, and one of the early discussions was, a lot of those counties are red. Are they going to be?
Hey, welcome, Carl Rovel. Welcome.
Felt like it was going to be okay.
I don't know anything about him,
Good shape for.
but he looks like Thomas Jefferson, and that's kind of cool.
And I don't know how much of that vote we've got in, but we're looking at this with virgin eyes here. Okay, you're only 2% statewide, but what you're talking about, Martha? Let me
2%, but she's already got a 40,000 vote lead.
West of Mecklenburg that we're talking about. They're west of Charlotte, okay? This is the blue dot in the western part of North Carolina. That's Buncombe County. That's Asheville. And that helped Joe Biden erase about a 43,000 net gain on behalf of Donald Trump.
Oh, Robe, sorry.
Trump was up
He's a
about
Bush guy?
270,000, so he came out of these.
Hey, I don't mind a Bush every now and again. Oh, sorry. My bad. My bad.
A net of
That's a bad one. That's a bad
220,000
joke.
votes. So let's go and clear this off and just refresh our memories here from 4 years ago. Here were the results, right? Trump won the state several days later, but a little less than 75,000 votes. So all this out
Dang.
here, it's going to matter. And what the Democratic governor, Roy Cooper, said is that he was going to put these mobile voting vans in western North Carolina.
38.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris with a 105,065 vote lead. That's with an estimated 11% of the vote in.
Dang, that's
Commonwealth of
Virginia.
With its 13 electoral votes. We expect more
Dang.
votes to come in
Okay.
from key battlegrounds at any time, and we're going to
So-
results from a third high-stakes presidential battleground, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Voting ends in the Commonwealth just a few
Low
minutes from now.
key.
We're going to talk to you on the other side of the
It's
break.
still only 9% of the vote. That's 2%. That's 11%. Ohio has 3% in. I don't know, man. All right, we got a commercial over there. Let's go back here.
Nobody gets ripped off from casting a vote on behalf of Helene.
Laura, the Harris campaign
UNR
is
and
pointing
UNLV,
to
8
schools,
college
look at
campuses in
Appalachian State,
Wisconsin
the polling
have
place in
1 to
Boone
2
County.
hour
They're
lines right
saying
now.
schools in Pennsylvania and Nevada are huge lines. They're mobilizing young people. That's what they're sending out, at least now. What do you think?
That wasn't an insult.
15 polling places in Georgia have had to have
At least that wasn't meant as an insult. I'll say that. That may have come off as an insult. That was not meant as an insult.
Georgia's DeKalb County.
Especially to my plants behind me.
Population centers. Will that affect the
Hey, one of my best friends growing up.
Georgia? We'll find out.
He's also his name. He's a
This
plant.
morning in West Palm Beach, looked into the camera.
I have friends that are plants.
Like it took him a while to sort of ask for people's votes over this.
Sorry, that's a bad
campaign.
joke. That's a bad one. That's a bad one.
Because the Harris supporters were reporting in Pennsylvania, Lehigh University students, that they waited in line for 6 hours to vote.
Jeez. I literally walked in and walked out of voting today.
Can't wait in line for that long. And so that could end up being something that both parties complain about in the end. But we'll see.
Robert.
So, as you know, when we were all
I'm gonna be real. That actually is probably one of the worst things about the elections, is that they legitimately make it so hard for some people to vote. That scares me a bit still. I feel like that needs to be fixed somehow. Dang, wait, holy, Trump has his 60%.
The second thing was the money.
That's crazy. He's still got he's got 100K on her with 9% of the vote.
Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina come into play.
What do we got in Florida right now? Let's refresh and see what Florida looks like.
But Arizona and Nevada do have.
We got 17 minutes until the next poll closes at 8 p.m.
That makes a big difference on the gender vote. So I listen. I'm not going to say I went from optimistic to nauseously optimistic. I'm going to stay optimistic, but we're going to have to see what
happened?
in Atlanta and Charlotte and some of the big.
They
big
shut
cities
down voting,
where,
guys. I'm so
you know,
sorry.
they're penning huge votes for Harris, but it doesn't feel as good yet.
But we have a lot of vote that is still outstanding, right, Carl?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, some of these smaller counties in Georgia and North Carolina will come in quickly, but the bigger counties where this will be settled will take a little while to get compiled.
But you'll be looking not only at how she's doing versus Biden, but how he's doing.
Can we get this back up? I want to look at the. There we go. It's back.
And my suspicion is.
All right, 70% of the vote.
Doing better in rural areas. And
Trump.
In urban and suburban areas, and
okay.
The key will end up being the decider will be. If
So
he
here's the
continues
thing.
to get 25% of the black.
Can you get
male
out of the
vote,
way?
This will be
No?
the best
All right,
Republican
let's go back up.
performance in that group since at least 1960.
Okay, that's not what I
And
wanted.
It will be powerful.
Okay.
So,
watch. Thank you, panel. The countdown is on to a slew of poll closings
I
across
mean,
the country,
he's got a
including
decent
the
vote,
big
but it's.
Pennsylvania, one of the biggest battleground prizes of the night. Our special coverage continues here on
70% of the vote, it does kind of look like Florida's probably going that way. 13% of the vote, oh my gosh, she's almost double her votes. Again, it's early, but those are the things that you tend to worry about. If you're Kamala Harris and you're like, how the hell do we pull this back if there's already that big of a margin?
At Good Ranchers, we're reviving that tradition by partnering with
4% in, Donald Trump took the lead in South Carolina. North Carolina, Kamala Harris still has the lead, as well as Virginia. She has a pretty big lead. New Hampshire is still early, but Kamala Harris does actually still have a lead. And Ohio with 4%, Donald Trump has the 30,000 vote lead.
You believe you were sent by God?
My voting place is a 80-second walk away. That's actually very sick. I won't lie. I'm very jealous of that. I mean, I can't complain. Mine's a 10-minute drive. But that would be really cool to be that close.
Commonwealth of Virginia. In Florida, Donald Trump in the lead, 54.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 44.7%.
You know what?
Donald Trump with a healthy 800.
I always try and be as open as possible, and I try not to make people feel alienated. You know what I mean?
From Florida. In Ohio, Donald Trump with 56.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 42.5% of the vote. Donald Trump has a 31,716 vote lead. It's still very early in Ohio. Only 4% of the estimated vote in. In New Hampshire, Kamala Harris in the lead, 58.7% of the vote. Donald Trump has 40.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris has a 10,020 vote lead. Still very early in New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's way too early to say that she's doing well there.
In the Granite State, we're only
It's a very red state.
From the biggest wave of poll closing.
A very
in
big
this
red
entire
state.
Presidential race. We are counting down to the top of the hour. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. When a total of 171 electoral votes are on the
Oh
line.
my
It's a huge
God.
chunk of the 270 needed to win. Voting is about to end in Alabama, Connecticut, Delaware, the District of Columbia, Florida, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Mississippi,
Big ups, mess.
New Hampshire, New Jersey,
How long will you stay up until? I don't know, probably like 11.
the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Rhode
I'm not going to stay up too late tonight.
Tennessee. All eyes
Probably like
are on the
10:30, 11.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in this hour ahead.
And honestly, it really does all depend on when I get like really, really tired.
Battlegrounds up for grabs tonight, and the polling there
But I
has
did
been
say, so
48-48 or 50-50.
my
Kamala Harris is
plan
hoping to
for
pull off a win in
tomorrow.
Pennsylvania, as President
Why can I
Biden
not do
did
the
4 years
slider?
ago.
Okay, well, I can't actually change the volume there for whatever reason. My plan for tomorrow, no gym at 2 a.m. Instead, I'm going to get up at my normal work time, go to work. I have a training session afterwards. We will maybe do a stream tomorrow. I think we'll do a Valorant stream tomorrow. And then we'll do gym streams Thursday, Friday.
New reporting about what's happening in the state of Pennsylvania. Jeff, what are you learning?
Well, Abby, there's no doubt that the Harris campaign is watching Pennsylvania closer than any other state. They are looking to Philadelphia in particular, what they believe is higher turnout than the 2020 levels for Joe Biden. they're looking at a couple key precincts in Philadelphia. But if that were to be the case, if the vice president is to
Yeah, I try. You know, I really, as a streamer, I should get more organized, right? Like, I should have a better schedule, and I should keep to that schedule. But it's hard with the way that my jobs are going right now and how unpredictable they are. That makes it very hard to like actually keep to like a somewhat strict schedule.
Big enough margins in Philadelphia and in Pittsburgh to carry the state. The Harris campaign is a little worried about North Carolina and Georgia. They've always said the most straightforward path is the blue.
I want to see if they've updated it.
All eyes are on Philadelphia right now. That's why, as we speak, they're trying to get the rest of the voters out.
Just a couple of minutes left. Jeff, thank you for that. Back to you, Jake.
Thanks, Abby. And let's go to Caitlin Collins.
Florida is, I mean, again, she's kind of just being held to like a 600K vote deficit. Trump has been consistently up by a decent amount, but there is enough left that she could make a late push. I don't think so. I think Florida probably is going to go red. Georgia, however, 14%. He got a massive wave of votes. I wouldn't be surprised if Kamala Harris could do the same thing. Dang, we're up to 19%, and it is. She actually went down in percentage. Georgia might actually not be looking good for the Harris campaign. However, she still does have a lead in North Carolina and Virginia. She still has over 100,000 votes on Donald Trump. Ohio has actually taken a turn. It is 9% of the vote, and she does only have a 30,000 vote lead, but that is kind of insane for her to be leading in Ohio. Let's take a look.
It's not just Pennsylvania. Across all of the states, there are large swaths of Puerto Rican voters. So whether it's
Atlanta hasn't been tallied yet.
They didn't impact the Puerto Rican vote, or it's because they actually think it could impact him in the long term.
Okay.
They're watching those numbers very carefully.
So a lot of red areas so far for Georgia. Could end up meaning that there is a comeback later on.
All right, Caitlin, thanks so much. Let's go to David Chalian now, who has some new exit polling. David,
Georgia could absolutely come back. Yeah, you are right. I didn't know that Atlanta hadn't been counted yet.
Pennsylvania democracy is the #1 issue for voters. Take a look. 33% of Pennsylvania.
I want to see how much time we got. 9. Oh, I could just look at the actual clock. I could just look at the actual clock and see that it's 10 minutes to 8.
Immigration at 12. Speaking of abortion, we asked, do you think it should be mostly legal or illegal? 64% of Pennsylvania voters, nearly 2/3, say it should be legal. 30% say illegal.
I think I'm gonna take my jacket off soon. It's getting hot in here.
Pennsylvania. You want to understand why Kamala Harris changed her
It's getting hot.
Position on this? 55% favor fracking, according to the exit polls in Pennsylvania. 36% oppose it. And Biden's handling of his job, a tick higher than we saw nationally. 43% of Pennsylvania.
True. Every single election, I feel like I do just see John King talking about the different areas.
6% disapprove, Jake.
All right, David Chalian, thanks so much. And Chris, at least just based on this exit poll, a slightly better terrain in Pennsylvania for Kamala Harris, with democracy as the #1 issue. 33%.
That's my Carl Weiser impression.
30%,
So take off all your clothes, Jimmy's mom.
And Joe Biden's approval rating is bad, but not as bad.
I think it's night and day. I mean, as compared to Georgia and North Carolina, 48% of people in Pennsylvania said either abortion or democracy was the most important issue. Seems like a very different climate than North Carolina and Georgia, and that's the point. She doesn't have to win all of the states that Joe Biden won. She just needs to win enough to get to 270, and the blue wall and the blue dot in Nebraska is enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Pennsylvania, these numbers would ostensibly be
Now I'm wearing red to show that I'm bipartisan.
The economy is right underneath that.
Yeah.
That, as we know, has been a big headwind.
Oh man, dude, I won't lie. Tomorrow's gonna be a great day to take a day off the gym. I am sore as hell today.
whether or not that very large.
I'm gonna start the new
not only,
split
you know,
on Thursday though.
Puerto Rican population. in
We're gonna do an upper lower
places
split.
Like Allentown and Reading.
Upper
whether or
lower.
not those are going
Rest.
to flip
Upper
or
lower.
maybe come out in a more robust
That'll be our
way
plan
after
going forward.
Because one of the thing about those
Oh, actually, my
comments is that
plan.
it
My plan actually for stream on. So technically, it will be a Friday stream. I'm gonna stream like normal, I think. And then once I end stream, that's when I'm just gonna go to the gym. Do the gym stream then. So we'll probably stream until like 1 a.m. 1:30, and then just go right to the gym for the stream. So it'll almost be like we're just adding an extra hour and a half to the stream.
Them right now, you're talking about it, Pennsylvania. So let's go to Kate Baldwin in Bensalem, where you have been throughout the day, Kate. And now, you know, we're seeing these exit polls. Polls are going to close. This could truly become, as so many thought it would, the must-win state for Kamala Harris.
Absolutely. And since we last spoke to you, Aaron, we have moved to Philadelphia. This is the warehouse where all of the counting.
All right, while they're talking, I'm gonna keep looking at the map.
Just learned from a source close to the counting process inside.
With the Wi-Fi, dude,
Philadelphia will
true.
be
I know.
When it posts its first votes at 8:01 p.m., they will be posting just over 110,000 ballots.
Florida is not looking good.
Batch of mail ballots to be posted, and it represents, I'm told by this source, more than 50% of all mail ballots that they have received. This also, for context,
It
Philadelphia
is
well ahead of the pace, their counting pace from
still
2020,
technically
which we've all become
possible.
so familiar with. But this is a
I
big
think,
moment that we're
but I'm gonna
first
say that
here
it's
on CNN. They'll be
improbable
posting
for Harris to
just
win
over
Florida. It
110,000
was closer than I thought it would
ballots,
be.
and we'll see the results of that when it posts online.
So
To be
crucially,
fair.
as you say, faster than we had seen last time, and the
About
context of
50,000, 55,000 votes for the alternate candidates didn't really
from
matter.
Philadelphia. It's a start, but it's a better
Yeah,
start than we've seen
yeah,
before.
Miami was the big
Kim
thing.
Brown
Whoever
is
won
joining
Miami
us.
was
Kim,
gonna
well,
win.
With the spotlight on Pennsylvania right now, you know, what are you looking for in the context of those numbers?
What's
that you
Georgia
just
looking like?
Just shared with us.
So you have the
Still
early
19%.
votes that are about to be reported shortly after 8 o'clock.
Anything in Atlanta? No.
Overall turnout, and sources I'm speaking with there
Columbus,
in Pennsylvania
1%.
and on the ground
Harris
in
is,
Philly say the
is in the
turnout
lead.
Philadelphia and some other places across the Commonwealth have exceeded expectations. So let's talk about that Democratic stronghold of Philadelphia and what I'm being told there.
So
An official there
far,
tells me at Temple University,
out of the
line was
4
around the block
big
today until they
cities,
had to bring in extra machines to tabulate the votes.
Kamala is
6
technically in the
total
lead
is
in
the
2 of them,
that
but
is
it is
typical
too
for this
early to
official.
actually give
The
her
Philly official also tells
that
me,
lead.
while they
You
don't
know what I
have an
mean?
exact number for voter turnout today, they just don't have that data right
Dude,
now,
she's actually
that
getting
turnout
kind of a
has
big
certainly
lead in
exceeded
Ohio.
expectations. 2 sources at the state and local level.
That's
Philly
surprising
told
to me.
ballots had to be replenished today in several polling places there in this
I'm
Democratic
pretty surprised by
stronghold.
that.
Overall, one state source speaking to election officials in Philly said it seems the turnout there was, quote, quite high and seems through
Getting
the roof.
0.4% in
Let's look at
Vermont.
the swing county here of
Oh
Northampton.
man,
Also
164
tells me at
votes.
Lehigh University, their
Yikes.
lines were up to 4 hours long.
That's a
I'm
tough
told
one.
this
That's
is
time to
not
pack it
because
up.
of any glitches in the system or issues, just that the turnout
All right.
there was stronger
I'm putting this
than
in a
they
new
had
spot.
anticipated at this university where there are a lot more younger voters. Now, I'm told right now, as it stands across the Commonwealth, there are 600,000
Can I make this
fewer
longer?
mail-in ballots compared to 2020, but officials aren't done counting the
Can I
total
make it
number.
longer?
And they
Uh-oh.
tell me it's
I don't know if I
actually
can.
more mail-in ballots than they were expecting. So we're about to get our first big look at those mail-in ballot numbers right there in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania at 8 p.m. A lot coming our way this hour, Aaron.
That's
That's
right.
wrong, man.
Absolutely. As
Whoops.
Kate said, more than 100,000 of them. Could be more than 50% of the outstanding for Philadelphia. John King, amazing though.
I
When you
just
hear
made
about
this
4 hours of lines, and
worse.
we have heard that from Pennsylvania
Did I make
to
it worse?
Nevada
I think I
that
did.
young people have turned out.
Hopefully everyone's turning out.
I made it
just
so
wanna say
much
quickly,
worse.
Seeing Kate Baldwin in that spot in Philadelphia, you want to trigger some Johnny 2020
Let's
PTSD.
say that's real PTSD
Yeah, that
for
is
you.
that is the spot. I remember that spot oh too well from 2020. Let's look through what we have. Blank in Commonwealth, Pennsylvania right now. Again, this is the biggest of the battleground prizes. 19 electoral votes. Whoever wins this state
Oh, I'm gonna watch
has
this.
more options to get to 270 because it's 19. The next biggest one is 16. But so what are we looking for here, right? Kate was just right here in Philadelphia. It's the biggest basket of votes. If you're the Democrat, you need to run it up in Philadelphia. So she just said we'll get about 100,000 votes, right? So let's just go back in 2020 just as a reminder.
My head is too
Joe
big.
Biden wins
I was gonna
Philadelphia,
wrap my bow tie
81%
around
of
it.
The vote. and just over 600,000 in the count. So those
Oh,
first
by the way,
100,000 will give us a clue, but it's a building
without
block.
showing
We're gonna
my
have to wait to see what keeps coming after that.
my
especially
shipping
if those are
details.
Early ballots, and we'll see. Are the early ballots this year as disproportionately Democratic as they were in 2020? That's
Oh,
what
really?
we'll see. But this is the
Interesting.
building block for any Democratic victory in Pennsylvania. It has to be not only a high percentage, but you want a high turnout. You want to do some raw math there to run up your margin. Then we get into the suburbs around Philadelphia, the Collier Counties, Bucks, and Montgomery and Delaware, and then
There
you
we
start
go.
moving out to the excerpt to see how it's going.
There we
Pam
go.
just noted 2 places that I'll keep an eye on.
You ready?
tonight. Again, I said this at the beginning of the program. Maybe you weren't with us. There are 25 counties in America.
Oh,
There are
this is not
25
what I thought it
counties
was.
in America who voted twice for Barack Obama,
Okay, I forgot to
then for
order
Donald
those.
Trump, and then switched back to Joe
I
Biden,
got a
right?
bunch
So
of
those are the
Chargers.
bellwether counties, 2 of them in the
I thought it was my breathe right strips.
Boston came out there. There's the area. Look how close
Oh,
it is in
man.
2020. But the winner
That's
is also
funny.
in the White House, right? And then you come over here. Pam just mentioned Northampton.
I still got
County,
one more.
Which is right along the Jersey border, right here.
I'm waiting to
There are
use
2
it for a
towns
night
in
that I
Pennsylvania,
actually get
part
to
of
like
all
do a
of the map
full night's sleep.
project. A great group of voters there. And again, look how close it
I mean,
was
no, it's
to
good.
Northampton
It
County.
is
There's
actually
more
good
voting lines
because I
there. I
needed a
talked
new
to one of our
charger.
voting
My
voters
charger
today by
only
text
works
who said she was
when I take my
confident
phone
the
out of my
numbers would go out,
case
but
and
that's the
I
bellwether there.
angle
That's
it a certain
Pennsylvania.
way.
Now let's come back to 2024 and see what we have on the map. At the moment,
So now
I
we're
told you
good.
this early on, the vice president
I
is
should
in
have a new
battleground,
charger. It should be
Ohio.
fine.
Not much of a battleground anymore. This is a reliably red state. So just take this. It's 20% estimated reporting. You'd rather be ahead than behind. But remember, we told you some states you're going to see a lot of early votes first, and then you get election day voting. So
Yeah.
always good to be ahead, but it's only 20%. And the expectation by the end of the night is Ohio turns back to red, but we want to look at the votes. To be fair to the former president, earlier tonight, I talked about Hamilton County, Indiana. A suburban
Okay,
county just
actually,
north of Indianapolis, where the vice president
Kamala has made about
we were in the
100,000
50%.
votes
We're about
up.
62% now. Still
She
very
went from what,
still very good
36%?
It's
She's
just
at
competitive in
44% now.
Republican-leaning suburbs, but Donald Trump is
That
taking
is
the lead in
pretty
Hamilton County,
good.
Indiana, which of course is a red state already in his electoral
True.
black column.
I mean, we'll swap
Let's just check
to
in on the comments.
Fox
Virginia,
News
then
when
we'll
they go
move
to
south.
when they go to a
Your
commercial
Harris,
break.
Joe Biden had a 10-point win here, right? If you want to recreate
We'll
the
swap for a
2020
sec.
map, you want the states to come out roughly like they did
Still
then.
has a
Only
minor
at
lead in New
22%,
Hampshire.
but right now,
Interesting.
she's in the ballpark for a 10-point win. We'll keep an eye on that. If you get that 10-point win there, the question is, can you carry it over? This has always been Democrats' frustration. How do we get Virginia, but we can't get North Carolina? Demographically, they're very similar. You could even say there are some more advantages for Democrats in the research triangle. Younger voters, more black voters. Right now, the vice president has a lead, but again, we are very early on in the state of North Carolina, 59%. Just want to go back and look for comparison.
Yeah.
126,000 votes. She has a
Stand
lead.
by for
How do we know
craziness.
we're going to be at this a while?
You know what?
It's
Yeah.
gonna take about 2.7, 2.8
Dude, that's
to win the state.
it's
So we
gonna
have
it
a
is
long
gonna
way
be
to
a
go
crazy
here.
night.
Let's just
I
take
think.
one more look at Battleground Georgia.
I
before
think
we
once I go to
the
bed,
hour, and we're going to start to see votes
once
coming in.
once
It's
we
time
go to
get a
bed,
serious map
that's
at
when
the top
things
of
are
the
gonna
hour.
start going
Donald
crazy.
Trump leading at the moment, 182,000 votes ahead. Only about a third of the vote counted.
I would
Not much in
guarantee
yet
it.
from the Atlanta suburban area, but Jake in the hour ahead.
Florida goes to Trump. Yeah, did it?
Voting is about to end in 16 states and the District
Is it
of
called?
Columbia, the biggest round of poll closings all night. A whopping
76%?
171 electoral votes at stake, including 19 in Pennsylvania, the battleground that could decide the presidential election. And let's bring you some CNN projections. CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the state
Yeah.
of Florida with its 30 electoral votes, as expected.
Dang.
Donald Trump, CNN projects, will win
That's
the
a
state
big
of
win for
Tennessee,
him.
as expected, with its 11 electoral votes.
So he's at 90. Kamala's only got 27. She's got some work to do.
Trump 10 electoral votes. Here are 2 more projections for Trump. Alabama, CNN can project, will go to Donald Trump.
Whoa! Estimated vote only 5%, but Texas is already a Kamala lead.
For Kamala Harris as well.
Is wild.
CNN projects that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, with its 11 electoral votes, as expected,
Bah,
will go to
bah,
Kamala
bah.
Harris. CNN can project that Maryland, as expected, with its 10 electoral votes, will go to Kamala Harris. And CNN can project that the District of Columbia, with its 3 electoral votes,
Cool.
can go to Kamala Harris. Here are the states
Very cool.
where the polls just closed, where we are not prepared to make a projection. They include Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Maine, Mississippi, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. No projection in any
Really?
of those
Rhode
states.
Island?
Here is the electoral vote count at this hour. Donald Trump has 90 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 20.
That is a lot early on. I won't lie.
270 are needed to win. Neither of
That's
them
a lot.
has approached that number yet. Key race alert for you now in the big battlegrounds. North Carolina, Kamala Harris is in the lead there with 51.8% of the vote. Donald Trump has 47.2% of the vote. Kamala Harris with an 11,000-plus vote lead. That's with only 5% of the estimated vote count. It's still a lot of votes to count.
It is still
In battleground
a lead.
Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead with 54.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 44.6% of the vote. That's with a third of the vote in Georgia. That's 33%.
Let's take a look at Georgia. Let's see where. Okay, so Atlanta started counting. That's where you're seeing it. She's pulling back in Atlanta. Kamala's got the lead over in Augusta. Okay, so there's not a lot of votes coming out of Savannah yet. Same as Columbus. Okay.
With only a tenth, 10% of the estimated vote counted in the state of.
Yeah, he's got a very early lead right now. Again, I don't want to give it either way yet.
44.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris has a 144,000 plus vote lead.
Could go
Ohio,
either
that's
way.
A quarter, 25% of the estimated vote in the state of
Her
Ohio.
having that big of a lead in Ohio, though, with 25% of the vote, is kind of
We're
nuts.
going to say it again because caution is the operative word here. Sometimes the map early in the night, and we are still early in the night, even though we're moving on a little bit. Sometimes the map looks a little different. Sometimes it looks a lot different than it might look at the end of the night. or
Dude,
the end
my
of the count in the
my
days,
lats
weeks,
right
a
now
day or
are
two.
like
I say that
cooked,
because at
man.
the moment you see Texas is blue. Texas is most unlikely. Rule out nothing, but Texas is most unlikely to be blue at the end of our count. At the
Yeah.
moment, the vice president's leading 61% to 38%, but it's just 5% of the Texas vote, as you can see. It's
Dude,
all
that
in
is
the Dallas
insane,
area
though.
right there. So we have a long way to go in Texas. Also, a Senate race there we'll be keeping an eye on, but that one's not going to happen right there. We have our first votes. Look at that in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Again, only 3% of the vote in, but you'd rather be ahead from the beginning to the end if you can.
Hey!
Round up to
Any
Vice President
lead
Harris,
right now is good.
27%, for Donald Trump, but again, where are they from?
Yeah,
They're all from
yeah.
right out here in Allegheny
No,
County.
dude, I won't lie,
Democratic
dude.
Harrison, they say that's about 25%
The
of the
lifts
vote, so it
in the
could change,
past
and it
couple
could
of
change
weeks have
dramatically.
been like kind of
She's getting
elite.
73% if you round up, and if you come back here, Joe Biden.
So we've gotten really good we've gotten really good
That
workouts.
would bode extraordinarily well. Look at the president 4 years
Also
ago.
true,
Was at
very true.
59, and she is at 72.5. But
We've had very
most
good
likely
workouts
to
for
get there early
streams,
on or
but I
early votes
also,
tend to
weirdly
be
enough,
more
it's
Democratic,
transitioned to
so
my
watch this
off-stream
space.
workouts
If she can
being
hold, but you've
really
got
good
a
as
start ahead of
well.
your margin,
Because I
and
tend to
then
do
battle
my
from there.
back and
That's
shoulder
Pennsylvania.
exercises at my other
Going back
gym,
through the map. North Carolina,
and I think I have a little bit more energy going into that gym and doing those that split. We're gonna do upper lower now, so we're gonna see how that changes things.
Here's where we are right now. 12,000 votes ahead. Only 6% of the vote in. Again, she's got 179,000 and change. Just for the context, Donald Trump got 2.7 million plus to win this state in 2020. So a long way to go in the count. But you look at the map and you say, is it filling in the way each candidate would want it to fill in? So let's start here. Actually, Mecklenburg is the largest population center. And Vice President getting 70% if you round that up. This is where she needs to win and win big. The African American community, the suburbs around it. If you're going to
True, lower back, we got to be careful.
You start in Mecklenburg County, in Charlotte, so 70% if you round up. 67%
We'll do some deadlifting though on
4 years ago.
On Thursday.
Joe Biden when he ran. This gets a little confusing, but if you're Harris and you can keep that advantage, that's what you want, right? You want
We'll probably
to
do
run ahead where he
deadlift.
was. The question is, it's early in the night. Can she hold
We'll do
that?
2
Can it
compound
go well
movements
for
since
her?
we're doing
If she can,
lower
it can
split.
show African American turnout and that she's doing well in the suburbs. Then you move.
We'll do
to the
squats and we'll do
Democrat over
deadlifts.
to Wake County, which is Raleigh, the second largest population center in the state. Again, we're only at 7%. So this
Nice.
is a glimpse.
I'm glad to
We'll
hear it,
check
dude.
back. 72% for her.
I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better.
Important. Where is he performing vis-a-vis last time?
And now you know
27%
it too.
for him. You come back
Now
here,
you know it
62%.
helps. So it's
again,
like,
in the early returns in North Carolina,
if you ever
the
need
Vice
to, you can go to the
President of
doctor and be
United
like, hey,
States,
this
key
worked
areas, the
before.
Democratic building blocks is running
Can I
ahead
have
of
more?
loss 4 years ago. It doesn't mean it will hold up. Let's just scoot over to Durham and take a look. Biden got 80% there. And you come back to Harris now, she's getting 84%. Again, it's only 5% reporting. Early votes tend to be disproportionately Democratic. So let's watch and see how it plays out.
Which is
Early in
odd
the
because I
campaign,
felt
you're
it's
just
been the
checking your
opposite
list. Are you
tonight.
above or below where we want to be. And if you're above, you take a breath and you wait for more votes to come in. I want to look out in this part of the state because this is the part of the state that was hit hardest by Hurricane Helene. There have been questions, could people vote? The state has done a remarkable job getting the facilities open and making people to vote. Buncombe County is where Asheville is right here. Again, only 7% in.
77% if you
It
round
is,
up to
dude.
the
It
vice
is
president.
crazy.
Go back
It is
again,
crazy
it's
how
early results. Emphasis
how
on early
quickly they were
results.
able to bounce
He's
back from that.
overperforming Joe Biden, who just narrowly lost
All right,
North Carolina.
Trump is
4
getting
years
a
ago.
boost
So if
again
that
in
holds
Georgia.
Up, it tells you keep
Looks
an eye
like.
on North Carolina. At the moment,
Atlanta, they still
she's
have
doing
about
what she needs to
50% of
do,
the
but I
way
just
to
wanna be
go.
cautious that it's early votes.
Yeah, they still have a
2% of the
lot of votes
Democrats,
to
and let's
count.
wait until we get more. Only at
A
7%
lot
in
of
North Carolina,
votes.
but we keep counting from there. So then Georgia is hanging
Dude,
on the board.
holy.
Blue, the Sun Belt battlegrounds. We'll get to Arizona and Nevada later in the
Oops.
night. Some of the count there may take us into tomorrow and beyond. But the other two Sun Belt battlegrounds are North Carolina, where we just were. Let's gas up the car. We go to Georgia now. The former president of the United States ahead there with 56% of the vote. You're up to 36%, so you start to think, okay, we're doing some business here with the count. However, I just want to caution, Fulton County, by far the largest county population-wise in the state. It's 10% of the state. 159 counties in Georgia. This is by far number one. About half of the vote in, 71%. This is where you start to get, in North Carolina, I just said very early on, the vice president was running ahead of the
Interesting.
president. Well, you see 53% there at 71%. Here, she's running a little bit behind the president. Again, there's more votes to be counted. But remember this as we go through the night. 73% if you round up for Biden 2020 in Fulton County. The absolute bedrock of any Democratic victory has to come with big math there. 380,000.
Thankfully,
votes.
it already is, right?
President then. You come here now, she's at 71%. That's a little below. It's a little below the Biden number. We'll see where the final turnout number rounds up. But if you're in the Harris campaign, you're working the phone saying, yo, what's out there? What's going to come? Where are we going? Do we really think we matched our numbers? And if you lose a little bit in Fulton County, you better make it up in the suburbs around it, which is why this is very interesting, but it's also very early. Cobb
I was
County,
gonna say, that would
58%,
suck.
But look at that, 986 votes.
That would suck for them.
It's going to take 200,000 plus, 220, 230,000.
Is
to win
there
Cobb County.
anything
So let's
else
be
that looks
careful and cautious
different
early
on the map
about
right
that.
now?
Then you just come back out. This one's Gwinnett. Up here,
Okay,
County,
Kansas only has
Harrison,
1%.
52%. Again, look, we're very
Maine
early
is
here.
starting to
Weld
look
County
red
votes,
with
this is
0%
the
in.
test of how things are
Okay,
playing out.
all right.
The 52% if you round that up.
Oh, Texas is getting closer.
You know, you're not alarmed.
Texas is getting a little bit closer.
Drop down here to DeKalb County. This is the most Democratic of the.
She had
suburbs.
100K on him before.
Atlanta.
Let's cut down to like
Biden gets
60.
83. We don't have any votes in there for the vice president. There.
Getting
One thing the
close.
Harris
Getting
campaign
close.
has been saying is if you look out here, you're moving more out to the exurbs now. You're moving more out to the exurbs.
Honestly, she still has a decent. She has a much better lead in North Carolina now. Virginia's still good. Very early in Pennsylvania, but dang, those numbers are pretty wild to start. Ohio is still looking good. She's got a 100K on him.
All right, John King, thanks so much.
Maine is red, yeah.
Key race alert for you now. We're getting some votes in from two key battlegrounds in the Commonwealth of
Let's
Pennsylvania.
look.
Kamala Harris in the lead with 77.6%.
Crazy.
Donald Trump has 21.5% of the vote. Harris
5% of the vote in does not mean a whole lot,
it
but
is very, very early. It's only 5% of the estimated vote has been counted.
that is a lot right there to start with. That's a good lead to start with.
Electoral votes. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris in the lead with 76.7%.
Again, only 2% of the vote on this one. You can't really say that it's gonna go blue, but it does probably bode well for her that it is starting off
in
well.
the battleground Michigan with its big packet of 15 electoral votes. John King.
Jake, I was just in your home state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It's been at the gym. It's a slimmed down packet of 19 electoral votes. It's not so fat. It's slimmed down. It's looking good. Here we go. Where are those votes coming from? Well, number one, they're mostly coming from Philadelphia. Kate Baldwin told you just a few minutes ago we were going to get them. Here it is. She said we would get 100,000 votes.
Dang.
We got a little over 100,000 votes, right? 17%, though, of Philadelphia. 87% in the first batch of votes in Philadelphia for the vice president. Again, bit of a broken record, but you compare her. Joe Biden won Pennsylvania, so you want to go back and look 4 years ago, and how is she doing vis-a-vis Joe Biden? 87% in Philadelphia. He got 81% in Philadelphia. It's early in the count. We know these are early votes. Kate told us that. Early
Why is that
ballots
not
tend to
going?
be disproportionately Democratic. So will this number hold up for the vice president? We'll see as we play out. If she stays close to that number, comes out a little bit, she'll be in
Dude,
good stead
he probably
in
does.
Pennsylvania, but we need to get more votes. Where are the
Honestly,
rest
I'm
of
gonna
the
say
votes?
this as
How about
well.
here now?
John King's
Lancaster
arms
County. This will be
looking
interesting.
kind of
This
thick,
one's in
man.
blue. You got 52%
They're looking kind of thick.
Look, it's fewer
Has
than
John
1,000
King
votes.
been in the
100
gym?
votes. You come back 4 years ago.
Look at that. Look
Got
at
one
that.
county
He's got some
convention,
round.
Lancaster County.
He might have
57%.
some
We got
biceps
a
under
ways
there.
to go as we wait that play
He
out.
just
You see
might.
things early on. Again, early votes. You get some early votes. They tend to favor the
My
Democrats,
back.
which is why, for example, as we leave
very
Pennsylvania,
itchy. Oh my
on the
gosh.
votes that you still see Ohio on the map is blue.
Oh, did Texas go red? No.
See, everything's fair
Dude,
game
that would have
for
been
election night.
cool if
Count
it
the
stayed
votes, see
blue.
what happens. But
But
we're
it
very,
makes
very
sense for it to
early
go
on
red.
in the
It
count
does.
In Ohio, and for example, a few moments ago we showed you Texas says blue. That has changed, just barely.
That would've been
Just
crazy if
barely
it stayed.
but that has changed as well as more votes come in.
Hitting on the
some of these
king.
rural counties in Texas. So let's come back to the states in play.
No, I
So
would
let's start in
never.
Battleground Georgia. It was
Oh, only
11,000
Dallas has really been
11,000
counted. That's
votes,
blue though.
700 and change back
Houston's gonna be
4 years
interesting.
ago.
San
Donald
Antonio
Trump
will
at 57%
probably
right now. Why
probably
is
go
that?
red.
You see the
El
red?
Paso
Yellow, red?
probably red.
Those are the building blocks of the Trump coalition.
It's gonna be
Talk
interesting.
about the
Honestly,
Democratic coalition.
Austin will probably end up
Urban
going
areas,
blue.
close in suburbs.
No, actually,
Big
no. That's
fights within
85%.
exurbs
Dang,
and
never mind.
farther out in the suburbs. Trump's base is all
What do I know,
rural
right?
counties. I'll just pick one randomly. Wilcox County, right? 57% reporting. He's getting 77% of the vote. You say, well, that's only 1,500 votes. That's not a big deal. It's a big deal if you're getting it here and here and here and here. You know, there are a lot of counties, right? You've got 159 counties in Georgia. 159 counties in Georgia. The Democrats win 13. They carry the state.
I thought it
Right?
might.
They're all in Atlanta and the other urban
I
areas.
would have
So
figured
that's
that
how Donald
Austin
Trump
would
runs
go
about,
blue,
These little tiny counties.
but
So
it
you go
does
back
look
to
like it's going
15,
red.
Jackson County, 78%. It's slightly bigger. You see the math there. 90% counted, so they're almost there. 78% in 2024, 78% in 2020. Donald Trump's base is Donald Trump's base. Let's just pick another one just to compare it out. Hall County, again, slightly bigger. You see, 49,000 votes. That matters. That matters. You're getting a vote.
Dude, this
large
back
vote that has
scratcher
30,000
is like,
votes out of one
it's just
county
got the
in the
right
South.
amount of
It's very
scratch to
competitive.
it.
73% 2024. Let's just come back and look. 71%. So in that county, Donald Trump's overperforming 2020 Donald Trump, which is good news for the Trump campaign. Now, you
So
gotta
she
add them
really
all up in
needs
the
to
end. Again, the
overperform
key for the Democrats is
in
here. Check back on Fulton
Atlanta.
County. Still at 53% there. 71% for the vice
What's it looking
president.
like?
This one, still no
71?
Cobb County. If that one stays red, Donald Trump's going to carry the state. But it's not.
Actually,
it's
do I
still
need to
very early
update?
in the count there? You come down to Douglas County. A moment ago, I was talking about Rockdale County. This is one of the counties the Harris campaign is.
Oh,
tracking
she's
and
up.
saying,
She's
okay,
got 27
this is good
now.
news for us. Why do they say that? She's about 76% of the vote count in. She's at 66% when you round that up. And Joe Biden was at 62% 4 years ago. So again, it's relatively populous, suburban area, southwest, ex-urban area,
Okay.
southwest of Atlanta. And you're looking at the Biden number. And then
He's got a lot to do
Harris
after,
in those
you know,
counties.
after
And
gym,
you say
after
we're
all
doing
that
a little
stuff.
better than Joe Biden did 4 years ago. And
Honestly,
that's
you might
good
have
for the
fallen
vice
asleep,
president,
too.
especially if she's going to lose a little bit in other places.
It's
She's
happened to
not
me
backing
before.
Biden in places. You want to overperform Biden in some others.
Or he's
Again, if you
gaming.
Look at the map. It's getting interesting, but we still have a long way to go. I just take one quick peek at North Carolina, still at 9%. We'll keep counting.
All right, John, let's go to Boris Sanchez now for
Popular
new
vote.
projections in the
Trump
fight for
actually up
control
right now.
of the U.S. Senate. Boris?
Yeah, Jake, a handful of projections to bring you right now. All of them holds for the incumbent party. Let's start with the Sunshine State of Florida.
Oh, actually, when okay, so that the latest polls did close. I'm gonna refresh. So we got another 15 minutes until the next polls close. Get out of here. I don't know why that popped up. That's annoying.
Johnson, a state lawmaker. Meantime, in Indiana, Congressman Jim Banks, he will defeat Democrat Valerie McRae, a
Oh, man.
clinical psychologist. This is for the open seat left by retiring Senator Mike Braun.
Dude, holy crap. Whoa. You know, actually, I can keep this. I can keep this here. Let's open this.
With the state of Massachusetts. Incumbent Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren seeking her third term in office.
Oh,
The
can I
former
not have it
presidential
open?
candidate is expected to defeat John Deaton, a best-selling.
So Senate, they have one flipped for Republican. Dang, that's not good for Democrats. That's actually not. I mean, things are looking. They're still on track. I think realistically, Democrats can still win the Senate. Not good though. Not good to have one flipped this early. It doesn't bode well.
Author and cryptocurrency advocate. Staying in the Northeast, another projection to bring you for Democrats in the state of Connecticut. There, Incumbent Democratic Senator Chris Murphy will win his third full term in office as he defeats Matthew Corey, a bar
You think the Republicans will get the Senate?
who's run for statewide office
I low-key hope that there isn't a split. Here's my thing. I don't think it's the end of the world, but I think that whenever there's a split, like one party has one of the houses, so like let's say the Republicans get the Senate, but the Republicans get the Senate, Democrats get the House, like nothing will get done ever, which stinks. I would like to see some things get done, some legislation get passed that doesn't have to be like massively partisan.
One pickup in West Virginia. They started out the night at 2. Now it's at 1, and they are currently leading. Still early, but they are currently leading in 0 races where Democrats hold seats. Let's take a look at some
Dang.
now and get you live updates.
Okay, that bodes well for Democrats, though.
Beginning with the state of Texas. This is a welcome sign for Democrats. It is still early, but right now, Democratic Congressman Colin Allred from the Dallas area
Ooh.
has a 1,000-vote lead over Republican incumbent Ted Cruz, who's seeking his third term.
Whoa! If Ted Cruz loses, that's crazy.
This could present one of the few opportunities for Democrats to pick up a Republican seat. We just got an update now. His lead.
Oh man, it's closing. Shit. Nah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Lone Star State. Let's get you an update from Pennsylvania.
No, if Ted Cruz loses, that like opens up it opens up his calendar to go and do more meme stuff and not just not be in Congress.
Casey right now with a 223,000 vote lead, still very early though, 6% of the vote in, and it just updated a 222,000 vote lead now for Casey with 6% of the vote in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. An update for you. One of the closest races we are expecting tonight coming from Michigan. There, Democratic Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, 60,000 votes ahead of former Republican Congressman Mike Rogers. This is for the open seat left by retiring Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow. 3% of the vote in the Wolverine state of Michigan. So, looking at the balance of power for the U.S. Senate, these are the raw numbers. Democrats hold 32 seats, Republicans 42 with that one important pickup in West Virginia, but 26 seats remain up for grabs. It's an open contest right now in the U.S. Senate. You need 51 seats to control that chamber, Jake.
All right, Boris, thanks so much. We're awaiting more votes in the crucial presidential battlegrounds of Georgia, North Carolina, and
well, we'll see what happens, right?
Watching those very early votes from Michigan as well. We're also looking ahead to 9 p.m. Eastern when all voting is going to end in Michigan and another blue wall battleground state, Wisconsin. Voting also ends soon in the key western swing state of Arizona. More votes, more suspense when election night.
Yeah, we're not going to know Arizona tonight, though. Unfortunately. All right, they're on an ad break. Let's go Fox News. They're also on an ad break.
Watch on Paramount Network this week.
All right, let's take a look.
Oh, nah. They just got Simply Safe. It protects
Any updates to anything?
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Whoa.
Kansas has flipped for the moment. Nothing else has been called in the meantime. Rhode Island's looking blue by about 1,000 votes. Interesting. Connecticut by about 500 votes. Pennsylvania 7% of the vote. I don't want to get too you know, I don't want to say anything too early, but almost 250,000 votes of a lead in Pennsylvania this early, pretty good for the Harris campaign. Ohio still blue, but it is closing. About a 30,000 vote lead. Did Trump just get another claim, or did that just open? Oh, that just opened. Never mind. You expect all of the South to really go red, right? That is not shocking. Oh man, yeah. Trump is kind of running away with it now in Texas. I'd be amazed if Ohio. Yeah, me too, man. 30,000 votes is insane. Verify natural disaster info. Why am I getting that as a TikTok thing? What? We're talking about the election. That's insane to me. Alright, all these ads are killing me, man. There we go.
So economy, obviously the biggest issue in this election. Let's go to Sandra Smith with a look at how that is playing out in our Fox News voter analysis. Sandra.
Hey, Martha. Hey, Brett. Yeah, just taking a look. This is the national
Hey.
level.
Whoa, hey, it's me. They said Brett.
Because we want to get a look at how voters were thinking about the economy there when they decided who they were going to vote for. But this is their view on the nation's economy. And as we knew leading up to Election Day, it's pretty negative. But the thing to point out here is when you compare it to 2020.
Oh, true. You're right. You're right.
View of the economy, this is about
I had to go back to my natural outfit though. Like I gotta stay true to myself.
show you what we're seeing there. Okay, when it comes to those that are looking for change, we know this is a big part of the story of this election day.
You know, as it goes on, maybe we throw it back on.
Total upheaval. This is Pennsylvania voters, okay? 28%. And you were to break that down by
It is
candidate?
8:21 p.m. in the East Coast, and we are getting deeper into this election.
What we get?
A key race alert right now. Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Kamala Harris. in the lead there with 70% of the
240,000.
vote. Donald Trump has 26.9% of the vote. Harris has a 240,000 plus vote lead. But it's early. Only 8%
It is
of
thorough.
the
You
estimated
can't
vote
you
has
can't
come
say
in
it's
from
chewing yet.
Pennsylvania. In Michigan, Kamala Harris in the lead there with 61.1% of the vote. Donald
Oh, yeah.
Trump with 37.1% of the vote. Harris with a 58,000 plus vote lead. Still early there as well. Only 4% of the estimated vote has come in from Michigan. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump.
Yeah, 2016 Fox was like a different animal.
Harris with 44.4% of the vote.
They're very subdued tonight. I won't lie.
5,000 plus vote lead. That's with almost half the vote in. 48% of the estimated vote in
Dang.
from battleground Georgia. In battleground North Carolina, Kamala Harris in the lead there with 52.1% of the vote. Donald Trump with 46.5% of the vote. Harris has a 36,000 plus vote lead. That's with only 11% of the estimated vote in from North Carolina. It is still.
I don't want to say anything about North Carolina yet.
In the Commonwealth of Virginia, Harris in the lead there, 51% of the vote. Donald Trump has 47.2%.
That's not enough.
Harris with a 58,000 vote or so lead. That's with more than a third of the vote in from Commonwealth Virginia. 34% of the estimated vote. John King.
Jake, starting to fill in more on the map. You're starting to figure out where we go. I want to caution everybody, if you look at the map, as we start to fill in more as we move at least to the Midwest, you have Kansas blue at the moment. Very reliably red state. We'll count the votes, see what happens. Remember, it shocked us after Dobbs with the referendum there. Ohio is still blue. We expect as more votes come in, that will swing back. But again, that's why we count votes. If you look at just big picture at the moment, Donald Trump in an unusual position. We'll see if it holds up. At the moment, he's leading in the popular vote. He, of course, lost the popular vote in both 2016 and by a much larger
That
margin.
would be insane if he won the popular vote.
2020, at the moment, he's 2.5 million votes ahead in the popular vote, but that's about 17% of the
I
national
wouldn't have
vote, so we
expected
a lot
that.
of counting to do.
Honestly, he's
Tonight,
doing a lot
tomorrow,
better
and
than I thought he
beyond.
would.
It will take. So let's wander through some of the
I'm gonna say
battleground
this.
states. Let's start in the biggest
I
battleground
had
states of all,
an idea in my
Pennsylvania,
head that I didn't want to say out loud.
there.
I thought Trump was gonna do not great
even if she wins
in this
it, it's just
election.
too competitive
He's
a state.
doing
So why
significantly
is it such a
better
big
than
lead?
what I thought he
Most of
would.
the votes are from right down here in
Is the family
Philadelphia.
watching this
In the
upstairs?
Democratic side,
I think my mom is. My dad's actually working right now.
We're still at the same place, 87%, 17% there at 87%. We haven't moved in Philadelphia.
My dad's making sure
Ahead
no
of
one goes
where
crazy at
what's going on
the
still, but that's a tiny percentage
at the
of folks
booths.
in their early votes. So let's move up here. This is the most competitive of the three caller counties. It's Delaware, Montgomery, and Bucks. Bucks has become the most competitive. At the moment, the vice president is getting 66% if you round up in Bucks County. But again,
I think
it's
my
11%.
sister and
The vice
her
president ends
husband
up
both
above
don't care.
60% in Bucks County.
Or not that they
It's
don't care, they
with the
just don't want to
Commonwealth of
watch.
Pennsylvania, but it is very, very early.
Which
Why
is
do I say
fair.
that? Because Joe
I do
Biden
kind of get that, but it
last
is
night
kind of cool to
this
like
is
watch
a very
history happen
tough,
in real
good,
time.
strong Trump base in Bucks County.
No matter what
And you see
happens.
at the moment,
That's the way I
is
look
the
at
early
it.
votes
I'm
are
like,
what we
this
want.
is
And
kind of
see
historical.
another place
As much
here
as I
is
was
Montgomery
making
County.
fun of
Again,
like
when I started
Fox
doing
News
this,
and
this is where
ABC
Ronald
for
Reagan
saying
and
that,
George H.W. Bush won elections. No more.
whatever
It's a
happens, Far Cry
Democratic
will still
stronghold
exist.
now. But
Unless
right
Ubisoft
now,
decides to take the
fair
license
enough,
away from us.
800 votes when you add that up.
Because
So
hey,
we won't even
technically
bother
we
with
don't
the comparison.
own
Then you just pop down to
we don't
Delaware
own
County.
the games
Same
anymore,
issue. About 15%
according to
of the vote in.
Ubisoft.
We can take a look here. I was just here the other day in Delaware County, and you see it's overwhelmingly Democratic.
Absolutely,
You do
James.
see some pockets of Trump support. This is one of the places. It's a key
Unforgettable
test.
night.
He's not going to win Delaware County. Can he improve his standing in the suburbs just a little bit? That's Donald Trump's big challenge. Improve your standing in the suburbs just a little bit. 15%. He's at 24% right now. If you go back 4 years ago, he was at 36%. So if he stays where he is, he's in trouble in Pennsylvania. But again, these are very, very, very early results. So we've been looking at this from the vice president's perspective. Let's come back to 2024 and look at it from the former president's perspective, and that is these red areas out here. So this is Butler County. This is where the rally was, where the assassination attempt was made on the former president's life. Very small smattering of votes right here.
Do we think he's actually going to win it?
This is Trump country. 81% of the vote at the moment right now. You go back.
It's
4 years
Trump
ago,
country, but also
67%.
a Republican tried to
Let's
assassinate him.
It's very, very early.
Do we think he
I'm
gets it?
I'm not making the comparison now. It's just one of the places we laid out markers and we look. Does Donald Trump match or exceed his 2020 performance in these smaller red rural counties? That is his building block in the Commonwealth of
I
Pennsylvania
would
and in
have
all the
said
battlegrounds.
no.
Runs it up in the small rural areas.
I would have said no.
Let's move
I would have
down.
said no.
North
Trump
Carolina.
wouldn't have exceeded 2020.
We'll take it back to you. I'll be back in a
But
minute.
I've been kind of
That's
wrong
right. I
tonight.
have a projection now. CNN has a projection. And CNN can project that South Carolina will go to Donald Trump.
Dang.
To the Republican with 9 electoral votes. Let's take a look at how that affects the electoral map. Donald Trump
With only
in the lead with
34% in, they're
99
calling it?
electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 27 electoral votes. There are 270.
Dang, he's
electoral
got a
votes
decent lead in
needed
Georgia
to
still.
win. Neither
Georgia's
of them
going
are
red, I
particularly
think.
Close, though. Obviously, Donald Trump in the lead. John.
Georgia's going red, dude. Uh-oh.
So let me just wander over here. It's earlier than I just want to wander over for a minute. These are the ones, the states we have projected.
Yeah, I know. Look,
You see
he
the
has a
states
much
noted.
clearer path to
99
victory right now, which is kind of wild.
27 for the vice president. We're very early. Takes 270 to win. The thing you look at when you look at this map is, are there any surprises? And the answer as of now is no. That the states that are red are states that Trump has won consistently, and the Republican states, and the states that are blue are Democratic states. So we have no surprises.
Yeah,
on the
no.
map at the
But
moment.
again,
Those-
we have a
those states-
lot of
those states
time.
are considered battleground states.
Like, there's a
Always welcome
lot of
an election night
time
every
for
now and then
Kamala to
get a
come back.
surprise. At the
But
moment,
there
the map
is
filling in
also,
as
this is
expected.
this is a
As we are
very
ready for the
early,
states
very
that
big
tend to
lead
be the swing
for
states
Trump.
and the battleground states. Just one
That's
point
what's
I
kind
wanna
of
note.
crazy about this.
Pittsburgh,
I
last
would
time
have
we were here,
expected
just a few
the
minutes ago,
opposite.
Ohio was blue.
I would have
Ohio has
expected a
traded
very
very red
early
now.
lead for
Donald Trump, a
Kamala.
very narrow lead, but it's the trend as the
And
electoral votes start to come in,
Trump to then
states that
kind
have
of
a lot of electoral
trickle in
now that
votes
one
as
party or the
time
other
goes on
to go back to the
and
DNA.
start winning
Trump
winning
now
some more
narrowing
states.
ahead in
Rizzler
Ohio.
for
We'll keep an
president.
eye on that as we do it. So let's
Nate,
look at the battleground states
thank you
that
for
matter
the
most.
6
It's
months,
that
brother.
national
6 month
field,
streak.
who can get to
My goat.
270. Georgia
Thank
is
you,
one
man.
of the big pieces
I
of the
appreciate
puzzle.
that, dude.
And again, in a state decided by 11,779
6 fucking months, man.
votes, I believe.
Holy.
4 years ago, Donald Trump ahead by more than 300,000 votes, or about half the count. Half the count is good, but there's still a long way to go. Just want to check. This is where the Democrats have to run it up. Remember, Cobb County, last time we checked, Trump was winning. Harris is now winning with 57% of the vote. 57% of the count in. She's got 50%, 7% of the vote. You move over. That's around where Biden was 4 years ago, a little tiny bit above. That's what she wants to do. You come over to DeKalb County. Biden was at 83. The vice president is at 75. Very early in the count there.
What's your 10K, Andy? Dude,
That would be a big. That would be if she's underperforming Biden there. That would be
being a 10K Andy would actually be
Trump base. I'm gonna just pick one
overwhelming.
randomly. Wilcox County. I did that one before, so let's
It'd be
pick
so
another one.
overwhelming.
County right above.
How do you how are you
95%
supposed to
of the
read
vote
chat?
70% for Donald Trump. Not a lot of votes.
I've
This is
always
40,000
wondered that.
more
Like,
than
how do you actually go about
69%
that?
4 years ago, so a little bit.
You just
100
kind of
votes
have to
here,
like
100
pick
votes
and
there.
choose, I
Doesn't
guess.
matter as you're trying to
Trump
win the battleground
overperforming in
state.
rural
We'll see how
Georgia?
that one goes.
Yeah.
Let's just pop up to North Carolina.
Looks like it.
Let's see again.
Extreme ADHD.
48%
True.
if you round
Dude,
that up.
like imagine trying to game
State, and again,
and you have you know, I mean
10,000
10,000 people aren't chatting all at once. But even like you have 10K viewers and you have like
68%
let's say 2,000 people chatting at the same time, bro, how do you even do that? If I'm playing Valorant and I'm trying to read in between
So
rounds,
you're looking right now, battleground North Carolina, battleground Georgia, battleground Pennsylvania.
that's a rough one.
Back to 2024. Some votes coming in slowly in battleground Michigan. as
I'd have to
well.
turn TTS off.
As we continue down to go to
TTS would actually be
Let's take
insane.
Let's take a quick look at Michigan before we have to go here.
Have to make it like
59%,
paid or
but look
something
at
like
all the
that.
votes are here. Let's check here. This is Kent County.
Dude,
This is
exactly,
Pennsylvania.
James. Yeah.
Hold on to this one. No, we're in Michigan,
Dude.
but we're very, very early in the count, Jake.
I missed like 3 chats and I'm like, oh my god.
Where 6 electoral votes are at stake.
And CNN can project that Donald Trump
Arkansas.
will win the state of Arkansas as expected. Donald Trump will take
Donald Trump is taking Arkansas.
electoral votes. Let's take a look at the electoral map count now.
Trump is officially over the 100 mark. That is crazy.
There are 270 electoral votes needed.
I bet there's a setting in Chatterino to make it a sneaky sub only. Do you think so?
Pennsylvania, Kamala Harris has 71.2% of the vote. Donald Trump has 27.8% of the vote. Harris with a
You know what? That wouldn't surprise me.
230,000+ vote lead.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Only 8% of the estimated vote has been in from Pennsylvania. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris has 57.6%.
But I feel like that would really only be useful for like, again, like a 10K streamer.
50,000+ vote lead. That's with 6% of the estimated vote in from Michigan. Still a lot of votes to be counted in Michigan. In battleground North Carolina, Harris in the lead there.
Dang, a 7,000 vote lead.
48.9% of the vote. Harris
it's kind of trending downwards.
Approximately 7,200 vote lead. That's with 14% of the estimated vote in North Carolina counted. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead with 55.4% of the vote. Kamala Harris bringing up the rear with 44% of the vote. Donald Trump with a healthy 322,000+ vote lead. That's with more than half.
I mean, she's kind of doing all right.
3% of the estimated vote in Georgia counted.
She's making it back a little bit.
Virginia, Kamala Harris in the lead with 50% of the vote.
Did you upgrade your stream
Donald
cam?
Trump with 48.6%.
No, does it look good right now?
Harris with a 30,000+ vote lead. That's with more than a third, 39%.
Oh, true, Nate. Did you get Wendy's today?
Virginia counted. In the state of New Hampshire, Kamala Harris in the lead, 54.1% of the vote. Donald Trump with 45.3%.
18%. I'm not calling it yet.
Lead. That's with an estimated 18% of the estimated vote out of New Hampshire.
Dude, I want to get some Wendy's.
In Ohio, Donald Trump in the lead.
Dude.
50.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 48.9% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 36,000+ vote lead. That's with an estimated 41% of the estimated
That'd be a good time.
vote in from Ohio. And now we can make a projection in a closely watched
Projection.
race for governor. CNN can project that Democrat Josh Stein will be elected governor.
I thought it was going to be a state getting projected. But okay, Josh Stein, good for you, man.
Republican opponent, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, who had Donald Trump's endorsement. Robinson's history of controversy became a major issue in the race, including
I'm contemplating making queso right now.
Shall we call them inflammatory posts on a porn website?
I'm contemplating acting like queso. Dude, I low-key need to go make something to eat so I don't die tonight. I might make some popcorn.
Limited Governor Roy Cooper. John?
And Jake, one of the big questions in North Carolina, as you know, is Democrats were somewhat hopeful that maybe the
fat ass? Don't call me a fat ass if you're talking about making queso by yourself.
That with the Republican candidate Robinson in trouble, would Trump be impacted?
Order some
by
Taco
that?
Bell.
So let's
I
just
would
take a
love
quick
to.
look at it.
I would love
You
to
see
do
North
that.
Carolina, this is the presidential race, very close at the moment.
But I
We're only
won't.
about
I'm going to be
50%
good. I'm going to be good and I'll make some
statewide count, so
popcorn.
a long way to go in a state we expect to be tight. It is tight from the get-go.
I
in the
haven't
early
look
count.
it. I
just
haven't
wanna switch
broken a
over and
chair
look at
in
the governor's race. Excuse me, it's down here. Look at the
6
governor's race. So you
years.
have the Democrat here at 49.4.
That was like
Democrat
actually
for
6 years
president.
ago.
Look at the
That's
governor's race.
crazy.
Josh Stein winning 56% of the vote. So you have a lot of ticket splitting happening in North Carolina right now. People who are voting
6
for
years
Donald
ago,
Trump
playing
who simply could not
Fortnite
vote
Battle
for Mark
Royale
Robinson
broke my
for governor.
chair.
And so at least at the moment, not the benefit that the Harris campaign was hoping for, at least no evidence of a giant benefit that the Harris campaign was
Kamala,
hoping
dude,
for
in
North
Georgia, she'll need
Carolina
that extra
scandal
queso.
around the Republican gubernatorial candidate. So what do we have here in the key Sun Belt battleground? North Carolina, Georgia, and then we go west, Arizona and Nevada, 648 votes ahead. That's why we call them battleground states. But we're only at 14% of the count.
It is that is a clip of all time.
West to east, 73% for the vice president, 26%.
Is indeed a clip.
You just go back and check. Joe Biden came close here, but
Link the
lost,
clip.
so she's overperforming him at the moment.
Vaughn,
there.
link
And
me
then
that
you
clip,
wanna come over
please.
to the biggest
Mods,
population center in
mods.
Charlotte in the suburbs. That's Mecklenburg County.
Oh, actually, I remembered. I'm gonna do that thing where I only refer to you as like a
Come
medieval.
back here, she's getting 70. In the early
Guards, guards.
it's neck and neck. It
Bring
is
me my
one of the
scroll.
big tug-of-war states in the United States right here, and we'll continue to count. Still at 14%. Let's pop down to Georgia. We're at 53%. We were at 50% last time, so we're moving up, but moving up slowly. And again, it's trademark Trump, just running it up in the rural areas. And so we pick one randomly. You come down here, Bacon County, 95% in, so we're close to the
Dang.
full count here. But look at that, 87% of the vote, right? This is how he does it. It's 4,000 votes to 600 votes. In a state this big, you say, oh, that's not such a big deal.
Wrote you in on my ballot. Wait, what'd you write me in for?
That adds up. So just go back and take a
What'd
look.
you write me in for?
86%. So Donald Trump is at least matching his performance in most of these rural counties of 4 years ago.
President?
When Georgia was incredibly close. So if he matches in the rural areas, all he has to do is
I've always wanted to be
in
president.
the suburbs or in the urban
I've
areas,
always wanted it.
and you're more
Guys,
competitive in the state.
it's my time to announce that I am running for president of the United States in 2028 because I am actually 48 years old.
By the margins in the suburbs. Only 16% of the vote.
Free V-Bucks and Val points. Yes, and Robux. We can't forget about the Robux. And that's the thing. That's what Donald Trump's forgetting about. He talks about the V-Bucks. He talks about the Radianite, but he doesn't talk about the Robux.
He's got some work to do. We'll see if he can do it.
I'll be giving all my voters Robux.
Democratic of the suburbs just to the east.
We're not going to be forgiving student loans. I will just give you $100,000 worth of V-Bucks and Robux and Radianite.
So we have a ways to go.
$100,000 worth of Radianite could probably upgrade like 3 guns.
County, the Atlanta south of Atlanta, big Democratic stronghold. This was critical
Freak
to
bucks.
Biden coming back in Georgia as they counted the votes in 2020.
Yeah, what if we got rid of the U.S. dollar and we just made it freak bucks instead? And instead of paying for things, I just had to shake my ass every time I walked into the store. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying right now. Guys, I'm gonna go get some popcorn. Do you guys want anything while I'm gone?
Right? You got 85 when you round that up.
Can I get you guys anything?
You got 85
Water?
When you round that up. So here we go in Georgia again.
All right, give me
so
like,
far as you go
give me
through
5
it,
minutes. I'll be
you've
right
got
back.
a very competitive
We're gonna
race.
make some popcorn.
So that one's competitive. Let's come out of there. I want to go up and look at Michigan. We haven't spent any time here yet. Only 6% of the vote in. So be careful about anything, but you're trying to look and see what happens. Again, this is Kent County. Both campaigns focus on Grand Rapids and the suburbs. Used to be a reliably Republican area. Trump at the moment, but look again, we're under 1,000 votes right there. Trump at the moment, but here's what you're running against, right? Joe Biden gets 52%. If you go back to 2016, Donald Trump carried this with 48% in a state. You know, if Michigan's going to be very close, it was 154,000. It was the biggest lead Biden had in any of the battlegrounds 4 years ago. But if you're going to be competitive for Donald Trump, you'd like to turn this red. If you can't turn it red, you would at least like to narrow that margin for Donald Trump. So we'll watch and see how this plays out in 2024. Come back to today's map here. Was just on the texting, I was going to say on the phone, it's texting, it's the same thing, with a key Democrat out in Michigan who said they're a little nervous about here, not Monroe County, but Wayne County. He said they're a little nervous about Wayne County. They think turnout among Democrats might be down a little bit in Wayne County. That would be a problem. The African-American vote in Detroit, the student vote, Wayne State, places like that, absolutely critical for the Democratic coalition. So we'll see when we get. Wayne County is always late to report, so it's going to be a while. We'll see if that's true. If those fears are true among Democrats that maybe turnout is down a little bit here. If it is, then the vice president has to make it up here. Oakland County, again, 20 years ago, a Republican suburb, 58% right now. We're just approaching 40%. 58%. Remember, Joe Biden carried Michigan 4 years ago to 56%. That would help. If you're above Biden, maybe you get a little math to make up if you're losing a little bit in the city. We'll see if that plays out as we thought. And I just want to pop down to bring this issue on the table as well. Washtenaw County, absolutely critical. Young voters were critical to the Biden coalition in 2020, even more critical when Governor Whitmer won re-election in 2022, and the Michigan Democrats made gains in the legislature. Washtenaw County is the home of Ann Arbor. It is the home of the University of Michigan. Been there 4 times over the last year, and it's gone now. The school won't allow a protest anymore, but student protests here about the Israel-Hamas conflict had hurt President Biden. The question was, after the switch to Vice President Harris, could she heal that wound in the Democratic coalition? So you see her at the moment 22%, so we have a long way to go. 60% for the vice president there right now. 72% for the president of the United States. If that number stays that way, that's a problem. That's a problem. If 73%, if you round that up in Washtenaw County, 61% or 60% actually, you can't round that up quite yet. So that's something to keep an eye on as we go forward. And I just want to come out just the other day. I was also here. Michigan State is in Lansing in Ingham County. And again, you're trying to get students to turn out. Was at a Trump phone bank here. Mostly young men, college students, young men there. 50% for the vice president right there. You come back in time, and 65% for the president of the United States. So as we go through battleground Michigan, it's early. It's early. So I'm not, you know, this comparison is not in cement yet, but these are the places you want to watch. At the moment, in a couple of key places, that would be Ingham County and Washtenaw County, Jake. She's trailing the president. So she needs to, if you want to get your math up in Michigan, watch those in the hours ahead.
All right. Now let's check in on the all-important race to 270 electoral votes as we head into another round of poll closings. So, with Donald Trump is in the lead here with 105 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 27 electoral votes. Obviously, 270 are needed to win. We are far from that. Obviously, Donald Trump still in the lead. But now let's bring you another key race alert. In North Carolina, battleground North Carolina, Donald Trump in the lead there. 52.2% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 46.6% of the vote. Donald Trump taking the lead there in the first time this night. Donald Trump has a 69,000 plus vote lead. That's with about a fifth of the vote in, 21% of the estimated vote in from battleground North Carolina. And battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris in the lead with 56.9% of the vote. Donald Trump has 41.2% of the vote. Kamala Harris currently has 59,000 plus more votes. That's with 7% of the estimated vote. It's still very early. In the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the all-important battleground, Kamala Harris in the lead there with 69.8% of the vote. Donald Trump has 29.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris with a 323,000 plus vote lead, but that's only 11% of the estimated vote in. It's still very early in Pennsylvania. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead, 55.6% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 43.8% of the vote. Donald Trump has currently a 339,000 plus vote lead. That's with more than half of the vote in. In battleground Georgia, 54% of the estimated vote in from Georgia.
All right, gang. What I miss?
We're standing by for the second largest wave of
What I miss?
just minutes from now at 9 Eastern, when a total of 163 electoral votes are at stake in 15 states. Remember, 270 electoral votes.
Prayer rug behind me?
All voting is about to end in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, the battleground state of Michigan, Minnesota.
Well, that's a Game of Thrones flag.
New York, North Dakota, South Dakota, Texas, battleground Wisconsin, and Wyoming.
Dude, my posture is still bad, but it was so bad back then.
On the line in the hour ahead, pillars of the Democrats' so-called blue wall that crumbled in 2000.
You're the worst. Yeah, take that, take that. What's wrong with me, man?
Now, West Arizona is another major presidential battleground that we're watching. We're heading into a high-stakes hour in the Harris-Trump contest.
Yeah, I had my Stark flag in the background. Fortnite's changed so much, dude. Fortnite used to be so good,
in
man.
Washington. And Abby, voting is about to end in 3 battlegrounds. What's the outlook?
Come on, he had the mythic minigun. No, yeah, did he?
Oh my God, that's Sammy.
I can't play on these settings! I can't do anything!
What was, dude? I don't want to talk about it.
That really becomes
Oh yeah, guess what? We got news. What's the news? What I miss?
They get Pennsylvania, the rest of the path becomes much more clear. So as I've been talking to people,
Yeah, dude, I was.
Oh my God, bro!
You can tell just from there, man. My posture, but dude, my hairline looked bad in that. Returns permanently. Oh, okay. Builds and 0 builds. All right, goated. Actually goated. W Fortnite, W Darian.
Because they've got great numbers, but they're not willing to go out.
Dude, that customer service job legitimately was the worst job I've ever had.
Good numbers out of Philadelphia. The local officials there are suggesting that Harris could exceed what Biden did in that city, and if she's able to do that, that would make, again, her path to winning that state.
I think you could get Brian to play Fortnite if they did Chapter 1 again.
West Palm Beach, Florida, now where we find Caitlin Collins. And Caitlin, what is the Trump campaign going to
I'd probably come out of retirement for that.
Poll closings?
Well,
I'm not going pro. Let's not say that. Let's not say I'm going pro. Vaughn, you can go pro. I'm not going to try.
They're not expecting to get a real sense of those numbers until much later in the evening, but they will be watching Wisconsin very closely. They want to see how abortion lands there and how close the margin.
It's OJ right now again. Wait, is it really?
President Donald Trump
No
was
shit.
doing that maybe no other presidential candidate has done is watching the returns
I didn't know
coming
that.
from Wisconsin with someone who is also on the ballot in Wisconsin, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He fought to get his name off the ballot, but the Supreme Court
wait,
there told him
So
no.
they have
it
like,
was too late. He was
it's
already on the
basically
ballot, so
Rebirth,
people were
but for
getting in
Fortnite.
the
That's
mail.
kind of sick.
And I am told Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is at Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump tonight, watching these returns come in.
Interesting.
Obviously, the reason he fought to get his name off that ballot, Jake, is there is a concern that with the margin as small as it could
Honestly, I may
potentially
have to
be there,
re-download.
that it could have an effect. The margins are everything in this race, as
I may
we're
have
starting
to.
see in these numbers coming in. So Trump will be watching that come in alongside RFK Jr., both of them on the ballot, Jake.
All right, Caitlin Collins in West Palm Beach with the Trump
Yeah.
campaign. Thanks so much. Let's go to
Von
David
Evans
Sassy
is
now
sweating
with
that
some exit
game.
polls from Michigan, Wisconsin, and Arizona. 3 battlegrounds we're hoping to hear from soon. David, what
Dude, we'll get some
stands out
custom
as you
games
look at
going
data
again.
From these 3 key states?
Play some prop hunt.
As the polls are about to close in these 3 critical battleground states, I wanted to look at Biden's approval rating just as sort of a baseline of the environment in these 3 states. Nationally, his approval rating has been updated to 40% in the exit polls nationally. In Arizona, you see here, Jake, he's at 43%. He's slightly above his national approval number in Arizona.
Absolutely not.
If you look at Michigan, he's at 42% approval. Again, slightly above where he is.
Yeah,
nationally.
Trump has a decent lead right now.
Story. His approval rating, the sitting president, Joe Biden, is at 38% in Wisconsin. That is below where he is nationally. 61%
True.
of Wisconsin voters in this
True,
election
Darian.
disapprove of the job Joe Biden's doing. That's a hurdle that Kamala Harris is going to have to jump here in the Badger State. Jake?
All right, David Chalian, thanks so much.
Darian.
This would have been a very different race.
Have you
if
been
Joe
streaming
Biden,
recently? Have I been
was
missing
in
it?
I mean, if it ends with the Trump victory, and we have no idea how it's going to end, so don't misinterpret what I'm saying. But there's going to be a lot of finger pointing and
Also, let's look at the
recriminations
map
and
again.
wondering. But these approval ratings for Joe Biden are brutal.
6 in 10 in Wisconsin say that they.
It
don't
is not
approve
looking good.
of the
Ohio went
president.
red.
It is brutal. And there's
Decent
no
amount.
other
North
way to look at it.
Carolina
And
went
that
red.
is, no question,
Virginia
a
went
big
red.
headwind for Kamala Harris, despite the fact that she has been trying to separate herself.
Kansas is
despite
still
the fact
blue,
that She is saying
which
that
is
she
weird.
wants to turn the page and that she's a new generation and all the things that we've heard.
Pennsylvania
One
blue
of her stump
by a
speeches.
lot.
That is a number that there is no question the Harris campaign is looking at and saying, we hope that that doesn't bleed into Harris and the actual votes.
Especially since the Trump
Interesting.
campaign tried to do an effective job in time.
No, I have it. The
for
Fortnite
to
community is just so
that,
toxic.
Administration saying not just that
Yeah.
he was the vice president, but that look, you were in
Yeah.
the room, you were always there. There were all kinds of decisions.
I feel you
that
on
made a
that.
difference, and you didn't.
Well, and then of course there was her.
Yeah,
her
Virginia.
gaffe
Virginia.
on The
It might
View
not
when
even
she
be
was
tomorrow.
asked, what would you have done differently over the last 4 years?
It might
And
end
she
up being
said,
Thursday.
Nothing comes immediately to mind, which was probably not the best.
Honestly,
Jake, if I can just
Fortnite was
look back,
fun
I
back
think
in
a
the
lot
day,
of
but it got to a
viewers
certain
made
point where I
just
just
a
couldn't
big
stream
picture.
it
You look at
anymore.
this and saying, Trump's got 105
If you're not like the
electoral
best,
votes,
the
right,
best,
and
people will
Harris has
come in
got
and just hate
27,
for like
and
for
there's
no
a
reason.
half a country of red and a little corner of blue. And I think the point we need to make is at this moment,
I didn't want to deal with it.
It is a tennis match. There are no surprises. There have been no flips. Nobody has broken serve, if you will.
Right.
All the states that Trump won in that he
When
won
I stream
tonight are states
Fortnite-
that he won in 2020. All the states that Harris won are states that Biden won in 2020. There's
When I
been
used to stream
no
Fortnite, I
swing
legitimately
states.
had
There's
people
been
stream
flip
sniping
sides,
me,
and there is
and I was
it's
less
just
than
the
10
way
viewers.
The states roll out the Republicans.
Like, who does
get
that?
A lot of the early
Who does
calls
that?
And a lot of big red states.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been any dramatic.
Nah, you'd be
change.
fine,
They're
Darian.
both on track. To
You know what it is?
270.
Yeah.
It depends
You gotta
on
start
some
ruling with
states
an
that
iron
this
fist.
fall.
This is pretty. It's a good point. This is pretty.
Don't be
much
afraid
where
to
everybody
to smack the
expected.
ban hammer on the
Most
people
of the-
that start
at
to
this
get
point,
crazy.
We still have not projected New York. We still have not projected California. I mean, there are plenty of places with
Right.
a lot of delegates. That
You have
I mean,
3,400 hours?
It's
Dang.
a surprisingly close race in Virginia, which has gone blue since 2008.
Dude, there were people.
Obama, the
There were
last
stream
four
snipers that
cycles.
legitimately were
And
putting like
if you
bread in
remember,
their
Trump
name and stuff.
had in late October,
Like
had a
bread
rally
sucks
there,
and
he
stuff
said,
like that, and I'd be like,
Virginia, that's a blue
bro,
state.
what?
He's running
That's
Who
true.
has the
Pennsylvania.
time?
I understand.
Who
Yeah.
has the
It's
time to
49.
do this?
But John King set the table on that earlier when he said
They formed this group called Stream Snipers Association. Oh my goodness.
In 2016, or is she going to win it the way?
Again, I gotta ask the question: who has the time? What's a stream sniper? It's someone who watches your stream and attempts to get into your games specifically to ruin them. So they'll watch your stream so they know exactly where you are to go try and find and kill you.
Which we were talking about before, but just earlier,
Or
we were looking at the return
sometimes people do it for like IRL streams where they'll stream snipe and try and get onto your stream.
Finally seeing numbers. It is early, but they are important.
So it doesn't have to be video game related.
We cannot stress enough how critical Pennsylvania is that you're looking at right now is to Kamala Harris. Donald Trump, if things go the way that they traditionally go for a Republican, unlike 2020, he could win the White House without Pennsylvania. It is hard to see in most of these paths.
I'm gonna join the Stream Snipers Association.
Winning the White House without Pennsylvania. And you
Become
see
the president and
68%.
dissolve it.
That's what she has now. It is still extremely early, only 13%.
I gotta use this too.
Right,
My
this is the
my
point
lats
that
are killing
Chris
me.
is making about the larger electoral
Ooh.
map. It also applies to the vote that we see in Virginia and the vote that we see in Pennsylvania.
Oh my God.
If
Can you
Kamala
guys
Harris
hear
wins
that at all?
Pennsylvania, and who
Hopefully
knows,
not.
She's not going to win it with more than 60% of the vote. That's crazy. Like it's going to be, it is anticipated to be razor thin. We're still waiting for all the votes to come in. You know, so brew a pot
dude.
of coffee.
No joke.
We got a lot of votes to
Instantly
look
feel
at.
better right
Let's
now.
go back to Aaron Burnett. And Aaron, voting's about to end in 3 of the crucial battleground states that we are watching and that you are in charge of at your Battleground Command Center.
The command center, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona. Now, when you're talking about 60%, obviously.
Vaughn, I do like that you have the stream open. Pulled out like that. That is.
Jim Sciutto is in Detroit.
I like that
Jim,
you
where
got me
you
in the
are
screenshot.
This is the nuts and bolts that I think everybody wants to hear about, which is how the counting is actually
I thought that was a flamethrower. No, this is it's a massage thing.
ballot counting center.
Do an IRL stream with your dad. Do you remember my dad was on the stream the other day because he wanted to play video games. So he was in the back playing video games while I was streaming.
In Detroit, but this is key because of changes.
He doesn't want to be on the stream. He actually doesn't. I've asked him if he would want to do something, and he said no.
Ballots received before election day, prior to election day. So at this point,
What does he play? He plays Far Cry right now.
2,000 of about 100,000 expected.
He's on Far Cry 6.
And they expect when those come in over the next couple
Yeah,
hours,
he does
it's not
play
gonna
Far
take
Cry
them
a
long to
lot.
finish up that count. In fact, we have
What other games does he play? Resident Evil.
midnight tonight or perhaps a bit after.
He played Resident Evil 4
Detroit, but early voting
possibly like 100 times before he swapped to Far Cry.
place today as well. So you're seeing the effects of that law, which allows for counting.
He's a gamer.
As early as last Monday. One more note, and this is important, Aaron, because in 2020, this site in downtown Detroit became the scene of protests and unfounded claims of fraud in the midst of that frantic.
No, he hasn't played.
Ballot
I got to get him on RDR
in
too.
part because of you have that law, you were able to start early. We're not seeing any of those protests here now.
No,
And
he
there's gonna be a
he
truck
won't play
arriving in a
online
couple of
games.
hours, gonna pull up
I've
at that
tried to
door
tell
there
him
with absentee
to
ballots
like
collected
play
in
games
drop
with me.
boxes around the city as
Like
well. Again,
I've tried to get him on like Call of Duty and stuff. He will not play.
votes here, and they expect it to move very quickly tonight.
He's adamant that he doesn't want anything to do with online gaming, which I think is fair, because in his mind, his idea of multiplayer like gaming is we used to play GoldenEye together on the N64 and then Halo on the Xbox 360. And as soon as he couldn't beat me in those games, he decided he didn't want to play multiplayer games anymore.
That's why you have so many reporters here. That's why we're watching Maricopa County so closely.
No, he just wouldn't understand what's going on the internet. 100 times? Yeah, James, he played it so much. He actually just he wouldn't understand why. Like he'd be like, why would they say that? Why would people be in my game right now?
That's the inside of the vote count, the tabulation center.
Mhm.
They are looking at the ballots. They are processing ballots. All of
My dad
this
just
is
wants
with
to
the early
in my dad's words, he just wants to shoot things. That's it.
polls close here in Arizona. We are anticipating to get the first
So like he loved on PS4.
only the early
He loves the game Days Gone.
process up until election
Because that's literally just like shoot zombies and that's it.
on, Aaron, those ballots that are
My
out
goal
in
is
the
to
vote
just stay
centers
better
to
than
be
my
processed,
kids.
they're counted, separated in there, and then brought
Wait till he
over
sees the
here
Keemstar
to
clip.
the tabulation center
Which one?
to
Oh
be
god.
processed, and that information is going to start to come out as well.
Darren,
So,
oh my
it is
gosh,
a
me
multi-step process. It
too.
takes time. There has to be signature verification. The ballots have to be
I
counted
would
here in
love
Maricopa County,
to just
but
have the
hopefully I'll address it
notification
quickly because this is something
pop
that's
up
happening right
on my
here in
phone.
Arizona as we watch
Lord
this
Johnson
clock
has
wind
gone
down
live.
before polls close, is that there's still long lines.
That's
at
my
some
dream
of the
right there.
spots that we are watching in some of these
Online
voting
racers,
centers.
those are
At
cool.
Mesa Community College, where
Oh,
we're at, and check
he
real
probably
quick.
has seen that. He's on like YouTube Shorts.
Long line. If you are in line when
He actually watches a lot of
7
YouTube
o'clock
Shorts.
local time, Aaron, you will still be allowed to vote.
All right, which is amazing, and it is amazing that people are doing that and waiting. That is something, as you said, that everyone should be happy about. But amazing to sit there late at night, say I'm going to sit and wait another hour or two to vote, as both campaigns hope they will. All right, Kyung, thank you very much. And let's go back to the voting desk as these counts are coming in, and people have questions about how it's happening, what's happening, where. Pam, Macomb County in Michigan.
So the only thing about RDR2,
Well, Aaron, I just got off the
my
phone
dad
with
likes modern
Greene
shooters.
County in Michigan from the county clerk.
He's a big fan of modern shooters. I don't know if you would like
Hopping in his
the
car now
Western
with a
style.
police escort to get tabulator memory sticks because they're delayed with the results coming in. Why? Well, he says it's because there were very long
actually-
lines. The polls were supposed to close.
I
at
thought
8
about putting him on
p.m.
Cyberpunk,
Eastern
but I
time,
was
so
like,
he
that
had to
might be
delay
a step
closing
too
and stay
far.
open until everyone had the opportunity
He
to
might
cast
not
their
enjoy
vote.
Cyberpunk as
Officials
much.
are tabulating the results right now, but those first
Which I
results
also have to
from
play
Macomb were
Cyberpunk
supposed to be
still.
reported around 9 p.m. just 5 minutes from now. I'm told by the clerk it's going to be later than that due to the long lines. According to the clerk, there were over 122,000 early votes cast in person there.
All right, let's check the map.
122,000 mail-in
What do we got?
ballots as of yesterday. They're on track to have more than
What do we got?
200,000 mail-in ballots, he said.
Anything new?
But given the high
Pennsylvania?
early voting turnout, he told me
Still
that
for Harris.
the
Michigan still for
expectation was
Harris.
that there would be lackluster turnout.
Illinois.
That is not the case in that key county.
21% of the
Overall, in
vote?
Michigan, let's look at the numbers here. The Michigan Secretary
Kansas
of State says
still-
more than 3.4 million voters
Dang.
cast their
That's kinda
ballots
wild.
early or by mail. That's nearly
Oof.
47% of registered
Remember when
voters. And
Texas was
listen to
blue for a
this.
little bit?
Another 85,000 absentee ballots returned to polling centers.
I need a PC good
today.
enough to run
Let's
it.
go over to Milwaukee. They've had some
Well, you're
issues
working on
over
it.
there in Milwaukee today.
You're working
They're
on getting
trying
that
to
PC.
retabulate about 30,000 ballots after problems with the county machines were discovered. All
True.
13 tabulating machines are being set to zero. The ballots will be put through.
They
again.
want us
It's
to
gonna
watch
take
The
time.
View.
They had initially estimated there the ballot count from the absentees would be done around midnight. Now it's more likely around
They just want
2 or
anyone
3
to watch
a.m.
The View,
And then
to be
in
honest.
Arizona, I spoke to a source there in Maricopa County, the largest county, that it's taking longer than expected to process early ballots. The first release of 1.1 to 1.2 million ballots of those early ballots at about 10 p.m. Eastern tonight will only account
Oh,
for
dang.
early votes through last Tuesday, October 29th.
wait.
That is less than the initial estimate. That
We
the
got a
Post
minute and then we
Office
get more
provides
polls
the
closing.
ballots through at least Friday, they thought. So it's going more slowly there.
Oh.
One more thing I want to note. I'm told they're going to keep up 24-hour shifts in Maricopa to keep things moving. They understand how important it is to get those results out,
24-hour
those
shifts?
results out as quickly as possible.
All right, Pam,
Bro,
thank
go
you
to
very
sleep.
much. You take all of that together, look at where we are. What do you see, John King?
That tells me to tell the people at home either slow down on the popcorn or make some more, because we're going to be at this a while and maybe brew an extra pot.
No, I haven't
let's
watched
go to
anything with
Michigan because
Whoopi in a
now we're just
long
talking about
time.
Macomb County, Michigan. You see Detroit right here. This is
It's been a
Wayne
hot
County.
minute.
We have no votes. The reason we can't say much about Michigan right now is we have 0 votes from the largest population center. And then she
But-
mentioned Macomb County, which is right here, blue collar. Back
She
in
is
the
great.
late 80s, early 90s, this is where they were studying Reagan Democrats, right? Why were union auto workers voting for Ronald Reagan for president?
My dad has a
That
different
debate
kind, Vaughn.
continues out there right now. It was out there just about a month ago. It's a huge.
My
study
dad
out
has
there.
that
It's
kind
very
where he
early
just
in
wants to shut his
78%.
brain off and shoot at
So let's
things.
come back out to the
That's why,
battlegrounds where
dude,
we
he's
have more
playing
votes.
Far
Let's start
Cry.
here.
He
Only
does not care
15%
about the
of the
story
county
at all. He's already
Pennsylvania.
finished it.
The vice president with the big
He
lead,
just wants to.
Pennsylvania,
He
no matter
literally
who wins
just
Pennsylvania, it's
wants
not gonna end
to
30
run
votes.
around
We just know
and
that as we
and
count
shoot
more votes.
things.
So we'll wait and try to get more in.
Trump wins
Pennsylvania. This is
Texas,
one of the
did he?
surprises.
Is
A
it
lot of
called?
surprises on the map
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
projected.
Unlikely to end this way. But you see the vice president leading in
Still-
Kansas, the vice president leading in Missouri, the vice president, even though we've already projected Arkansas.
Nah,
that's
it's probably
just
not.
votes.
Probably not
Votes will
possible.
come in. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. We're open to surprises here.
Oh,
We'll
okay,
keep a look
Austin
at
did
it.
go blue.
The surprise that has a lot of votes counted so far is Virginia.
I thought it would.
They're almost up to the halfway mark here, and Donald
Yeah,
Trump's ahead in the state.
they
Joe
didn't
Biden
get
started
enough
4 years ago
votes.
by 10 points.
They just didn't get enough in the high population areas. Like Houston going almost 50-50.
Live outstanding votes.
Really tough for
more
Harris.
Votes are out in an area. The color of that circle tells you how the
Should have
voting
won
is
in
going
Dallas,
so
though.
far. So So you see these big circles in Richmond and the suburbs.
You know,
Huge
no one
circles,
expected
and then
Texas to
small
go blue,
circles
though.
within them in the Washington, D.C. suburbs.
The
So there are a
gunplay
lot
is
of
cliche,
Democratic
but
votes
there's
still
only
to
so
be
much you can
counted.
do in that
Vice
time frame
President
for
can't
weapons.
like
Yeah,
that
100%.
right now. You do not like being tied
No,
to
I get you on
Battleground
that.
Virginia right now, but there are a lot of votes still to be counted, and you can tell from that.
I'm with you
a lot of
there.
them are Democratic, so we'll see. Same test in North Carolina, up to 38% of the vote. Trump with a narrow lead there. Let's just bring it up and look. Live outstanding votes. Again, your biggest outstanding votes are in the Democratic areas: Charlotte, Raleigh-Durham, Winston-Salem, Asheville, and Wilmington down there. So you have a very competitive race.
So how's
right
on
there
Rhode
right
Island?
now.
Wait.
You'd rather be Donald Trump.
Even
You'd
look at
rather
that.
be ahead, but there's a lot of vote counting to do. And again, this is one of the tightest of the battlegrounds.
It still is kind of
Virginia,
close. She's
bit
going
of
to
a
win it,
surprise
though.
take, more counting elsewhere.
Maine is
All right,
blue
John,
right
and
now at
voting is about
2%.
to end in 15 states, the second biggest wave of
Interesting.
results this evening. 163 electoral votes will be up for grabs, and we're watching several crucial battlegrounds. CNN's going to bring you this projection right now. CNN projects that
There we go.
Texas will go to Donald Trump. The state of Texas, as expected, to Donald Trump with its big bucket of 40 electoral votes. CNN also projects that North Dakota will go to Donald Trump, as expected. North Dakota.
I already
with
told
3
Vaughn, I already
electoral
told
votes,
Braden
2
I was going
more
to run a
CNN
couple
projects
comp games with him on Valorant.
that South Dakota
But
will go to Donald Trump.
I'm down to do
South
some
Dakota has
some
expected
zombies
three
this week.
electoral
I haven't even
votes to
touched it
Donald
yet.
Trump. And CNN
So I do
projects
actually
that
really want to play some
Wyoming will
BO6
go to
zombies.
Donald Trump. Wyoming with its
Dude,
electoral
Trump
votes. CNN
is-
not making any projections in the following states that just closed their
Dude,
polls.
154
Arizona,
already.
Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Battleground Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Mexico, New York, and Battleground Wisconsin.
Okay, New York
Let's
probably
look at
goes
the
blue.
electoral map now.
Wisconsin
Donald
goes blue.
Trump has
Minnesota goes blue.
154 electoral votes.
I'm gonna say a hot take.
27
Arizona goes blue.
electoral votes. 270 are
And we
needed
got to
to
see what
give
happens
you a
with
key race
Georgia.
alert now. In battleground Pennsylvania, Kamala Harris in the lead with 64.4% of the vote. Donald Trump has
Dang.
34.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris in the lead there with 326,000 plus votes. Only an estimated 16% of the vote has been counted in Pennsylvania. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris in the
I've
lead,
dabbled with the first 2 maps.
54.8% of the
It's
vote.
literally Cold War
Donald Trump with
Zombies, but I love that.
43% of the vote.
Tomorrow will be
Kamala
fun.
Harris
Yeah,
with a
tomorrow will be a good time.
55,000 plus vote lead. That's with only an estimated 8% of the vote counted.
No,
in
honestly, I've seen a little bit about
Michigan.
zombies, and it does look like a lot of fun.
In battleground North Carolina, Donald Trump in the lead there now, 51.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 47.1% of the vote. Donald
Dang.
Trump with a more than 106,000 vote lead.
Dang.
That's 39% of the estimated vote counted in battleground North Carolina. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead there, 52.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 46.6% of the vote. Donald
She's
Trump
pulled
has
it back a little bit.
221,000 plus vote lead. That's with an estimated 66% of the vote counted in Georgia. About 2/3 of the vote in Georgia has been counted. In the Commonwealth of
Oh,
Virginia,
really?
Donald Trump
That
in the lead
bad?
there now with 49.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 48.7% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 13.
Okay, this one's way too close to call.
34 vote lead. That's with half the vote counted in the Commonwealth of Virginia. 50%.
I'm not saying anything about
counted there in
Virginia yet.
In the state of New Hampshire, Kamala Harris has 53.6% of the vote. Donald Trump has 45.7%.
Same in New Hampshire.
Kamala Harris in the lead there by roughly 16,000 votes. That's with about a quarter, 25%. Of
New
the
Hampshire's too
vote
close to call yet.
counted in the granite state of New Hampshire. In Ohio, Donald
Ah.
Trump in the lead, 52.9% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 46.3%.
Kamala had it
Donald
for a
Trump
bit.
with a
She did.
197,000 plus vote. That's with half the vote counted in Ohio. 50% of the vote counted in Ohio. Let's go to John King at the Magic Wall. John.
Jake, let's start with the context, what you just went through. I'm going to wander over to this wall here just to show the race to 270 at the moment. If you're a Republican, you might be saying, wow, this is a rout. If you're a Democrat, you might be saying, oh, my goodness, we should be worried. No, we're early in the night. As Chris Wallace said, I love the analogy, nobody has broken serve yet. As in, every red state here, Donald Trump won in 2020 when he lost the White House. Every blue state on the map so far, Joe Biden carried when he won the White House. What don't we have? We don't have Rhode Island. We don't have Connecticut. We don't have New Jersey. We don't have Illinois just yet. Long-time blue states. So as we move west and as the count advances in some of the New York as well, some of the most reliably blue states, this map will change.
The ones on that survival
in the
map?
near future.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
our expectation. We'll keep an eye on it. That's the
It
best
is, yeah, the
270.
Electoral College
Get
is going
there
to...
by filling these states in red
Be the
and
big
blue.
thing.
So let's see, again, an unusual map. at
How's the popcorn?
moment,
Is good.
Just because the vote count is early.
It's my
or
dinner
because
tonight.
We're going to have the most
I
surprising
had a
election
massive
of my
lunch.
lifetime. But in Nebraska right now, statewide.
So I wasn't hungry until I actually thought about it, and I was like, ooh, I probably should eat something right
She's
now.
not so much worried about the statewide vote. She'd love.
So the popcorn's
Nebraska,
kinda
don't get
hitting.
me wrong. Nebraska's second
Hitting
congressional
the spot.
district is right here in the Omaha area. Nebraska and Maine award electoral votes based on congressional district, the two states that do that. So eastern Nebraska is what matters most to the vice president. We'll see if Nebraska stays blue. Again, to its south, the state of Kansas, 29% of the vote in. But you see all this? That's if you're playing Legos, that's Donald Trump. That's how he builds his buildings right there. Those small rural counties all across America,
Yeah.
especially in the heartland here. So Kamala Harris, the vice president, ahead with 52% of the vote. It's all over here. Kansas City, Missouri, the suburbs here, the more blue areas, the college towns, and the more urban areas in Kansas is why she's ahead right now. It's only 29% of the vote. We'll watch as that map fills in. Again, Missouri, when I started doing this in 1988, spent a lot of time in Missouri with Michael Dukakis. It's not a battleground state anymore. But
Are you allergic to peanuts?
51%, but it's only 7%. And again, you see votes coming in the suburbs just to the
Dude,
west.
I would
St.
not.
Louis,
I would
just to
struggle
the
with
east
that.
of Kansas City. That's why the Democrat is leading at the moment.
Not being able to have peanut butter?
So now let's get to
Ooh.
the states that we actually think will be the battlegrounds in the end. We'll keep looking. We'll keep looking. Open to surprises here.
That's like the
Let's
base
begin
of my
with the
entire
big one,
diet is
Commonwealth
peanut
of
butter.
Pennsylvania, still at 16%. This is a
Good for
30-point race,
you
just
know,
shy of a 30-point
a little
race
bit
in
of
a state we
protein.
know it's going to be decided by one
Good
or
for
two
some
points.
fat. Good for some
So we'll
oils.
Continue to watch to see. I check in on it just to see if the vote count has gone up. It has not in a while. Still 16%. Same with Michigan. We come over. We're up to 10% here right now. 53 to 45. Again, if there's an 8-point
It's not the
lead in
perfect
Michigan,
food, but
then
it
you
is
have
for
to blow out.
me.
You expect this to be very close in the end. We're missing a lot, right? Earlier tonight, Grand Rapids was red for Donald Trump. That's Kent County out here. Right now, you see it's almost a tie right there. This is one of the battlegrounds within the battlegrounds. Fiercely, formerly reliably red, now a closely fought suburban area around Grand Rapids. We'll keep
Beans
an eye on
and
that, but still
beans
nothing
and
out of
peanuts are
Wayne
very
County,
different,
Detroit.
though.
I just want to come up here to Ingham County. This is where Michigan State is. If this ends the
Like
night
you wouldn't
there,
have a
Donald Trump's
like
gonna
a
feel very
a
good about his
bean and
Michigan
jelly
chances, so
sandwich.
We're at 3%.
Or
Students
maybe
here,
you would.
State capital.
Maybe you would. What do I
government
know?
Should be blue by the end of the night. If it's not, that would tell you something huge. So let's come to where we have more votes in these battlegrounds. Again, I just want to check on Virginia again. This is our surprise at the moment. We're up to 50%.
I don't know what that makes me.
And you have Donald Trump with a very narrow lead. I did this a moment ago. I just want to do it again. For people
I
at
don't know
home.
what that makes you either.
Most of the outstanding
I couldn't
votes,
even
the
think
circles
anything
tell you,
funny.
The larger the circle, the more outstanding votes. We're still waiting to be counted. And the color tells you how the vote's coming in so far in that area. So you see a lot of blue up here. Virginia now has become a blue state because of the Washington, D.C. suburbs in Northern Virginia. The places, the counties within 25, 35 minutes, depending on traffic, drive. So that's out there, plus Richmond and the suburbs.
Hey,
around
my
there.
running
This is-
mate, Braden.
Donald Trump is remarkably in play in this state, and this would be even at close.
Welcome to
Even
the
if it's
ballot, my
close, it will
friend.
tell you something about what's going to happen to its south in North Carolina. They're not twins, but they're very similar, Virginia and North
Oh,
Carolina.
man.
North Carolina actually has a higher African-American population.
Well, it makes
So
me
if you're the
weird.
vice
Bean and
president,
jelly,
that's
hell
part of
no.
your base.
Hey, look at
Here's
you.
Donald
That's what
Trump
you're
with a
eating.
lead,
Don't come at me with that.
41% reporting again. Should the Harris campaign be nervous? Both campaigns will be nervous about battleground North Carolina. It's going to go back and forth. But again, you see, there's still some large pockets of Democratic votes. Also, some pretty good-sized pockets of Republican votes in a battleground state. This one's going to take a while to sort out. But you see where the outstanding votes are. I didn't get to this last time in Georgia, so let's go down and look at battleground Georgia and bring that up here right now. We're up to 68% of the vote in Georgia.
Vaughn, you
And you
can't
have
be.
53 to 46.
You
So if you're in a
can't
Trump
run.
Campaign, you're thinking with I'm more than 2/3 of the vote counted.
You're
start to
not
feel good about
allowed.
a lead that big, especially in a state that was 11,700 votes 4 years ago. But let's see what's left out. Where are the outstanding votes? And you see right there why in the Harris campaign.
Vaughn, you could be
you're
like
nervous. You're
transportation
sitting with all your
secretary.
field captains and your precinct and your county people. But you see right there, you see those giant circles right there, and another big circle over here. There are still a lot of areas that we know vote disproportionately Democratic.
I'll
The
give
votes
you
are gonna
that.
Be counted in Georgia. I just want to come back and make one more observation here. You see that 242,000 vote lead. It is a little after 9 o'clock.
I'll make you my master
on
of
Tuesday
coin.
night. If you go back to 2020, Donald Trump was leading Georgia by 244,000 votes at 9 o'clock.
That's a little Game of
Tuesday night
Thrones
election
reference.
night in 2020. It was 244,000 votes then. It's 242,000 votes now. Joe Biden carried Georgia. Doesn't mean Kamala Harris will this time. It just means we need to count all the votes. And you come back out and take a look again to see if the map has changed at all. Texas and Florida have gone back. Ohio has gone back to where you expect it to go back, and that lead seems to be growing. I want to just check in again on this battleground here. still at 18%.
I'm not saying that.
there.
I'm not saying
So,
that.
I'm going to do something now.
I'm not
This is an
saying that.
exercise. This is an exercise. But you see Trump leading in North Carolina and Trump leading in Georgia. I just want to switch the map here and come over to the race for 270. Okay? This is an if. This is an
Well,
if.
you think I'm
It's not-
dumb?
We're nowhere near there. We have a lot of votes to count there. But why is this so important? When
You
take
take me
battleground
for a
states off the
fool?
board, when we're able to project and call them,
Me?
it changes the chess of getting to 270. If Donald Trump were to hold that, he's leading there now. It's close. It's close. There's plenty of votes still for the vice president to catch up. We have to wait and see what happens. But if Donald Trump takes those two, the vice president of the United States needs to win that. That's what makes the math interesting. She needs that 19 votes right there, because if Donald Trump gets that, it gets him to the finish line. So if that happens, that becomes essential.
Dang.
We're not there yet, Jake, but
Yeah.
just like to do the math.
I
in our
won't
head and
lie.
go through the scenarios.
All right, John.
I think
Kane,
people are starting to
CNN
worry.
Bring you a new projection. CNN projects that Kamala Harris will win the state of Delaware. Delaware, as expected, will go to Kamala
That's
Harris. with
3.
its 3 electoral votes, the small wonder state. Let's take a look at the electoral vote count. Donald Trump has 154 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 30 electoral votes. 270 electoral votes are needed to
You know what?
win.
It's too early to really
Race alert now. In
to really
Commonwealth,
worry
Pennsylvania,
about anything.
Kamala Harris has 60.4% of the vote. Donald Trump 38.7%.
I think Arizona is going to be
of
the big
vote.
one
Kamala Harris with a 284,000
that you really have to like keep an
plus
eye on.
vote lead. 284,000 plus vote lead with only an estimated 19% of the vote in, not even a fifth of the vote. Still a lot of votes to count in Pennsylvania. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris with 53.1% of the vote. Donald Trump has 44.9% of the vote. Kamala Harris with a 46,000 plus vote lead. Only a tenth of the vote has been counted in Michigan, 10%. Still very early there. In North Carolina,
You think
Donald
Washington?
Trump in the lead with 51.9% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 46.9% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 119,000.
I think Callie's going to go blue.
That's with 41% of the estimated vote counted in North Carolina. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead there, 52.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 46.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough Trump support in North California.
That's with 69% of the estimated vote in Georgia. They're really counting the ballots in Georgia there. 69% of the estimated vote has been counted. In the Commonwealth of Virginia, Donald Trump still has
We'll see.
49.5% lead, and now it's 49.4%. Kamala Harris is 48.6%.
Dude, holy.
Donald Trump is 18,000 plus votes ahead of
Virginia is literally going to come down to like
52%.
like give or take 50,000
In New
votes.
Hampshire, Kamala Harris in the lead with 53.3% of the vote. Donald Trump has 46% of the vote. Kamala Harris with a 17,000 plus vote lead. That's with more than a quarter, 28% of the estimated vote in the granted state of New Hampshire counted. In Ohio, Donald Trump still in the lead there, 53.9% of the vote. Kamala Harris.
Yeah, he took
has
Ohio.
45.2% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 275,000 plus vote lead. That's with more than half, 52% of the estimated.
Oh, you know what? Wolf Blitzer's going to be on the night shift, I guarantee you.
John King.
Let's look at the map, Jake, and one of the wonders is
He definitely is gonna be.
9 o'clock hour, and this will be in the 10 o'clock hour, 11 o'clock hour, I suspect, into past
Virginia's
midnight
going to be a
hours.
game of
You're
Russian
beginning
roulette.
to see more states fill in. Most of it
Yeah.
is very early voting, but it's still, as you just
True.
see, as the polls close and we go from east to west, you now see many more states reporting votes. Let's just take a peek. We've already projected this one to be for Donald Trump. I just want to show you in North Dakota, these states feel they don't get respect because they're not huge electoral battlegrounds. I like to wander through and look at the votes and just show people out here. You see South Dakota starting to fill in slowly, very early on, 1% of the
I
vote.
won't lie.
This is a surprise at the moment.
This seat's
Nebraska,
uncomfortable.
The vice president so far carrying the state statewide, but we're only at 27%. And again, most of this gray you see.
I've been
from
sitting for
about
too long.
here West, rural Republican farm country, where Trump tends to run it up. Just go back and give you the 2020 example. Of
I'm
what
sitting for
talking
too
about.
long,
That's what
not
tends to
doing
happen.
anything,
And so
just
we're not
talking.
there yet. So when that happens,
And that's
if
when I'm
that
like the
happens,
most
that
aware
number
of
will
my
change.
seat.
Again, for the vice president, what you want to do is you want to be here.
Oh, no, he's
I'm just
pulling
showing
an
you
eye
Douglas
show me.
County. It's the big piece of
Oh,
Nebraska's
nah.
second congressional district. This is
Brother,
where
if
you're
this
gonna
was
win.
my
Blue
meat,
dot, they call it. If she wins the blue wall, Michigan,
I would have a different job right now.
Pennsylvania. I went backwards. But if she wins those three and she wins Nebraska's second congressional district, she can get to 270 electoral votes. So we'll keep an eye on that as it plays out. First votes in Wisconsin. You see it's red at the moment. 796 to 479. Guess what? We
Elon's
are
not going to
also
let anyone
in
live it
battleground
down.
Wisconsin, just for context, when Joe Biden won it 4 years ago, it was 1.6 million votes. So we are in
It's gonna be
infancy
bad.
stages of counting the votes in battleground Wisconsin, and you watch as it plays out. One of the places we'll watch here I'll just show you now, 0 votes in yet. The Green Bay area, Brown County. This is one of the key tests. Can the vice president hold on to the president's share of white working class voters? I just want to show you as we go back in 2020. Joe Biden did not win Brown County, but he got 46% of the vote. The margins within the margins sometimes make the difference in a battleground state. Wisconsin settled by 20,000 votes, right? You look at that 46%.
What are you talking about,
Joe
Bond?
Biden, and then you look back in time,
Short
you see
compared to
42%
girth,
Hillary Clinton.
but
That makes
damn,
difference.
is
He
it a
lost the state,
hog?
he won the state. So one of the things we will watch as the 2024 results come in is not just can she turn out the African-American vote in Milwaukee, not just can she compete in the suburbs, Waukesha, just to the west of Milwaukee, but can she hold her own? Just be as competitive as Biden was in some of these blue-collar counties. A long way to go there. Let's pop over to Michigan. As Jake just told you, we're only
Ignore
at 10%
that.
there, so not a lot to look at. You just move it up so you can see it a little bit better at home. The vice president has pulled ahead in Kent County. That's Grand Rapids, but it's early. And again, you're looking down here. I told you earlier, one of the warning signs was Washtenaw County. This is where the University of Michigan is, Ann Arbor. If you move east here, Dearborn is over here near Detroit. Her question marks in Michigan are young voters. And
That
Native
is true.
American voters, right? You find the young
You do
voters
just
here
kind
at
of be
the
saying
University of
things at
Michigan
times.
campus. And again, you
I'll
say,
give you
wow,
that.
that's a 30-point lead. What are we worried about that?
Is that an
for?
excuse?
Well, you're
Probably
worried about
not.
it because the President of the United States had that 4 years ago. It's a county where if you want to win Michigan, Joe Biden won by 154,000 votes, so you could say she has some to spare, if you will. She can lose a little bit.
Any
in the
changes to the
coalition,
map?
But you don't want to lose a lot. And I was at the Michigan campus just last week. They
Let's
have a
just
very
refresh,
aggressive
just to
young
be
voter
safe.
turnout operation there. We'll see later.
All
in
right,
the
New
night if those
Mexico
numbers
leaning
change
red.
at all. That's Michigan. Let's come back out.
Iowa.
Over to the home state of Mr. Tapper, still at 20%. It's bumped up just
Colorado,
a little bit there. So what are we
leaning
looking at?
blue.
Let's move it up just a little bit.
11% in Nebraska,
Erie County, as I
still
told you earlier,
blue.
25 counties in America. Twice
Same with
over Barack Obama,
Kansas.
then to Donald
They're
Trump,
close,
and
but
then
it's
flip
still
back
that's
to
kind of
Joe
wild
Biden.
that they are.
So it's a bellwether county. Doesn't mean that the
0%
person
in
Woodbury County is gonna win
Minnesota.
the Commonwealth and win the presidency, but that's
0% in Wisconsin. Maine is still still very close. New Hampshire still
It's going
close.
to take close to 70,000 votes. to
New
win that county.
York.
So we're just starting. That's one of them. Let's come back to 2024
Dang.
and move over here.
Dang,
to
New York is
Northampton
kinda
County,
crazy.
again, right along the New Jersey border, not terribly far from Allentown. The vice president ahead there at only 22% of the vote in. So that was, again, look how close it was. Joe Biden just barely carried it. Donald Trump just barely carried it 4 years before.
Anything
that.
here?
That's the
No.
way it tends to end up. So we'll watch
New
that
Mexico is
play out.
already blue.
Here's something we do want to look at is Lehigh County. Only 20% of the vote in here. If there is an impact from the Donald Trump Madison Square Garden event, where so many insults were made about Puerto Ricans and about Mexicans and about Latino and Hispanic Americans, if you're going to see an impact, this is one of the places you might see it, right here. And that's why both Trump and Harris went to Allentown in the final days of the campaign to try to take advantage of it. We're only at 20% right there. But again, you're doing this for context. 62% for the vice president. You go back in time to Lehigh County 2020, 53%. If the vice president can overperform Joe Biden in Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, she's in good shape. So we watch that as it plays out. We're only at 20% of the vote right now. It would come down to it. That's only 20. It's only 20%. So then you come out more. Where else are you looking in Pennsylvania? Let's bring this up. You also had the vice president door knocker in Berks County. Berks County at the moment is blue. If Berks County ends the night blue,
I think I was wrong with my initial prediction of how the election was gonna go.
let's look at it. Let's show you where it is.
I
Here's
really
Philadelphia.
thought Trump was
Here's the
gonna
close-in suburbs
underperform,
around it. And then as you drive out,
especially
it's
early
farm
on.
country, now you see the homes lined up. Right? Moving further out because that's the only place they can afford a home. Places like Berks County, Pennsylvania.
I don't want to say how it's gonna turn
We're a little
out
shy of that right now, 51 to 40.
because I've
Right,
just
let's
been
go back
so
in time.
wrong already.
That was a 53% county for Donald Trump in 2020.
I think there's a path to victory for both of them. Trump obviously has the lead right now and has the advantage.
United States, you're keeping an eye on this one. If you can keep this blue, your chances to
You know,
or improve dramatically. So spent a lot of time there over the last year. It is
Not
interesting.
great.
Found a lot of Nikki Haley voters there. A lot of Reagan
I
Republicans.
knew a crazy guy in upstate New York. He drove around stoned on YouTube.
About voting for Trump or voting for Harris. So we'll keep an eye on that one there. Then you move out here. This is the number 2.
That was his
in the
YouTube
Commonwealth of
channel?
Allegheny Allegheny County is Pittsburgh and the suburbs.
He just
around
drove around stoned.
the labor vote, the blue collar vote, a smaller African American population, but the urban vote Democrats need. So she's at
Interesting.
68% when you look at that there. You come back in time, he was at 59%. So
Oh,
again,
he was
we're early.
pushing it.
We're
Massage
early.
gun
Let me
again.
Come back to 2024 and come out. It's 40%.
Oh.
So it's early. These tend to be early votes, which tend to favor Democrats more. So we want to wait
Oh,
and
that
get
feels
more
so
to see if
nice.
That's contextual.
I won't lie.
At the moment, She's outpacing the President of the United States in the Commonwealth.
He
of
streamed himself
Pennsylvania
doing
in 16
crazy
places.
things.
We will see if that holds up. The flip side.
I don't know how people do that, man.
Along the border.
Again, and maybe it's just the social anxiety that I have, but I struggle streaming in a gym.
Again, this is Donald Trump's secret.
I
Just
can't
run
even
it up.
imagine
Small rural
streaming
counties
myself
across
doing
America,
crimes.
75%. So keep an eye on that. It's early. We're still counting votes right
That's
there.
a whole,
but is
like,
the Trump
separate
base
can of
turning out in
worms.
The same math numbers in a place like Pennsylvania. He needs to run it up in places like this. There's Bradford. Again, it's only 5% reporting, 75%, 71%. Again, even in these small rural counties, the early vote.
Not a pleasant guy?
There's not a lot
Yeah.
of Democratic votes there, but a lot of it
I
comes
can't
out from
imagine he
early
would
votes.
be.
If you follow
That would be
along,
really
they
funny if
counted,
he
so
was
let's be
doing all
careful
that,
not
but then he
making
ended
any
up being like the
projections.
nicest
Again,
guy.
tough, lasting cement analysis, I guess I'll call it, but we'll keep an eye on that as we go through the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Virginia, every time I come out, I wait to see if Virginia's going to flip back. We're still at 59%. The lead has narrowed somewhat. This would be a shocker. Joe Biden won Virginia by 10 points. By 10 points. Even if it's closer, even if the vice president comes back, let's take a peek. Yeah, the outstanding votes are still largely in Democratic. There's some Republican votes out there. You see the red dots, but the big circles are in Democratic areas. So the math is there for the vice president to recover. But even a close race in Virginia might tell you that it's a more competitive environment for Donald Trump, especially Jake, as we've talked before. Can he do well in the suburbs? And then you see
Where the hell did Jake Tapper come from?
It's interesting. What lessons can we learn there? Well,
He just kind of
it's not
appeared
exactly
right there,
the
did he
same, but
not?
similar.
Or has he
Down
been there
in
the whole
North
time and I
Carolina,
wasn't
we're
paying
above
attention?
50% now. It's close. This is
Illinois and Rhode Island called?
This is what it's going to be. And so you just take a look.
Oh, shoot.
And you say, what's missing, right? Where are they still counting?
Oh,
votes?
is that why
Again,
Jake Tapper's there?
Mecklenburg County, Charlotte and the suburbs around it, African-American voters, upscale suburbs around it, key to the Democratic coalition. A lot of votes there. A lot of votes in Raleigh-Durham, the Research Triangle, again.
Yep.
And so you see that happening right there.
Rhode Island.
And let's see, we go back
And
to,
Illinois.
back up to Virginia, and we see
RFK still got 30,000 votes.
48% there. Again, pretty
Dang.
remarkable. 17,000
All right, she's
votes.
at the 53 mark.
Again,
She's still
we got a long way to go.
101
45% votes still
down.
to be counted, but Joe Biden got 10 points. So if
But a
the
lot
Biden
of
vice president's
points
camp,
still up for
I'm a
grabs.
little nervous about that.
Let's bring in David Chalian to get some insights now on the outstanding vote in Virginia, which is, as of now, a little tighter than I think the Harris campaign would like.
Yeah, Jake, we're trying to determine how much of this vote we're looking at now is pre-election vote. Our estimate right now is that what you're looking at in Virginia, 39% of the vote that's in is pre-election vote. That, we think, at the end of the day, is going to go up to 52%. So there's still quite a bit of pre-election vote to come in here. And Kamala Harris is winning the pre-election vote by about 17 points. So as more of that early
Yeah,
vote
wait, should I
gets
go change my
funneled
color?
into the
Should I go
count
change my
in
shirt?
Virginia, you could imagine there's real room here for Harris to grow, Jake.
All right, David, and we have some projections right now for you at home.
Here we go.
CNN can project that Illinois will go to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, as expected, will win Illinois in its 19 electoral votes. CNN can also project that Rhode Island will go to Kamala Harris, as expected. Kamala Harris will get the 4 electoral votes from Rhode Island. So where are we on the electoral map as of right now? Donald Trump has 154 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 53 electoral votes. 270 are needed to win. Neither of them is within spitting distance of that. Let's take a look at the actual votes coming in from the battlegrounds.
Once they go through all these, we're gonna check the House and the Senate. See how things are going.
Of the vote. Donald Trump, 41.5% of the vote. Kamala Harris with a 258,000 plus vote lead. That's with about a quarter, 23% of the estimated vote in Pennsylvania.
That's pretty good.
Counted as of now. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris with 53.7% of the vote. Donald Trump with 44.3% of the vote. Harris with a 64,000 plus vote lead. That's with an estimated 12% of the vote counted in Michigan. Still very early in Michigan. In battleground North Carolina, Donald Trump in the lead. 50.7% of the vote. Harris with 48.1%.
He's got a decent lead. I won't lie.
75,000 plus vote lead. That's with more than half, 51% of the estimated vote.
I do my red side
in
now.
Battleground North Carolina. In battleground Georgia,
Don't mind me.
Trump still holding on to his lead, 52.9% of the vote. Harris has 46.4% of the vote. Donald Trump right now with a 249,000 plus vote lead. I'm sorry, now it's a 255,000 vote lead. That's with an estimated 71% of the vote counted in battleground Georgia. In Virginia, Donald Trump in the lead as of now, 49.3% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 48.7%.
That's a doable lead.
Is ahead by
She
more
can
than
come back from this.
5,000 votes. That's with more than half, 56%.
She can come
of the
back.
estimated vote, but still a lot of vote to come in the Commonwealth of Virginia. In New Hampshire, Harris with 53.4%.
Unfortunately, similarly, he can also come back from this.
Harris with an 18,000 plus vote lead. That's with under a third of the vote.
That's a bit unfortunate.
30% of the estimated vote counted in New Hampshire. In Ohio, Donald Trump in the lead, 54.3% of the vote. Harris with 44.8% of the vote. Donald Trump.
I think they're going to call this soon.
1,000 plus vote lead. That's with almost 60%, 58% of the estimated vote counted in the Buckeye
Dude, that
state. Now let's go to John.
that was hitting right there.
Wall. John.
And so, Jake, you lay out the results, and there's some surprises there, right? At least where we are right now. So we just want to go back and follow up where we were. David Chelling was talking about some of the outstanding vote. We know in Virginia is early vote, and that percentage is going to jump, and we know that the vice president is doing quite well in that vote. So I just want to show you what he means by how this can change. Again, Donald Trump's lead has been shrinking. It was 16,000 not that long ago. It's 12,395 now. Look at the Northern Virginia suburbs here. I just want to show you these circles help us understand where are there live outstanding votes, meaning votes that we know are out there that have not been counted yet. Right? You see the big
All right, let's go up. Let's check this. So, any flipped. It's not looking like it. Oh, we got one in the House for the Republicans. Dang. Okay. All right. Actually, when does the next one close? Is it in 3 minutes? 32 minutes. Okay, not until 10.
Vote, right? So you see these gray areas. What are those? That's where you have no votes in yet. So we're still waiting. Some of these smaller counties.
Come
so,
on.
You know, this is the 10th of the 100 counties population-wise, so it's not tiny. Gaston County along the border right there. But the big population centers are Charlotte. Let's just see how much we have. Only 10% of the vote in Mecklenburg.
Yeah, me
so
too.
If you're looking at this number.
But again, it's still early.
Say, okay, Donald Trump's got a 4-point lead. There's 3.5.
Oh my God, I'm throwing popcorn.
In North Carolina. But then you come here. It's the largest Democrat.
I'm just so angry.
Only 10% of the vote. And again, look where we are. 36,000 votes for the vice president right now. You go back 4 years, 378,000 votes. So we just need to slow down with where we go in here in North Carolina and count more votes because there are more than enough votes out there. Again, if you come out statewide and just apply the entire graph to the whole thing, live outstanding votes, you see some Republican pockets here, but where are the biggest circles? Right? Where are the biggest circles? Charlotte in the suburbs, Raleigh-Durham in the suburbs, Winston-Salem in the suburbs, Wilmington in the suburbs, Asheville in the suburbs.
Twitter's going to be a cesspool tonight.
North Carolina. By no means means the vice president's going to win North Carolina. It just means there are a lot more votes to be counted in areas that right now are blue, and some of them blue by a pretty lopsided margin. Now, just to be fair, you see all these little tiny dots? There's a lot of little tiny red dots, right? Right? They're not going to match the vote count here and here.
Oh, no, I got to sneeze and I have food in my mouth.
Come out and you just take a look. Again, I'm a broken record sometimes, but this is the wonder of Donald Trump. This is how he runs up the math.
Gotta sneeze!
There, only 25% reporting there, but 72% in Rutherford County, right down here along the border here. Let's just go back in time and take a peek. 72%. Donald Trump is consistent. He is the constant in this race. In most places you look, he's getting what he got in 2020, and he's getting what he got in 2016. He's pretty constant and pretty consistent. But 24,000 votes there with 72% 4 years ago. And so then you come forward there, we're only at 25%. So again, if it comes in around the turnout of 4 years ago and it stays at that percentage, there's a chunk of votes there. And in many of these other small rural counties still.
All right, that hit the spot.
Which is why we count late into the night and sometime into the morning. He gets small margins, but you add them all up, 20, 15, 20, 30 rural counties. You match them up against the one urban county. That's how you get a battleground state. Let's pop down to Georgia. We come down over here. This one here again.
Is it doable?
And the state decided by 11,000 votes 4 years ago, with 75% of the vote in, Donald Trump's ahead by 241,000. You start to think, oh, we're about 75% of the vote. You know, are we at the point of no return? Well, let's take a look. Number one, how many
That's
votes
what I
do
was
you think
thinking.
will win Georgia? Donald Trump's leading right now with 2.1 million. Joe Biden won it in 2020 with 2.4 million and change, and we hear turnout, you know, is pretty good down there. So it could be somewhere around that, could be a little higher than that, number one. So you start there. And then
Oh, is there another thing that got called? Another state?
What are we waiting for? Right? And look at the size of the blue circle.
Is there another
Again,
state?
Doesn't mean the vice president's going to come back and win Georgia.
What'd I
It just
miss?
means everybody take a breath. And let's count votes. Because you see,
Anytime I see Jake Tapper, I'm like, something got called.
which means, you know, in a place like Fulton County, where, well, 78% reporting in Fulton County. That's actually interesting. We'll see what comes out. It's a big, because of the population center, it's a big chunk of votes, but she's running at 73% right there.
Anything?
Look at that, 72.6. 72.6.
Ooh, Colorado's looking good for us.
It's a mirror image right there. So I always look at the ones a little bit farther out. 80% now in Cobb County. It's 57.4. You go back here.
Dang.
It's 50. You know, it's just she's running. The question is, can he improve? Is really the bigger question. I keep focusing on her. Can he improve in the suburbs? He's not there. Let's just come over.
No, you know what? It doesn't. It's not that bad.
He's at.
It's not looking that bad right now.
And he was at 40%.
The coverage isn't too bad. I am worried that if I click on Fox News, I'm just gonna hear like party music and them dancing.
To go. That's a healthy lead for Donald Trump. There's a lot of votes still to be counted.
Let's take a look.
Circle right here.
So let's bring
Which
back
we can now do is
the map that shows
work
where
our
the
way
vote
to
is still
closing time there
outstanding.
in PA.
If you can do that,
66%
because I want to bring in Pamela
voted for
Brown
Trump.
to
This is
get us up to
from the
speed
mail.
on some of the outstanding votes that remain in Georgia. Pamela, what are you learning?
Let's talk about that. I'm just getting off the phone with Gabriel Sterling, a key election official in Georgia. He says, give or take, there are 1.5 million outstanding votes still in Georgia. Again, give or take, not a precise number, but around that. Let's zoom in here on Gwinnett. This is a Democratic stronghold. They are significantly delayed, according to Zach Manifold, who I just got off the phone with.
Honestly, I'm just going to leave this like
with
this.
their adjudication software for the write-ins on the ballots. And so that is why we're seeing such a low number. Now, overall, in Gwinnett, I'm told there are 419,000 votes there.
Oh, shoot.
So that was as of 6:30. He says that number is likely going to go up. Out of that breakdown, the at least 419,000, there are overall.
Honestly, it would be kind of cool to work at a news station.
In Gwinnett, 322,000 early votes. So if you look at
what would you have wanted to do? Would you have wanted to be like a on-camera talent?
Of the estimated vote in, there are
behind the camera.
More than 350,000.
What are you thinking?
Ballots just in Gwinnett alone.
I don't think I have the voice for
picture of what I just said from Gabriel
for like
Sterling,
news for TV.
Still 1.5 million outstanding.
Sometimes I talk a little too fast and my words like slur together. I promise I'm not drunk too. I want that on the record. I'm not drunk or on drugs. Sometimes I just slur my words a little bit.
Tell us about the vote counting.
Hell yeah, man. It's still possible, James.
So let me tell you what's happening right now. Zach Manifold, who Pam just mentioned, the supervisor of elections, is on the phone right now.
The star of the show.
Brad Raffensperger, explaining
you could have been it. You still can.
As Pamela said, it's a problem with the adjudication of some of those write-in ballots. We spoke with him just a few moments ago at the 8:15 news conference here, in which he said there was some delay in processing those and getting those 322,000 early in-person and absentee mail-in ballots to
let's open up the map while they're talking about this.
Center to that.
What's Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania is still looking good for Kamala.
It's
taking a while to count,
the
though.
Computer system clicking down to identify the names in the write-in column for president specifically for that race. And there appears to be a problem with that system. So right now there are.
So we still have another 26 minutes.
72,000 votes. Still about 250,000.
Trump would let you in. Hey, look at. Depending on how the election goes, maybe he won't be in charge.
Absentee votes that
Kamala's
were
at
supposed to
81.
be in more than an hour ago. And he's on the
She's
call right now
she's
to
pulling
determine
it back a little bit. That's the
next
thing.
and explain to the Secretary of State's
I think a
office
lot of people are like
what they're
freaking out a little bit
probably look for
about the fact that she's not like, you know, she's not at like a similar number yet.
King, as happens every election, human beings are fallible, machines all the more so.
But
right, which is why you want trusted officials.
she's
to deal
slowly
with the
working her
problem
way
when it
back up.
arises, and we know from 2020, Georgia happens to be a Republican Secretary of State, and these local county officials.
Yeah,
they
New
know
York.
what they're
She's got
doing.
New York.
And they have a problem. Then they make a plan, right? They have a problem. You try to find it a solution. So where is Victor Blackwell? He is right
36%
here,
of the vote, they're already
he's in
calling
Gwinnett
it.
County, one of the most important suburbs of the Atlanta area, to the northeast of Atlanta, and as we noted, only
What about New
60%
Jersey?
of the vote reported in this
54%,
county right now.
and
So a long way
she's
to
got
go
a
in the count taking. This is
300,000
the
vote
place
lead.
where, again, with Donald Trump,
About
it's a pretty healthy lead
220.
statewide
Never
right
mind.
now.
Sorry,
That's what
220.
you're waiting for. You get a giant basket of votes.
That's my
reported
bad.
From there, it gives you better context about the real state of the race.
What are we looking
John
here?
King, we have a projection for you now. At home, you people at home.
New York.
Project that New York, as expected, will go to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris will be the winner of the 28 electoral votes offered from the Empire State. Let's take a look at the electoral vote Count now. Donald
I wonder
Trump
as well.
lead, 154. Kamala Harris with 81, 270.
Oh my God. Sorry about that.
Is there as of let's go to Abby Phillip at Harris campaign headquarters here in Washington D.C. on the campus of Howard University. Abby.
Woo.
Yeah,
Man,
Jake,
sorry,
this
that was probably loud.
group here has been here for a little while now, and they've been watching the returns as they've been coming in. You're hearing them right now cheering as they're seeing you, a little bit delayed, calling New York Harris.
Oh,
they
man.
got some good news tonight.
Wear a mask? True.
The anxiety in the crowd.
I'll go get mine from upstairs. I have a whole bunch of them.
Want to celebrate. There's been a DJ playing all night long. But the results are coming in, and they're coming in slowly. But each time,
Dude, I wore one for work, and I had so many people. So many people ask me about it.
It is a big moment for
Last time I was sick.
here at the Kamala Harris headquarters.
When I started my job in a weekend, I got like massively sick.
You can probably hear me talking to you, but the crowd, they're excited. They're ready to go tonight.
I probably want to go get a box of tissues because I'm dying down here. Give me a minute.
Abby Phillip in Washington D.C. in the campus
gonna fill my
of
water.
Howard University, where Harris is holding her campaign headquarters right now. Let's go to West Palm Beach, where we find Caitlin Collins at Trump HQ. Caitlin.
Yeah, Jake, I should note, obviously we are all still watching these numbers come in. There is no celebrating happening yet inside the Trump campaign, but one thing that is giving them a confidence boost this hour are the numbers that you and John King were just going over in Virginia. They were looking at that very closely, comparing it to President Biden's numbers there in 2020, and it is making them feel good tonight, lifting their spirits. Now, no one is saying that this is obviously anywhere near over yet. They are still watching very closely to the blue wall of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Donald Trump calling into radio shows in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania in just the last few hours as he's at his Mar-a-Lago club. He just spoke to supporters briefly, Jake, but as he's talking to the people who are at Mar-a-Lago, who's also getting constant updates from his own campaign team. And right now they are watching a few key indicators, including the turnout from black males in Georgia and in other states, but also just watching those numbers in Virginia. We'll see, Jake, of course, if that pattern continues throughout the night.
All right, Caitlin Collins, thanks so much. John King?
Make a fascinating map at the moment. You just updated the electoral vote count, 154 to 81. You're looking at a map now. There are a lot of Democrats looking at this map and saying, wow, we're having a great night. I would just say, be cautious. Enjoy the moment, but just be cautious. Why do I say wow? Well, at the moment, we touched on this a little bit earlier, the vice president is still leading statewide in Nebraska. What she wants to win is the 2nd congressional district, which is right here. Nebraska, one of 2 states that awards electoral college votes based on congressional district. Only 30% of the state. You see all this gray. Those are small, rural farm country. Beautiful, beautiful parts of Nebraska that tend to vote for Donald Trump in overwhelming numbers. So let's wait to see that one play out. But then you move east, and remember, what was the surprise poll of the last week of the campaign? It was the Iowa poll that showed the vice president of the United States actually no clear leader, but 47 to 43, I think, if I have it right, a little bit ahead of Donald Trump in what has been, since Barack Obama left the scene, a reliably red state. Well, at the moment, only 19% of the vote in, but at the moment, Democrats in Iowa, and I suspect elsewhere, are saying, we told you so, but we have a long way to go in the count. All right, so Polk County is Des Moines, 83% of the vote, and this is almost the downside for the Democrats, if you will. She's getting 56% of the vote, but you're at 83% already, so you got some more coming in, but this is your biggest basket, biggest Democratic stronghold, the capital of Des Moines. If you haven't been in Des Moines in 10 years, it's a very different city than you might remember. A lot of young professionals, insurance industry and the like, Democratic stronghold there. Joe Biden got 56% in Des Moines in 4 years ago. So
Alrighty,
if
gang,
you think,
we got
oh wow, look at
tissues
that, just let's
for
be
my
careful and be cautious. But we are waiting. Ames, College Town,
Got
right
some
up here,
more
Story County.
water
Ames, we have nothing right now.
for my
That's a place where
kidneys.
President Biden got 57% of the vote. When we get numbers here, we'll look at that. But let's see that. If the Democrats are going to
Calm the
surprise us,
illness.
even by making
Yeah,
it
honestly.
closer than
Dude, it was
was 4
hitting-
years
it was
ago,
hitting everything.
You'll see some math in these blue counties. More people
Now-
enthusiasm. Enthusiasm matters.
I haven't gotten Sixth
in a
Sense, so
competitive
I'm pretty
environment.
happy.
So we'll see what happens with Iowa. Again, it has been a red state for quite some time.
Hey, you're back on YouTube.
To put the exclamation point on the it's
Yeah, YouTube
early,
is weird.
the state of Missouri has the vice president of the United States ahead right now. Missouri hasn't voted blue for president in a very long
Well,
time.
now you know. If
Okay,
YouTube ever starts
let's be
acting
open
up, you
surprises
just go
and
right
we'll
to
count
Twitch.
votes. Now let's come in to the battlegrounds where we are waiting. Wisconsin is blue. It was red last time. Still very, very early. 18% of the vote counted. This is critical for Vice President Harris, if, emphasis on if, you can win Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, hold that Nebraska congressional district I just showed you, then you're the President of the United States. Right? That's her easiest. No path is
Dang.
easy, but her easiest path is keep the blue wall. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. So let's move up Wisconsin so you can get a better look at home. She's ahead right now at the moment, but we're only 18% of the vote. And again,
Yeah.
John's a broken record tonight, but I want you to look up at all of those gray areas, and I just want to remind you, in most of them, not all of them, but in most of them, you're in rural Trump country.
No, you're
So
good,
if you
man.
come
You're
back to
good.
The 2024 map, and you say the vice president's ahead, that's where you want to be. You want to be ahead, but you've got a long way to go. So what are we looking for? I'm going to do this in reverse order. Because of the questions about young voters turning out, whether unhappiness with the White House over Israel-Gaza, Israel-Hamas policy would impact youth turnout. 38% in Dane County. That's the University of Wisconsin. Absolutely essential for any Democratic win in Wisconsin to run it up here, not just in the percentage, but with the raw math. So let's look. 38% of the vote. So a long way to go. Long way to go. Let's just compare it to the president. President Biden had 76%. Keep an eye on it. Don't
I'm gonna go to the
panic
map.
if you're
I
a
want to see.
Democrat, but keep an eye on that because the vice president needs to be as close to that
Pennsylvania's
as
at
he can be. And at the
32%.
moment,
Still has
running a little bit behind that. That's
100K
Dane
on
County,
Donald
that's
Trump.
Madison. This is the biggest population center. Spent a lot of
Interesting.
time here in the last year. The big question here is, do black voters turn out? And the subset question of that is, does Donald Trump make inroads, especially among black men? We did see some evidence of that. in
These
our
are a
several
little bit
trips
closer than
out
I
to
would have
Milwaukee.
liked.
At the moment, I was texting with somebody in Milwaukee earlier, by the way, who said they thought turnout was actually going pretty good for the Democrats. We'll see if that turns out. At the moment, 25% of the vote in, 66% if you round up.
Dude, if we can get Georgia,
2% for Donald Trump. So let's just
that'd
go
be
back
crazy.
in time, knowing we have a long way to
Cheese
go.
heads, yeah, true.
Milwaukee sometimes reports late, but if you go back in time, Joe Biden again.
Minnesota will
69%,
change. Minnesota will
Trump at
definitely change.
29%. So the 69% is
Minnesota
what
will
comes
go
out.
blue,
Trump
I would
is-
imagine.
Trump is a little above.
I think Wisconsin and
Trump's a
Michigan
little
will
above where
both
he
go
was
blue. I don't
4
know
years
if
ago. She's a little
Nebraska,
behind where the president was 4 years
if the
ago.
congressional
It's only
district is
25%
actually
of the
going to
vote.
go blue or
We're
not.
pouring cement on any of this, but that's where you say, oh, we got to keep an eye on that as we go forward. Then you move over here, you go into the WOW counties, Waukesha, the biggest among
We got
them. This is a
18 minutes left.
Republican
18
suburb.
minutes
Long
until
history of a
the
Republican suburb. The challenge for Democrats. I've been saying this.
I
about
believe
Trump.
the
In
oh
the
actually
blue,
no
the
we'll still have
battleground, they lead in blue.
Hawaii.
Where's Trump's number in the
Alaska.
suburbs? Can he compete? He's not going to win, but can he compete?
They're not the
That's
last,
the
but-
challenge for the vice president here. Waukesha County tends to be a Republican suburb, so there she is at 40%.
Interesting.
Trump at 59%. Again, you go back in time.
True.
59%
True.
to 39%.
Nah,
Four
well,
years
it's still
ago.
super
Welcome
early
to
over there.
another 20,000 vote race probably in the end in Wisconsin
I gotta
based
hit
on
this
that.
again.
So 66%
Dude,
of
my
the vote
lats
in
are
there.
killing me.
It's essentially matching where we were in
My
2020.
lats
And
are
again, just so
killing
you
me.
remember our history here in the blue wall.
Which is funny because I thought I hit my
Harris is
rear
leading
delts
right
a
now.
lot more.
We got a lot of
But
votes
apparently I
to count right
didn't.
here, but I'm laughing a little bit just at the 22,000 number.
Whew.
Because if you look at that right there,
Oh my
Joe Biden
God.
won this state in 2020 by 20,000 votes. 4 years before that, when he cracked the blue wall and became president, Donald Trump won Wisconsin by
That felt good.
22,000 votes.
I feel a
That,
lot better
welcome to
now.
Wisconsin. It's a state that tends to hang around the margins of 20,000 votes, which is why that is somewhat amusing to me. Earlier, she just put it up to 34,000 to shut me up. And there we go as we go through the
Nice.
count, in Wisconsin, very early there. Let's come over to Battleground, Michigan. Let me come back for a second. See that?
Would 2020 bread have sore lats? No.
They say that
2020
way.
bread would
It's
have
early. It's early. Don't call your bookie. Don't make any bets.
no
Don't pop the
lats.
champagne. You see Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin.
He would be
Especially if you're looking
complaining
at
that
a
he's
map of North
hungry,
Carolina and Georgia are
and
red. They're
my
not
my
done
hair
either.
would be
They're not
long.
done either. But if you're a Democrat, you're kind of a little, ooh, should we be nervous about this? Then you should be, wow, should we be optimistic about that? So let's take it away and see what I mean by that. Number one, let's just start to the east and go west. Up to 32% in Pennsylvania, long way to go. Long way to go. Just want to check on where we are in Philadelphia, still at 26%. You get Philadelphia over 50%, then we can start to understand what the math is elsewhere as you go.
Yeah.
But again, you see most of the rural areas filling in for Trump. That's his strength. That is his strength, and Pennsylvania is one of his best states.
See, I waited.
Let's come up
You
here
had it
to
as a
Michigan.
teen. I
Let's
had
go
it as a
14% in Michigan.
as a
And we have our first votes out of Wayne County, and it shows Donald
23-year-old,
Trump leading Wayne
24-year-old.
County. If Wayne County's red at the end of the night, Donald
You know what?
Trump's winning
Some
the
people can
presidency
pull
no
it
matter
off,
what.
man. I can't.
1%. So that's unlikely to happen.
I
The
can't
question
pull
is,
off
where
long
does it end
hair.
up? This
I
one's
can barely
really
pull off the
interesting.
hair I have.
Macomb County, but again, 500 votes.
Me with
500
long hair. I mean,
votes.
also
But
I had a
Trump
lot
wants
of
to keep
weight
it
on me,
somewhere around
so
there.
I don't
Go back
think
in
the
time.
weight was doing me
City's
any
at
favors.
53%. If Donald Trump can win Macomb County, it keeps him competitive. Keeps him competitive in the state. The higher above 50 he gets, it matters. This is one of the signature key counties for Vice President Harris.
I wish I
and her
could
Michigan
push
chances.
this over.
Oakland County.
I don't like how this is like.
Used to be a Republican county when I started doing this. She's at 55% right now. They're just past half the vote. So look at the 55%. Little behind Joe Biden. That can matter. That can matter. We're not done yet. She's only 55%.
Oh, there we go.
A little bit behind. Biden had
There we go. That's a lot better. That looks
441
better right there.
county, and you're just checking on turnout. She's at 234,000 with about 54%. So you're in the ballpark of similar turnout. Let's see what happens as that comes in. And you're going to watch that number.
Yeah, man.
Tiny changes in the margins can affect the battleground states.
It
So
being
Trump's at
big, it just
43.
doesn't
Let's
feel
do it that
good.
way. Trump
It
was at
really didn't.
42.
Like
Again,
I
tiny,
put on a little bit of weight
Most
now.
states, tiny
Like
can
on this
matter.
bulk,
Keep
I've
an eye on
lost.
that.
So
As we
I
go through
fluctuate my weight
count in
a
Michigan.
decent amount.
And then one more. I was already over there.
Like I'm
earlier.
going
Let's
up
come
like
back
give or
up.
take
So
5
the blue
pounds.
wall at the moment is
Like
blue,
within a few
and the
weeks,
Sun Belt
which
states,
sometimes
which used to be
it's probably not
reliably
good for
red,
me.
are now battleground
But
states.
when I
Except
put
for
on
those
like
are
5
red.
more pounds
So
than I
just check
want
in.
to, I already feel
See if
like
anything else came in.
much
It was
more
at 79%.
lethargic. Much.
President's
I just
lead
feel
was
worse.
204,000. It was 240,000 a little while ago.
That's why,
Just
like
see
the
it
other
come down
day,
a little bit. I just want to remind everybody.
I went to the gym and did like my back and shoulder day, and then I immediately hopped on the treadmill
by about 244,000 votes.
and was like
Joe Biden
running,
won
and then I
200% of the
walked.
votes were all counted. Doesn't mean that's what's going to happen this time.
Spent
It
like
just means
30 minutes on a
You'd
treadmill.
rather be ahead than behind, but we're not done yet. Let's come back up to North Carolina. We're at 63% in North Carolina. This
Yeah.
count's coming up now. This count's coming up a little bit. You're at 177,000 vote lead. That would be a blowout. Anything in triple digits in North Carolina. Again, you go back 4 years ago, the closest of the battleground states Trump carried 74,000 votes then. You see how close it was, 50 to 49.
You know what's funny
So let's
is
come back now
I've
and
definitely
take a
become
look.
more
The blue is-
cognizant
the blue
of,
then
of my
the blue
weight.
is now, except for this one,
I've
right
definitely
there.
become much more
This one here was
aware
40,
when I
but
start
we're
putting
only at
on weight.
4%. If you go back in time,
But that's
that was a Republican
typically just
county.
because
Look out
um
there because and if anyone's out
because
there
I
watching,
I
hope
do
you're
pay
doing
so
all
much
right.
I
This
like I
is an
pay a
area of the
lot
state
of attention
that was hit hardest by Hurricane
to my
and
to
the
my
state
physique
and the
now. So I
county
really do.
officials and the
I
local
notice a
officials.
lot of small
God
changes
bless
in my
them. They
body.
did amazing things just so people could vote. I know the more important things are: can you live? Can you get housing? Can you get food? Can you get water? And things like that. But the fact that people are voting out there in good numbers is a testament to the state and to the county officials. And people have
Dang.
a lot of misinformation out there. We see what's happening. Democracy is unfolding.
North
in Western
Carolina, I
This is
thought
where
would
it
be a
matters most
lot
if you are the
closer.
Democrats. And only 14% of the vote is in.
That's a
And
rough
you see
one.
Donald Trump leading in North Carolina, but you see only 14% of the vote in Mecklenburg County, which tells you, let's just take
He's
this
got
for
a
a while.
decent
Just go
lead
through
now.
and see what happens. as we go.
Virginia's
It's
still
11%
close,
of the
which is
statewide
good.
Population. The vice president's at 60% right now. So you go back in time.
Anything
Again,
called?
this is
Anything? Any
in
new
the
ones?
Vice president's camp. He
No.
lost. Joe Biden lost North Carolina, getting.
Did Wyoming get
67% of the
called?
vote in
Is that a new
Mecklenburg
one?
County. She at the moment is
That
getting
might be new.
60% of the vote. Is that meaningful? We don't
No,
know
it
yet.
isn't. Never
We
mind.
don't know
I
yet.
lied.
It would be meaningful if we end up there, but it's only 14% of the vote right now. So then you come back out here, and again, that would be Donald Trump doing better in the suburbs. If he gets her number down from Joe Biden, that would mean Donald Trump was doing better with black voters and in the suburbs. But we watch that. We still have a long time to go. Wake County.
How did that happen for you? I just got so bored.
Number one, population. Wake County's number two. She's at 64%. Right
Mine
there.
wasn't
Trump's at 35.
boredom. Mine was like a lot of
Trump's at
factors.
36. She's at 62.
A
Roughly
tough
the same.
relationship.
Roughly the same. Won't make a big deal about that now.
During college.
Sometimes roughly you start looking into the
It
margins
definitely
of
put me
roughly.
on
If you
a
get
a
to
worse
80,
path
90%
for
of
my
the vote,
health.
Move over here.
So that
Sixth
I
largest
got a
county
job
now,
that
right?
was
So
really bad for my
Raleigh,
mental
Durham,
health.
Research Triangle,
That didn't
young
help.
Voters, some black voters, some college-educated suburban voters.
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
healthcare
basically it.
industry and the other industries in the Research Triangle there. 81% of the vote.
I don't.
right now with
The
85%
relationship that I
vote. So
had
this is
just
where you
like put
can't
me on such a
compare.
dark
You're at
path.
85% of the vote. You can say, okay, where are we? Where was Joe
It
Biden?
didn't make me feel too good,
80%. So she's
but it's all
matching Joe
good.
Biden here in a
And I
key
went
place.
from that
Trump's
to a
at
job that
18%
like I
in 2020.
legitimately like
We
was
see him
struggling
at
to get out of
18%,
bed
a little bit below that.
to go
So
to.
this, if you're the vice president, you're matching the president.
And not
You're
because I
not
was
good at
lazy,
it,
but
right? You
because
lost
I
the state
was waking
by
up going, "Oh my
74,000
God,
votes.
I
You come
don't
back
know
up,
if I can do
we're up
this
here.
today.
Look, you look
I
for
don't know
another
if I can go to
Democratic
this
possible,
job."
Cumberland County.
But we got through it exactly,
We're just starting. Right, we're just starting.
and
This is
we're
the
here
largest
now,
county in
and
the
we're
state.
better for
So
it.
that's if you're the vice president, you think there's some room for
We're
growth
all the
there.
better for for it.
because we're not there yet. And again, I just want to show you. You see the blue in the urban areas. North Carolina along here has the belt here. These are black voters here for the most part in these Democratic counties. Absolutely essential to the vice president's math.
Pennsylvania,
When you
she
come down
still
to
has a
Georgia,
decent
again, in
lead.
these states,
Over
you just see
100K.
all that red. Not a lot of people live in those, but if you do county after county after county after county, you run it up. And Jake, as I toss back to you, just one more check. Now Fulton County still at 80%. So the Georgia math, we still have the biggest population center where we're waiting to see some key results.
All right, John,
Nice.
as we stand by for the next poll closings. at
My
the top of
king.
the hour, here's an update on the race to 270. Donald Trump has 154 electoral votes. Kamala
That
Harris
is crazy.
has 81 electoral votes.
Hey, sounds good, James.
Obviously,
We'll be here.
270 electoral votes are needed to win. Now, another key race alert. Let's go to the states where we have not called. Kamala Harris in the lead in Pennsylvania, 51.4% of the vote. Donald Trump has 47.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 88,000 plus votes.
Oh, dang. He's
of
pulled
the
it back
lead.
a little bit.
But it's about 35% of the vote that's been counted in Pennsylvania, about a third. Still a lot of vote to count in Pennsylvania. Michigan.
He pulled it back a little
Harris
bit.
has 52% of the vote. Donald Trump has 46.1% of the vote. Kamala Harris with a 49,000 plus vote lead.
Dude, this is
With
way
only
too
an
close, man.
estimated 15% of the vote counted.
This is
in
way
Alabama
too
and
close.
Michigan. In Wisconsin, another battleground. Kamala Harris 52.2% of the vote.
I think we'll probably go to 10:30.
Harris with a 52,000
We'll get this
plus
next
vote
round,
lead,
and
but
then
only
we'll see what's going on with it.
Wisconsin, still very early.
We're not gonna know. We're not gonna know a lot tonight.
Still in the lead there with 52.1% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 46.7% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 201,000 plus vote lead as of now. That's with
200,000. When did that one become so crazy?
In Battleground Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead, 51.9% of the vote. Kamala Harris, 47.1% of the vote.
Yeesh.
Donald Trump with a 208,000 plus vote lead. That's with 79%
Excuse me.
of the estimated vote in Georgia counted. Still a lot of votes to count there, but a lot of votes have already counted. In the Commonwealth of Virginia, Donald Trump. In the Commonwealth of Virginia, Donald Trump has 49.
Are you okay, Jake Tapper?
Kamala Harris 48.
My guy just looked spooked.
That is.
He looked like there was something going on.
With 63% of the vote counted. I am going to now bring you a projection. And CNN can project Louisiana.
Okay, yeah, that makes
will
sense.
go to Donald Trump. Louisiana with its 8 electoral votes.
So that brings him to 162.
Let's see what that.
I mean, these just made sense. 114K. Like, it's much closer. That one, not so much. That one's 100K, yeah. That's crazy. Dude, that is a stupidly close race so far. But it's only going more.
2 p.m. Eastern, when 16 electoral votes are on the line.
What do we got?
Every vote is vital to get to the winning total of 270 polling places.
Okay, Colorado's probably gonna go blue.
And battleground Nevada and in Utah. Nevada is the key battleground.
Excuse me, dude. Jeez.
Hold on to Nevada for the Democrats.
I'm not even covering my mouth.
Narrowly lost.
I'm coughing like I'm a toddler.
And in 2016. As we await the end of voting in Nevada, let's check in with Jim Acosta, who's at a polling place in Las Vegas.
7
Jim,
minutes,
you have
gang.
new
7
information
minutes.
from the Nevada Secretary of State.
Yeah, Jake, I mean, one interesting development that has emerged here in Nevada is they're running into a problem with some of the mail-in ballots that have come in so far. Some of the signatures have been an issue, and election workers are now reaching out to some of those folks out there who have signature issues. Your signatures need to match those that are on file with the state. And an interesting anecdote here, one of the problems that they're running into is that a lot of young voters...
What is your earliest election memory? Oh, man.
So when they've signed their names onto some of these
I think it was third. It was either second or third grade. Bush versus Kerry. In 2004.
To say, hey, wait a minute. Hopefully they're looking
I remember learning about that. Not like just learning about who they were because they wanted us to know who was running for president.
So that is one thing that they're looking at this point. There are about 14,000 of these ballot issues that they're trying.
And what's funny is I think it was a kid that I grew up with whose parents are super conservative now. I remember he was like super sad when Bush won because his parents wanted John Kerry to win. And now I know that they're like super conservative people, which is it's just like it's funny the way that played out.
Thanks so much. Let's go to Kyung La in Phoenix. Kyung.
We're in Maricopa County, Phoenix, and the most populous county, Jake, in this entire state as Maricopa County goes.
I remember a bunch of Bush years, but not John Kerry. Sorry, John.
We are here. We are watching the clock in just minutes. In about
I think that's probably my earliest election.
will be reporting its very first.
I have a faint memory. This is crazy. I have a faint memory of
On
9/11.
the line here out of Arizona, Maricopa
Very,
County
very
will give us
faint.
a strong indication after that first drop, but it takes a long time to count.
I remember
all of the
Canada's
ballots. The
drug
first
dealer
drop that we're
PM,
gonna see,
forget
the
his
first
name. Hey,
results
look at.
will be the early
I
vote
forgot his
that is
name too.
counted
Also,
before
I don't think I ever knew it.
It's not all
I didn't know you
counted,
guys had a
majority of
drug
the early
dealer
vote
prime
that's
minister.
counted before election day. That is what we are going to know in just minutes. We are watching to see what is happening, and the sense that we are getting, Jake, from
4
all of the
minutes.
election officials
Actually,
we've
less than
spoken
4
to
minutes.
here in Maricopa County, is that they are overwhelmed.
I have a very clear memory of 9/11. Dang.
Hasn't been major problems.
That is
here in this
insane.
county. Things have gone relatively
Doug
smoothly.
Ford.
Yes, there have been some small issues here. and
Doug
there, but
Ford, the
overwhelmingly,
drug dealer
they say
prime
this has
minister.
gone fairly well.
Interesting.
And they are really looking forward to, continuing to keep that going as they go throughout the night. After that first
My
report,
goat.
Jake, we are
Sorry,
expecting
no,
to hear
I'm my goat.
further reports as that in-person vote from today starts to come in.
I have to sneeze again. Uh-oh. These allergies are hitting me at the worst time. We're so close. We're so close to making it through stream without dying to allergies.
Well, the democracy and the economy are battling for that top spot. 33% of Nevada voters in this election, Jake, say democracy is the most important issue to their vote. 32%, basically the same, say the economy is most important. Then that is followed by immigration at 15%, abortion at 11%, and foreign policy down in single digits. Your family's financial situation, is it better or worse than 4 years ago? A plurality, nearly half of Nevada voters say, 48% say it was worse than 4 years ago. It is worse today than it was 4 years ago. Only 22% say it's better than 4 years ago. 29% say it's about the same.
Kind of forgot that my traps were like very sore.
Should be offered a chance at legal status or should be deported? 54%, a majority in Nevada, side with the Harris position on this, offered a chance at legal status. 42% in Nevada side with the Trump position that they should
Your
be
earliest memory is the
deported.
death of Princess Diana?
Abortion should be
Dang,
mostly
that's a
legal
crazy
or
memory to
illegal.
have.
68% of Nevada voters, nearly 7 in 10, say abortion should be mostly legal. 28% say it should be illegal. And
That's why he wants to be involved in
job
everything.
approval rating is at
He wants to fight everybody's battles, and it's going to kill you. Kill you. Don't do it. Your kids are important to you. That's what drives you, baby. That's what I love. That's why we love you. Okay?
I don't know.
Your children, your family, your kids, your footballers. Your kids that play football. That's what.
This is him doing crack? Bro, oh my god. Dude. That's insane. Oh my god. Wow. Alrighty, well.
To see about that.
I didn't think we would see people doing crack today, but hey.
Interesting, but we're only at 31% of the vote. Iowa, which again has not been a state we paid
That's
attention
my
to since
PM.
Barack Obama left the scene. Donald Trump won it comfortably twice. The Harris lead is shrinking a little bit, but she's still ahead in
That's
Iowa,
my goat.
1% to 48%.
No,
And if
crack
you
is
look, like I
bad.
said earlier, we were at 83% in Polk County. We're still
Crack,
there.
crack.
That's the bulk of your Democratic votes. You start moving down. You come over here to Cedar Rapids, which is Lynn County. You're only at 34% of the vote here, so there's some business to be done in terms of Democratic votes for the. But it's an interesting state. If this one is competitive, it would be a surprise. An election night.
Oh my
surprises are
goodness.
always interesting. You see there Dubuque County there. We'll see how that one plays out as we go forward. So now let's come over to some of the bigger battlegrounds. Again, if you're in the Harris campaign, especially because we're not done by any means. But if North Carolina and Georgia, Trump's ahead there, then you'd rather be the candidate ahead in the blue wall states. And at the moment, the vice president is 44%, no more than a third of the vote counted in Wisconsin.
Oh my
Again, you
gosh,
see Trump
man.
filling in the rural areas. Just want to check. I teed this up earlier. Brown County, Green Bay, blue-collar workers. Kamala Harris is not going to win Brown County. The question is, can she compete? When Joe Biden
Wait,
won the
why
state,
am I a
she's at
CIA
33%.
plant?
We're only at 12%.
Show me
So
that.
we have to do this a little bit later.
Why am I a
Joe Biden's at
CIA
45%.
plant?
So it's a key test.
When are we playing Ready or
what
Not? Try not to
blue-collar
murder each
workers,
other?
can the vice president
Dude,
of the
we
United
have
States
so many
try
games
to
we have
at
to
least come
play.
close to where the president
We
was.
have
At the
so
moment,
many.
she's not, but it's very early in the count right there. Again,
I'd say let's
foundation for
actually
Democratic
play
issues down
zombies
here in
first before
Milwaukee,
we plan
we're
another
almost at half
game.
the vote right there. She's at 67% there. Let's just go back in time.
Because I also got to play Valorant.
Was at 69%.
Dude, there were zombies in Tarkov, and I just didn't even really want to play. I'm going to be real.
Right now, we're only at 48% of the vote. If at the end of the night, she's underperforming the president in Milwaukee by a couple points, that can make the difference in a state, Jake, that in 2 elections in a row has been decided by 20,000 votes. Jake?
Damn.
That's right, John. And we're just moments away from another round of poll closings. Voting is about to end in
True, we need
3
Daniel.
states, including the key battleground of Nevada. A total of 16 electoral votes.
Damn,
are on
Fox
the
is
line
ahead of CNN right now.
now. And CNN can project that Donald Trump will win the state of Montana. As expected, Trump gets Montana with its 4 electoral votes. CNN
And
can also
Utah.
project that Donald Trump will win the state of Utah. As expected,
So what does that put him
Utah
at right
with
now?
its 6 electoral votes. Nevada
172?
too early to call, a battleground state that Donald Trump has narrowly lost in the last 2 elections, but is making a big play for this election. Let's look at the electoral math right now. Donald Trump has 172 electoral votes. Kamala Harris
Dang.
with 81 electoral votes, 270 electoral votes needed to win. Neither of them is there yet. Let's look at the key races now. Pennsylvania, Kamala Harris, 49.9% of the vote. Donald Trump has narrowed her 20,000 plus vote lead. He's at 49.2% of the vote. More votes have come in from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. 43% of the estimated vote from Pennsylvania is in. Kamala Harris right now is 18,000 plus vote lead there. Kamala Harris in the lead. In Michigan, 51.6% of the vote. Donald Trump has 46.5%.
Would you want a
of the
gay
vote.
son
Kamala
or a
Harris
thought
46,000
daughter?
plus vote lead.
Bars.
Still, only 16% of the estimated vote in Michigan has been counted. In battleground Wisconsin, Harris is at 49.8% of the vote. Donald Trump is at 48.4%.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for not
He has
converting.
a 15,000 plus vote lead. That's with more than a third, 35% of the vote counted in Wisconsin.
All right, come on.
In battleground North Carolina, Donald Trump maintaining his lead.
Hey, hey, it's getting
52% of the
closer,
vote.
though.
Kamala Harris is 46.8% of the vote.
It
Donald
was
Trump is at
over
136,000
210
plus
before.
vote lead. That is with 2/3, 66% of the estimated vote.
Right?
North
Or it was,
Carolina
no, it was, so it's like
counted.
a,
In
she,
battleground Georgia, Donald Trump
she made it a
maintaining
little
his
bit.
lead, 51.9% of the vote. Kamala Harris, 47.1% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 208,000 plus vote lead. That's with
Still not looking good for
79% of
Georgia.
The estimated vote in from the battleground state of Georgia. We're now
Dude,
getting
it is
an update
not
on
looking
vote
good for
in
the Senate.
North Carolina. Let's go to John King actually right now. John King, what can you tell us?
Well, Jake, you see the map, and again, as we get later in the night, this is where you start to see things change, especially if a candidate pulls out ahead in a state.
Yeah,
like
this is
that
getting
normally
crazy.
Is in their lane, if you will. And by
This
that,
is
I'm
getting
gonna
crazy.
refer to Iowa. Just
But-
a moment ago, I was showing you Iowa with the vice president ahead. Still competitive, but you see Iowa is now red. There was that late Iowa poll that showed the possibility of the vice president maybe being a little bit ahead of Donald Trump. No clear leader. It was a competitive poll. And this is a competitive race at the moment, 36%. This would be a surprise, right? We said Virginia's a surprise at how close it is. We'll see if it
I
ends.
think in a little bit we're gonna go to bed.
This is a surprise
Because I
as
don't
well.
think we're gonna
Donald
actually
Trump is
see.
3,800 votes ahead.
Dude, I could be
Battleground
wrong,
Iowa
man.
State, he
It's
carried quite comfortably
this is
by
crazy.
9 points,
172.
4 years ago.
He's
So you keep an eye
100
out,
off
you
of
watch,
winning.
and you see what happens
So
there,
what
but
would
it's
he
interesting
need?
on this night? Now let's move over to the battlegrounds that matter at the moment. The blue wall states still being held by the vice president. The Sun Belt states, as we start to move west, North Carolina and Georgia are the two.
Does this tell me how much each one is? I wish it would.
The former president of the United States. Again, this was his closest
10.
battleground win in terms of.
So
Biden.
if he won Minnesota, he's
Back in
well. So I'm gonna say
2020,
he's not gonna win Minnesota.
74,000
Iowa
votes, just under 200,000
is still
votes
too
right now.
close.
66%
Kansas.
reporting. The former president at 52% of the vote. Again, Jake, as you come over and join me here, just let's remind
That's
our
too
viewers,
close as
still
well.
votes to be counted. We know
Mississippi,
that.
he'll win.
So then we want to
That's
use our technology
6.
and say, where are they? All right, where are they? And you see the bigger the circle.
So
means the
178.
more live outstanding votes.
If we were to
and
get
the color
this,
tells you what's happening there. And at the moment, doesn't mean it
that'd be
won't continue to that way.
204.
You see Mecklenburg County, that's Charlotte in the suburbs. You see over here in the Raleigh-Durham area.
Oh my
Winston-Salem
gosh.
area, a little bit out of Nashville. So
220.
more votes to be counted out there, but Donald Trump at the moment. has a healthy
That's
lead.
still too
we have, one of
close.
our excellent journalists,
Wait, Pennsylvania?
Charlotte,
Oh
is in
no!
County,
Oh
Brianna
no!
Keeler, as the Board of Elections in Charlotte. Brianna, what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. So at this point, Jake, about 100,000 ballots are in out of several hundreds of thousands of ballots, and that really could change any moment.
Not
because
good.
You're expecting about 420
Guys,
to
it's
430,000 votes,
not looking good.
which would have been early in
When you're done streaming, join the Val game?
to have been closed out
Potentially.
in
Potentially.
here to the State Board of Elections. So we could be seeing that literally.
You guys in a
any
game right
moment.
now?
But what we see right now is a picture of a
I don't think I'm gonna
fraction
play any,
of
to be
this key
honest.
county. It's about
I'll come in and I'll stop in and say hey though.
ballots that were received before 5 p.m.
But
yesterday.
I do have to be up at 3:30 again,
70,000
unfortunately.
Election day ballots from today. And you see right behind me, you see that red satchel right there. That
But I will
is
join.
really
I'll
the
come
key
in
here.
and say
This is
hello.
being delivered by car. We're almost in sort of what is a
This is
drive-through
crazy.
situation here outside of the building of the Board of Elections here in the county. And these are delivered, these flash drives, they go inside through a very strenuous process, ultimately are uploaded to a computer that has never ever touched the internet, and then that is compiled and ultimately posted to the State Board of Elections, Jake.
All right, I'm going up. I want to check this. Senate. Dude, the Democrats are really underperforming. This is insane. I didn't see them underperforming this bad. Them flipping a seat in both the House and the Senate, well, the Democrats haven't, is a bit rough. But there is still the entire West Coast. I'm not going to say it's over quite yet. I'm not going to say it's over.
North Carolina from Pamela Brown, who's
Because it really is still early.
Off the phone with an official in North Carolina there. This official says, look, first and foremost, it's going to take some more time to get results from across North Carolina's 100 counties. He said that this is going to be close. It's going to take some time. There are counties that haven't reported yet that are red, and there are counties that haven't reported yet
There's still a
that are
possibility
blue.
that Trump
So
doesn't
let's
win.
dive a little bit more into the numbers we
It's
have.
slim
Wake
at this
County, This is
point.
the most populous
Trump has
county
kind
in
of
North Carolina.
swept,
It's right here. I am told so
and that
far,
is
more
crazy
than
to me.
510,000 votes have been reported. That's according to the state's dashboard. So for context on that, there's 830,099 registered voters. So that's the most. It's likely going to be a lower number in the end. So they're actually making some headway there. But over here, in Mecklenburg, the home to Charlotte, they're having a logjam uploading the numbers to their site, I'm told, so far. And things are moving quickly, so this could change. But just a second ago, before I came on air, there were more than 84,000 votes reported so far. And for perspective, there's 857,354 registered voters in Mecklenburg. So that's a very small fraction at last check that we're seeing bear out in the results there. And again, because they're having issues uploading on their site, which is bound to happen. And again, that state official there in the Tar Heel state telling me that, again, be patient. It's going to take some time.
All right, Pamela.
If
thanks
Trump
so much.
loses, he won't
John
accept
King,
it. I know,
North
especially after
Carolina.
he's.
A lot
So
of
if he
people
loses
thought
now,
we
he
would
started
know
incredibly
pretty
hot.
quickly this election season.
He has
who
started.
won, but
This has been an
I'm
insane
not sure
start
that
for
we're
Donald
gonna,
Trump.
know before midnight.
Unfortunately,
quickly,
this has
right?
been like the
Pick
best start he could have
2020,
possibly
pretty
asked
quickly.
for.
We're at 10 o'clock hour. You're right. So
If
see
he
these states
loses
out
this
there,
now,
they learned a lot of lessons in 2020. Fewer
he
ballot
is
votes this time
absolutely
around.
not going to
Could
have it.
thought to be faster, but human
He's
things
got a
happen. You see the
4
officials all
million
out there
vote
watching
lead
this.
right now.
Brianna made a very key point. It's so sad that we have to make it, but that these voting machines are not connected to the internet. There's all these conspiracy theories that people are hacking into voting machines. The people who count our votes, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, agnostic, they do a good job in all the states. And North Carolina is one of the best. So where are we is the question. A 213,000 vote lead, and it's what Pam just laid out and Bree just laid out. Bree is here, Brianna is here, Mecklenburg County, 10% of the population, the largest of the 100 counties in North Carolina. So we have a long way to go, right? So can the Democrat come back is the question, right? You see that healthy Donald Trump lead. So your question is, can the Democrat come back? Well, the vice president's at 65,000 votes there and a little bit of change.
California
Okay?
should demolish his vote
County,
lead.
the winner of
True.
Mecklenburg County is going to be over
Very
300,000,
true.
close to 400,000 votes. So we have a very long way to go in Mecklenburg.
You are right
The
about
point
that.
you're making here is that Joe Biden pocketed a net of about 200,000
Right.
votes last time.
Last time, a net of about 200,000 votes. Exactly the way to do the math. And we see right now, we're waiting for a whole lot of votes, right? And so she's at 61%, and he was at 67%. If it ends up that way, Donald Trump's going to win North Carolina. But there's that giant number of votes left out. So there's her
Yeah.
the vice president's percentage.
This is rough.
Remember, the president's.
I'm going to be
67.
real.
Does she get
Honesty
close
hour.
to 67, number one.
Honesty
and then number
hour,
two,
it's
what's the
not
math in the
looking
margin,
great right
If
now.
Donald Trump, if she's below Biden,
Yeah, the Electoral College.
Trump's, again, doing a little bit better. Might only
Again.
be a little bit, but a little bit's a big deal in a battleground state in the suburbs.
Not
or
looking
maybe
great.
with black voters in
Not
Charlotte.
looking
We'll have
too
to see
good.
How that plays out. That's the biggest county. Pam noted Wake County is your number 2. And again, here we're higher. We're at 76%. So she's at 64%. Remember, Joe Biden lost North Carolina, only by 75,000 votes, but he lost. So you're trying to figure out how do you match that up. So you come back here, and again, it's not a lot, right? You see the win, turnout might be up a little bit, so maybe the winner of the county gets a little bit more than that. But you see him at 393, and more importantly, at 62% of the vote. And then you come here. So she was a little.
Dude, I
behind
can't believe we had a
in
swap here
Mecklenburg County, which is the largest
in
So you don't
Pennsylvania.
wanna be behind it where the most votes are. She's a little bit ahead of the president in Wake County, and we're waiting
Scranton?
for that out. And that's one of the
Scranton,
challenges, right?
Pennsylvania,
If we
the
compare
office.
her to Biden because that's the last election. Every candidate has their own coalition,
right?
And so if she's doing a little worse,
Oh,
than
Philadelphia
the
has a
voters,
lot of votes
can she
left
make
though.
it up somewhere else?
We can't actually be too worried about Pennsylvania. I'll be worried, but I'm not gonna actually.
Where is Harris overperforming Biden in the state? Right, so this will slide away in just a second. She's only
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's kind of overperformed with everyone
counties, 1, 2, 3,
so
4,
far.
right? And so, does that mean she's going to lose North Carolina? No. It just means that she's, we have to wait to
This is-
see those
this
votes.
is
And then
crazy.
We can flip the question.
This
How
is
about
very
Trump?
crazy.
Is Trump overperforming Trump in 2020? In a lot more places at the moment. At the moment. Key to that is in these blue areas. In Mecklenburg County, which we just noted, that's where the most votes are in the state. In the biggest of the 100 counties, population-wise, vote count-wise, is right there. And Donald Trump's overperforming his 2020 performance at the moment. Remember how many votes are still out? At the moment, he's overperforming, and he's overperforming.
Dude, if it's still
Donald Trump overperforms in the urban areas.
no. We'll go to bed soon.
Then the close-in
I'll go to bed
suburbs, Donald
soon.
Trump's in better shape than he was then. I just want to
Probably in
as
like
we
10,
close this
15
out, though,
minutes.
that I said he's overperforming
But
here at the moment.
I do
We
want to
only have
stay on for as
15%
long as
of the votes.
possible.
Let's
I
see if it
am
holds
very
up.
tired.
I said he was overperforming here at the moment. We only have
But
21%
I
of
don't
the votes,
want
so
to,
let's see
I
if
don't
it
want to
holds up.
not do my duty here
caveats you just
as
said, that this is
the
early, we
most
don't know.
unbiased
But if
political
that
commentator on the
vote,
site.
An explanation of it can come in what we've heard from both campaigns is that
Oh, you said I
Donald Trump
can't go to
is
bed.
Doing a little bit better with
I apologize.
African-Americans, especially African
I apologize.
men,
I
maybe
will
Black
have to go to bed
and
soon
Kamala Harris is overperforming
because I have work in the
with
morning.
white suburban women.
But low key, I might have to hop on after my training because I have to go to work and then I have to do a personal training session.
Months traveling, right? Where is she? Where's
I
the
might get
NBC?
home and just
Where can
hop
he
right
perform
back
better?
on.
And for Donald Trump, since he's the constant, he was on 2016 and 2020.
Keep it going.
For Donald Trump, he had two goals. Number one,
And I'll just instead of sitting in the chair, I'll just be laying on the couch behind me
his
watching.
base came out. Where he suffered was in the suburbs.
If I
His
could bring
entire
this
Democratic
microphone
Party.
further
For
back,
Donald
I
Trump,
probably
yes,
would
you
do
wanna
that.
Pick up as many black votes and Latino votes as you can, and you want to improve your standing.
Just
in the
sit
suburbs.
all the
And that
way
includes
back there.
women. It includes women. Donald Trump spent the Republicans.
No,
spent the
I
era
don't need
last week
lots of
campaign
sleep. I just
every
need
day
some
watching
sleep, you
Donald
know.
Trump insult women.
Because if I go to bed at 10:30,
Nancy Pelosi one day was the vice president of the United States
how
every
many
day,
hours of
because
sleep
women
is
were
that?
large some
That's
of
like
those
5
days.
hours of
Republican
sleep.
strategists were ripping their hair out because they know if Donald Trump improves his standing in the suburbs, literally by half a point, then he's the next president of the United States. And they're ripping their hair out. But as you watch through this and we go through
Minnesota,
it, we'll see how it
Trump is
performs out.
winning, but it's still very
213,000
early.
votes, but we're still here. So mathematically, you do it this way. The big question is,
Anything new
are
in
there enough votes
the-
out there
in the
for
map?
candidate who's losing to catch up?
A lot of blue.
The answer is yes. There are enough votes out there for the candidate who's losing, the vice president, to catch up. That doesn't mean she will. It doesn't mean she will. It just comes down to
Okay.
as we get more votes in those places where I said Trump was overperforming.
So we would need blue,
if
blue,
he
blue.
continues to overperform,
Need to win all of these.
especially in Mecklenburg County.
Need to win both
that's
of
good math
these,
for him.
probably this
But we
one
have
as
a ways to
well.
go in county.
And we
So
need
that's just North
Pennsylvania to go
Carolina.
back blue.
Let's go down to the biggest surprise.
If you're driving, then you need
That
sleep.
was very
Yeah,
tight. The
and I
Democrats
am.
Every election cycle, they say, "Why can't we get North Carolina?"
But I'll go to bed in
this
like
was a
5
big
minutes.
surprise when it flipped.
That's when we'll call it a
Again,
night.
Here,
So that way I can go up
for a second, real quick,
and
Go
then
back
be
to-
in bed
sorry,
by
my bad.
10:30.
Come out of this and come back here. Remember that 204,000.
204,000.
I'll stop in and say hello to the boys
Let's go back to
before I
2020.
go to bed.
Okay, I just want to show you where we were. Let's go back to the beginning. This is 9 o'clock on election night.
Okay.
244,000. So we're at 10 o'clock now. We're at 10:15. Right. So Donald Trump was ahead by 244,000 votes in 2020. The next day, or midnight. As we turned, we're 2 hours away from that. An hour and 45. He was ahead by even more. He was ahead by 372,000 votes when Tuesday turned to Wednesday in 2020. Right. And then at noon the next day, it was down to 101,000 votes because they were counting the mail-in ballots. And then it flipped to the vice president on Friday. Joe Biden flipped to him on Friday.
Yeah,
And on
dude, see,
Saturday,
this is why we
the election
can't
was
get
called.
too
It
too
was at
nervous.
7,200, and then in the end, when they were done with the
These
count,
type of things are probably going to be happening.
779. So Donald Trump has the same lead now, roughly 10 or 20,000 votes.
It's
than he
gonna,
had
dude. It's
in
gonna be a
2020. That
long
does not
day
mean
at
Kamala
work
Harris
tomorrow,
is gonna
though.
win
Let me
Georgia.
tell you.
It just means that she can. It just means that she.
I
can't
love
leave,
the
but she's
shift
still
that I
not out
work.
there to do it.
I love
and
it.
we've lived through this before.
I work with, I get to work. I get to
2024
meet a
will not
lot
be
of really cool
2020.
members.
States will
But
count most
oh
votes
my
cast.
goodness, it's a
It's
lot of
unlikely
old
we're
people,
gonna win
man.
this
It's gonna be
Saturday.
a
I say
rough
that
one.
with some hope as we go through this.
But look at all the
you see-
blue.
yeah, right.
I'm not gonna want to talk to
the
them about
question is,
politics
with
'cause
Donald
it's
Trump
like
with
I don't want to.
240,000
I don't want to. You
it's a
know.
healthy lead,
I don't
right?
want to get
Just
into an
60%,
argument with an old person. I don't want to talk about
You look at that
politics.
number and you say, oh,
And
wow,
I'm not going to argue.
Republicans,
They're
Donald
going to be the
Trump's gonna
ones
win
that
Georgia.
argue, and I'm just going to have
Hang
to
on.
sit there and be like, hey, look at
81%. 20% of the vote is
it
a lot
is
of
what
votes,
it is.
especially
You
when
know,
what
it's
you're looking for,
politics.
the votes that are outstanding.
James,
the
I've
larger
enjoyed
the
tonight as
circle,
well. It's
just
been a very
telling
fun
us
one.
The more live outstanding votes.
It's been a very fun
The
stream.
color of the circle, the way the votes inside those circle are coming in. So, Jake, you can look at this and you could say you'd rather be Donald Trump and you'd be ahead, but there's plenty of
Hey, I do
opportunity
my best.
for the vice president to make up that ground in battleground Georgia, Jake.
All right, John, and we have some projections for you now.
All right, let's see it.
Project that Kamala Harris will win the state of Colorado. Colorado,
Nice.
as expected, will go Democratic with its 10 electoral votes. CNN can also
Okay.
project that Donald Trump will be the winner of Mississippi, as expected.
So that puts him at 178, her at 91.
Go to the Republican. Let's bring in the electoral map right now. Donald Trump in the lead, 178 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 91 electoral votes, 270 electoral votes.
No idea when I go to bed.
As always,
You should go to
to
bed
win.
soon.
Let's take a look at the outstanding races right now. Arizona joins.
It's like I said, we're not going to know for at
Harris
least.
has 50% of the vote. Donald Trump has 49.
I would give it probably
of the
about
vote.
12 hours.
That is a 15,478 vote lead for Kamala Harris. With
And that's we're not going to know about
49%
Georgia.
of the estimated
We're not going to know about a few others.
Wisconsin, 49.9% of the vote. Donald Trump bringing up the rear, 48.5% of the vote. Kamala Harris with a 19,910 vote lead. That's with 43% of the estimated vote counted in Wisconsin. Pennsylvania, Donald Trump in the lead there now, 50.3% of the vote in Pennsylvania. Kamala Harris has 48.7% of the vote.
But
Donald Trump with a 58,648
what this doesn't show, where is it?
right now with an estimated 51%
Go to Pennsylvania.
of the vote in Pennsylvania.
And you go
In
to
Georgia,
Philadelphia.
51.8% of the vote. Kamala
50% of the way done. That's a lot of votes still to be counted.
In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris in the lead, 51.1% of the vote. Donald Trump with 47%
Nice.
of the vote. Kamala
That's a
Harris with
decent little chunk.
43,307
Only
vote
19%
lead. That's with an
percent
estimated
though.
19% of the vote in battleground Michigan. In
Again,
battleground
can't
North
call it.
Carolina, Donald Trump in the lead, 52.4% of the vote. Kamala Harris with
Hmm.
46.4% of the vote. Donald Trump with 253,000.
It's looking like North Carolina's going Trump.
More votes as of right now than Kamala Harris. That's with 72% of the estimated vote in. In New Mexico, Kamala Harris in the lead, 50.7% of the vote. Donald Trump with 47.6% of the vote. That means Harris.
That
has
is way too close.
8,990
That is
over Trump. That's with
way
less than
too
a third,
close.
51% of the estimated vote in from New Mexico. Still early in New Mexico. Kamala Harris takes the
Dude, she got it back. Holy, a 1,000 vote lead.
1,118 vote lead. That's with 68% of the estimated
Holy.
votes in from.
That's actually insane.
Virginia. John, what do you want to talk about?
We have a changing map. We can talk about it all.
Alrighty. I'm going to call it there. This has been an incredibly fun stream. I want to say thank you, James. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you very much. Nate's dad. Thank you so much for following. James, thank you for following on Twitch as well. Nick, thank you for the bits. That was like $10 in bits. Thank you. Nate, thank you for the 6 months on the sub. I appreciate that. Thank you for the likes over on TikTok as well in the shares. James 07. Thanks for hanging out. So I'm going to do Valorant tomorrow night, but I also am probably going to do election coverage as well because it will still be going on unless it's called. If it gets called before I go live, then I won't. Darian, thank you for hanging out. Have a good night. Hopefully I'll see you or Brian live soon as well. In the meantime, no gym stream this morning. Gym stream will be back tomorrow, or technically Thursday at 2 a.m. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow during the day. We'll see. All right. Sounds like a plan. Thanks again. This has been a great one. I will talk to you guys.